Why are you intruding into the Lu family? Before Zhang Zi could answer, Chen Feng happened to appear. He angrily pointed at Zhang Zi's face and shouted, "Zhang Zi, how dare you come here to steal my woman?" But Zhang Zi ignored him completely. He still looked directly at Grandpa Lu and replied, "Old man, who I am is none of your business. You just need to know that today I will definitely take Lu Yuying away from here." How could Grandpa Lu tolerate his provocation? He immediately ordered, "Wei San, what are you waiting for? Quickly beat this kid and that ungrateful girl to death. Beat them until they're dead." At this moment, Wei San, standing in front of them, immediately swung his whip and shouted, "Die!" Yuying immediately turned her head to remind Zhang Zi, "Wei San's divine whip is very powerful. Zhang Zi, you should leave, don't worry about me." Zhang Zi not only showed no fear but also stayed and said, "What are you talking about? I came here today to take you away, no one can stop me." Then he leaned closer to her and asked, "Yuying, are you willing to come with me?" Yuying seemed to have made up her mind. She said, "I am willing." Just then, Wei San was already swiftly preparing to deliver a powerful blow. However, Zhang Zi caught his whip with one hand while calmly turning his head to look at Yuying, answering her, "Okay, I'll deal with these people first." Then Wei San quickly pulled the whip out of Zhang Zi's hand, continuing to lash at Zhang Zi, shouting as he swung, "Ha!" But Zhang Zi dodged them all with agility. Suddenly, Grandpa Lu, standing aside, shouted, "Supple strength flow, he's a disciple of the Iron Union list." Wei San took the opportunity to remind Zhang Zi, "Young man, let me give you a piece of advice. You should quickly kneel down and confess your sins to Grandpa Lu, otherwise even if your sect's leader comes you won't escape death." But Zhang Zi still refused to show weakness, replying, "Hey, you really talk too much nonsense." Wei San became furious, turning around to continue using his ultimate move, the Iron Chain Coiling Dragon Formation, and said viciously, "Fine, a fearless brat." Yuying couldn't help but remind him loudly with concern, "Zhang Zi, be careful," and her heart was even more worried. She guessed, the Iron Chain Coiling Dragon Formation, Zhang Zi is doomed this time. At this moment, Wei San was already a little tired, lowering his head. But then he raised his head, continuously lashing at Zhang Zi with the whip, and said triumphantly, "Brat, let's see how you escape my formation." Upon hearing this, Zhang Zi replied disdainfully, "Escape? Who said I was going to escape?" Zhang Zi's body emitted an increasingly powerful force. He frowned and said, "I rarely get angry, but today you've really set me off." Wei San suddenly jumped up, roared, and used the Iron Chain Coiling Dragon Formation. Yuying clenched her hands tightly in worry, loudly reminding him, "Zhang Zi, be careful." Lu Santong also frowned upon seeing this, thinking, the Iron Chain Coiling Dragon Formation. Zhang Zi is doomed this time. Wei San swung his whip, attacking Zhang Zi, and threatened, "Brat, let's see how you escape my formation." Zhang Zi asked back in confusion, "Escape? Who said I was going to escape?" Suddenly, Zhang Zi seemed to have reached his breaking point, bursting out with a powerful force, roaring, "I rarely get angry, but today you've really set me off." Wei San continuously attacked Zhang Zi, but Zhang Zi was agile, dodging all the attacks in an instant. Then Zhang Zi took the opportunity to punch Wei San in the abdomen, sending Wei San flying. Zhang Zi's power was so great that it seemed to be able to punch through a wall. Seeing that Zhang Zi was able to send Wei San flying, Elder Chen, who was on the side, said in shock, "This kid actually broke Wei San's Iron Chain Coiling Dragon Formation with one punch." Grandpa Lu also said in shock, "Could it be the Dragon Breath method?" Lu Santong also opened his mouth wide in surprise. Suddenly, a servant ran over, shouting loudly, "Something terrible has happened. Disaster, fire, the backyard's on fire." Hearing the shouts, people holding cups in their hands panicked and dropped their things to flee for their lives. At this moment, the crowd in the courtyard was in chaos, shouting, "Fire, it's really on fire, run, protect Master Lu, men, go help put out the fire, everyone don't panic, let the honored guests leave first. Use the emergency exits, don't push each other." Master Lu, seeing everyone in such a panic, was very confused and asked, "What's going on? Who dares to set fire in my Lu residence?" Without understanding the truth, he pointed at Zhang Zi, blaming him for everything. "It must be this brat. I've already called the police, I'll see where you run." Seeing the situation was getting out of hand, Yuying quickly pulled Zhang Zi away. "Zhang Zi, let's go." Lu Santong also joined in the accusation. "You brat, how dare you act like a hooligan in my Lu residence?" But suddenly, Lu Santong whispered to Zhang Zi, surprising him, "Zhang Zi, take Yuying and go. This is the Lu residence after all. Once the National Security Bureau arrives, it'll be too late." Hearing this, Zhang Zi didn't think much and blended into the crowd, pulling Yuying along, not forgetting to say, "Let's go." As soon as they ran out of the raging fire, Yuying asked, "Zhang Zi, did Chao Wei tell you to come today?" Zhang Zi replied, "No, I came on my own. I won't let you marry Chen Feng." Hearing this, Yuying shyly looked away but couldn't help asking, "Well, I'm not really anyone to you, am I?" Hearing this, Zhang Zi turned back, explaining with a very firm tone, "Maybe it's a bit late to say this now, but you're the person Zhang Zi likes. I won't give you to anyone." Hearing this, Yuying was still very surprised and shy, unable to speak. But suddenly, just as Zhang Zi was about to leave with Yuying, 3 people appeared from nowhere, one holding a gun, and the leader sternly said, "Stop, take these 2 away." Seeing this situation, Zhang Zi also loudly rebuked, "Even if you are from the National Security Bureau, you can't just arrest people." Hearing this, one of the security guards said, Illegal intrusion into a private residence, arson, assault, that's right. And another charge, kidnapping. Hearing this, Zhang Zi couldn't help but retort, what kidnapping, can't you guys talk some sense? Hearing this, the security guard pointed at Zhang Zi, sneering loudly. Still arguing, go to the police station to explain, cuff him. Don't resist unnecessarily, you don't want to go against the National Security Bureau, do you? Seeing this situation, Yu Ying also panicked and asked, what do we do now? Zhang Zi was ready to fight and replied, fight them. But suddenly a figure appeared in the melee, loudly ordering, stop. It was none other than Xiao Jin, who walked over with a fierce and angry expression. At this time the security guard stepped forward, explaining with some trembling, Captain Shang, I received orders from my superiors to arrest these two troublemakers. Hearing this, Xiao Jin couldn't listen and immediately ordered, I'll take these two away, you can report to your superiors. Hearing this, the security guard stammered, this, the security guard continued to explain, Captain Shang, if you take them away like this, I'm afraid I won't be able to explain to my superiors. But Xiao Jin coldly interrupted him, retorting, you don't need to explain. These two are the people Director Dongfeng wants to see, do you dare to stop me? Hearing this, the security guard froze, backing away in fear. The people Director Dongfeng wants to see, I wouldn't dare. Then Xiao Jin led Zhang Zi and Yu Ying to the car and said, get in. Hearing this, Zhang Zi also replied, okay. Then Xiao Jin's car sped away, leaving a group of security guards behind. At this time, Xiao Jin scolded while driving, Zhang Zi, you're something else. You actually dared to break into the Lu residence and kidnap the Lu family's eldest daughter. Hearing this, Yu Ying quickly explained shyly, it's not like that. And Zhang Zi couldn't help but say loudly, they framed me. I came to save someone. Otherwise, Lu Yuying would have been beaten to death by her own grandfather. Xiao Jin just found it funny when he heard this. Suddenly Xiao Jin said seriously, stop trying to be a hero saving a damsel in distress. The director and I can only temporarily suppress this matter for you. The next step depends on your performance at the Demonic Realm Youth Powerhouse Exchange Conference. Hearing this, Yuying asked in surprise, the Demonic Realm Youth Powerhouse Exchange Conference? Then she said to Zhang Zi, Zhang Zi, are you going to participate in the Demonic Realm Youth Powerhouse Exchange Conference? Zhang Zi nodded slightly in response. At this moment, Xiao Jin, driving down the road, suddenly remembered something and reminded him, I've put your luggage in the trunk. Now I'm taking you to the airport. If you don't get first place, you better not come back. Hearing this, Zhang Zi asked in surprise, huh? Then Xiao Jin explained, if you don't get first place, neither the director nor I can protect you. If you come back, you'll be going to jail. The scene shifted to a corner of the city where a mysterious man in black was walking with a hat on. Suddenly a voice came, Zhang Zi, I will kill you with my own hands sooner or later to avenge my brother. The man in black saw the patrolling police and immediately hid in the corner of the alley, looking very scared. Just then, the mysterious man's phone rang. The mysterious man took out his phone, looked at the message and said in surprise, how no one knows this number, could it be you? It's really you who sent the message. At this time the text message read, Zheng Hao, by the time you receive this message you may already be dead. Don't be too sad, it's your wish and honor to be able to dedicate yourself to the gods. Apart from you, you have no relatives in this world. Now I'm going to tell you all the secrets, you must do as I say. Go to number 89 Wanghua Road, Dongshan City. Seeing the message, this mysterious man was Zheng Hao. Zheng Hao frowned angrily and said, Number 89 Wanghua Road, Dongshan City. Saying that, Zheng Hao came to a building marked with the number 89 and said, Number 89 Wanghua Road, Dongshan City. Did I come to the wrong place? Saying that, Zheng Hao pushed the door open and walked in. Looking around and seeing no one, he said, there's not even a ghost here. Inside this mysterious house a cat's meow sounded. Meow. The meow startled Zheng Hao, who turned around and said, is anyone there? It seems I really came to the wrong place. Suddenly someone said, your death makes me very sad. Zheng Hao was startled again. He turned around and saw a cat that didn't look like an ordinary cat, but rather like a person wearing a cat's skin. Seeing this cat, Zheng Hao backed away, saying in terror, monster, a cat demon, it can talk, cat said again. I am the one you are looking for, this cat is just an avatar of mine. Hearing this, Zheng Hao asked in surprise, you are, Lord Messenger. The cat licked its paw and explained, you can call me that. Since he arranged for you to come here, are you ready to serve the gods? Hearing this, Zheng Hao replied loudly, as long as it can make me stronger, as long as it can let me take revenge, I am willing to serve anyone. The cat said again, making people stronger is very simple, but you need to complete the mission your brother didn't finish. Hearing this, Zheng Hao greedily shouted, as long as it makes me stronger, I'll complete any mission. Seeing that Zheng Hao had fallen into the trap, the cat raised its front paw, emitting a strange light that shone on Zheng Hao and said, devout believer, I represent the gods to grant you power. At the same time as the strange light shone on Zheng Hao, a system prompt popped up, unlock progress 25%, 46%, 61%, 85%. Zheng Hao was painfully screaming, ah, from the blinding blue light. After the strange light shone on Zheng Hao, the strange cat said, although only 85% of the power has been unlocked, you are already very lucky. Now you can activate your talent skills in the demonic realm, but only with 85% of the power. Hearing this, Zheng Hao, surrounded by the blue light, asked in confusion, "What, did I hear that right? You said I can now use my talent skills from the demonic realm?" As soon as Zheng Hao finished speaking, the cat added, "Didn't I make it clear enough? If you don't believe it, you can try it yourself." Just then, Zheng Hao suddenly burst out with powerful strength. Then he slammed the ground with all his might, shouting as he slammed, "Hey, this power, it's so awesome!" Zheng Hao's fist immediately shattered the ground. Seeing this scene, the strange cat reminded, "Don't be so excited, what if you destroy my hiding place?" Hearing this, Zheng Hao laughed and said, "Ha ha ha, Lord Messenger, please allow your devout servant to escort you home." At the same moment, Zheng Hao's power erupted, spreading in all directions. Time passed. A week later at a picturesque summer resort. At this time, Zhang Zi, Tang Chaowei and a woman who was fascinated by the scenery of the resort excitedly said, "Wow, the sea view here is so beautiful." At this time, Tang Chaowei excitedly looked around and praised, "This place is awesome. We Hua Sha are the host, we certainly won't mistreat our own people." Other people in the resort also excitedly said, "Wow, look, so many foreigners." Hearing this, one of them said, "Haven't seen foreigners before? You're acting like you're in a zoo." Suddenly, someone shouted, "Zhang Zi, stop." Seeing this, Tang Chaowei crossed her arms unhappily and frowned. "Humph, this Chen Feng, he's as clingy as sticky candy." The person who came was none other than young Master Chen. At this time, the Master Chen excitedly provoked Zhang Zi. "Zhang Zi, don't think you've won just because you stole my woman. Don't worry, we have time. I'll play with you slowly." Hearing this, Zhang Zi calmly replied, "Be my guest." Suddenly, a guide came over and greeted, "Are you the representatives of Qingdai Martial Arts School? Please follow me. I'll take you to your accommodations." Hearing this, Tang Chaowei introduced that the person who came was Minister Shi Qingzu. "It's Minister Shi Qingzu, she's calling us." Just then, young Master Chen approached Zhang Zi and angrily whispered, "Zhang Zi, I'll make you pay sooner or later." Hearing this, Zhang Zi calmly replied, "I'm waiting." At this moment, Tang Chaowei interrupted the conversation between young Master Chen and Zhang Zi. "Ignore that trash, there are so many people, he won't dare to do anything to us, let's go." At this time, Zhang Zi, Tang Chaowei and their companions were touring under the leadership of Minister Shi Qingzu. At this time, Zhang Zi asked, "Shi Qingzu, what is the process of this year's exchange conference?" Hearing this, Minister Shi Qingzu quickly explained, "The process of this year's exchange conference is the same as in previous years, mainly divided into two events, individual and team competitions. Both are elimination systems. However, this year we Hua Sha are the host, and we have increased the championship prize money to 50 million. Hearing this, an orange-haired person among the group said in surprise, "What, 50 million, we must win the championship?" The other two also opened their eyes wide in surprise, looking at Minister Shi Qingzu. At this time, Minister Shi Qingzu pushed her glasses and added, "The high prize money will also attract many powerful opponents. I heard that this year's delegations from various countries are all elites. Wu State has won the championship for 5 consecutive years. This year's leader is Duncan Austin. He is currently the only 5th-order demonic realm powerhouse in the world." Hearing this, one of Zhang Zi's companions asked in surprise, "What? A 5th-order powerhouse? That's so powerful." Seeing this, Minister Shi Qingzu added, "Not only Wu State but also Sea State, Japan, Moyang State and other countries have sent excellent players. Everyone can't take it lightly. Here are the room keys, let's go back to the rooms to rest first." Saying that, Minister Shi Qingzu distributed the room keys to everyone. Tang Chaowei excitedly said, "Finally I can take a rest, I'm going to take a shower first." At this time, Zhang Zi coldly said, "I'm not tired yet. The scenery here is good, I want to go see the sea." Hearing this, the orange-haired companion also excitedly said, "I'm not too tired either. Why don't we go together?" Hearing this, Zhang Zi agreed. Okay, at this time on the nearby beach, people were playing happily. "Don't chase me, ah." Some girls in swimsuits were sunbathing on the beach. At this time, the orange-haired companion excitedly shouted, "Wow, is this heaven? Should we also put on swimsuits and go play in the sea?" Hearing this, Zhang Zi replied, "Go if you want, I'll just sit here." While Zhang Zi was resting, a girl in a swimsuit walked over, handed Zhang Zi a tube of sunscreen and requested, "Hello classmate, I'm Maru Chihiro from Japan, can you help me apply sunscreen?" Hearing this, Zhang Zi replied, "Oh hello, apply sunscreen." At this time, Zhang Zi pointed to the orange-haired companion next to him and shouted, "Janyang, this classmate needs someone to help apply sunscreen, go help her." Janyang happily replied, Okay, I promise to help Miss Chihiro apply it all over her body." Thinking of this, the girl in the swimsuit tightly gripped the sunscreen in her hand. Then she coldly said, Suddenly I don't want to apply sunscreen anymore, sorry to bother you." Hearing this, Janyang said in surprise and disappointment, Why don't you want to apply it suddenly?" After a while, Zhang Zi suddenly stood up and said, "Janyang, there are too many people here. I'll go back to my room first." And Janyang was still enjoying watching the beautiful girls in the distance through his binoculars and vaguely replied, Okay." Just as Zhang Zi was leaving, he saw a group of men in black walking in groups, which caught Zhang Zi's attention. At this time, Zhang Zi frowned slightly and said, These people still wearing hats in broad daylight, that's strange." The men in black that Zhang Zi had just seen were secretly walking towards the back of the mountain, reminding each other, "It's just ahead, almost there." Another person, seeing such a difficult trek, asked, "Why choose such a hidden place?" Hearing his companion's question, one of them explained, "This mission is very important. It's always good to be careful. This group of people walked into a small path on the mountainside, saying as they walked, "It's started, let's go in quickly." At this time, Zhang Zi followed behind, observing secretly, thinking there must be something fishy about these people running into the cave. At this time, torches were lit in the cave, illuminating the entire space. Suddenly, the men in black knelt on one knee, respectfully saying in unison to the person in front of them, "Lord, Divine Messenger, why have you come in person this time? If there are tasks, simply instruct us." Zhang Zi continuously observed his surroundings. The one treated with such reverence by the group was none other than the cat perched on Zheng Hao's shoulder. "This mission is of utmost importance, allowing no room for error. I've received information that many others have also arrived here, seemingly with the same objective as us, therefore you must not reveal any weaknesses." Upon hearing this, the men in black responded in unison, "Understood, sir." At this moment the cat added, "Furthermore, I have selected a new leader for the Great Sha Kingdom, the very person before you. Upon your return, inform your leader that you are all servants of the gods and the gods will surely protect you." Hearing these words, the black-clad subordinates were overjoyed, shouting in unison, "May the divine radiance descend upon the mortal realm soon." Only then did the cat say, "You may attend to your own matters." Seeing this, Zhang Zi gorgeously peeked out, recognizing the person before him. He thought to himself, "It's Zheng Hao, could these people be from Don?" Then Zhang Zi saw the cat and couldn't help but marvel. That white cat can actually talk. This is all too bizarre. At this moment, Zheng Hao walked down the steps, speaking to the cat as he went. "Divine Messenger, why are these servants so devoted to you?" The cat explained. "It's simple. They all seek to obtain the pass to the gate of gods to journey to the divine realm." Zheng Hao pressed further, "The divine realm?" At this moment the cat dispelled everyone's doubts, saying, "It's alright. That place is the dream of all mortals. If you can complete the god's mission, you'll also have the opportunity to go, but before that let's deal with the little bug hiding in the corner." Hearing this, Zheng Hao shouted sternly, "Who is it? Come out now!" Since he had been discovered, Zhang Zi had no choice but to reveal himself. Then as Zhang Zi walked into the room, he angrily accused, "Your actions have already been exposed. The National Security Bureau's guards will be here soon. You can't escape. Confess honestly, what conspiracy are you Don people plotting by gathering here?" Upon hearing this, the cat sneered, "What a bold little bug, do you think your lies can deceive me?" Then it ordered its subordinates, "Zheng Hao, don't you want revenge? Go ahead." Hearing this, Zheng Hao's power instantly surged, and he said with a ferocious expression, "Zhang Zi, I haven't gone looking for you yet, but you've come to your own death." Chapter 112. Zheng Hao asked the cat tremulously, "Divine Messenger, why are these servants so devoted to you?" It's simple. They all seek to obtain the pass to the gate of gods, to journey to the divine realm. "The divine realm," the cat on his shoulder replied, like a celestial body. "It's alright. That place is the dream of all mortals. If you can complete the god's mission, you'll also have the opportunity to go, but before that, let's deal with the little bug hiding in the corner. Who is it? Come out now!" Zheng Hao, who had been walking, suddenly stopped. Zhang Zi's face turned ashen as he pointed at Zheng Hao, saying, "Your actions have already been exposed. The National Security Bureau's guards will be here soon. You can't escape. Confess honestly. What conspiracy are you Don people plotting by gathering here?" The cat on Zheng Hao's shoulder arrogantly raised its head. "What a bold little bug, do you think your lies can deceive me? Zheng Hao, don't you want revenge? Go ahead." Zheng Hao, filled with murderous intent, grinned and said, "Zhang Zi, I haven't gone looking for you yet, but you've come to your own death." Then Zheng Hao showed off his newly manicured nails and shouted, "I'll send you on your way." Zhang Zi, surprised by Zheng Hao's flashy attack, blurted out, "How those are skills from the demon realm." Seeing the power of Zheng Hao's attack, Zhang Zi speculated, "His power has suddenly increased several times. What should I do?" Seeing that Zhang Zi seemed unable to withstand the attack, Zheng Hao laughed loudly. "Haha, Zhang Zi, this is your burial ground." Suddenly, a huge rock like an elephant came crashing down on Zhang Zi's head. Zhang Zi was anxious and sweating profusely, thinking, "I have to find a way quickly. Am I really going to die here?" Suddenly, a hand rested on his shoulder and a voice said, "Come with me." With that, Zhang Zi and a group of people flew up as if ascending to the heavens. Zheng Hao was dumbfounded. How is that possible? He escaped. The cat's face turned extremely ugly. "Don't worry, we'll meet again." The person who rescued Zhang Zi said, "Alright, it should be safe here." Just as Zhang Zi was about to meet his maker, he became puzzled. "Ha, who are you? Why did you save me?" The blonde man introduced himself first. "I'm Thorn, and this is our seer. We are the Salvation Army." Zhang Zi's Vietnamese was a bit weak, and he asked in confusion, "Salvation Army?" He seemed to have heard of this organization. It was the sworn enemy of Don. Thorn replied, "That's right, we saved you because of your identity." Zhang Zi was even more confused. "My identity?" At this moment, a word from the brown-haired child completely dumbfounded Zhang Zi. "Because you are my father." Hearing this, a young virgin like Zhang Zi immediately retorted, "What, I'm your dad, are you kidding me?" "I'm not even married yet," the child calmly replied. "I'm not kidding. My name is Zhang Yilyu and I'm your daughter. My mother's name is Lu Yueying. I also know you have 3 moles on the bottom of your foot." Zhang Zi still couldn't believe it, denying it repeatedly like a shooting star. Impossible. How could such an absurd thing happen? Suddenly a daughter appears. The child, who claimed to be Zhang Zi's daughter, continued to prove it. "I also know your talent is SSS level summoning." Zhang Zi began to waver. Could you be a time traveler? But the child denied it. No, you sent me back in time before you died, making me the seer who guides the Salvation Army to protect the world. Zhang Zi's thoughts became chaotic, and the more he talked, the more confused he became. What are you talking about? Before I died, why would I die? The child continued. Not just you, but everyone. Our world was destroyed and humanity perished. In 3021, the demon abyss of the entire world was activated. The divine messenger awakened, and the war between humans and monsters broke out. In 3029, humans defeated the boss on the 100th floor of the demon realm, successfully opening the gate of gods and paving the way to the divine kingdom. But what awaited humanity was destruction. After the gate of gods opened, the demon realm and the real world completely merged, and the divine people came to the real world to plunder Earth's resources. Humans were reduced to livestock, and the inhabitants of Earth were plunged into an abyss of suffering. In the same year, Zhang Zi formed the Salvation Army to resist the divine people and rescue the people from misery, earning the title of Savior. In 3035, just as humanity was about to achieve victory, the king of the divine kingdom sacrificed millions of his people and unleashed an SSS-level forbidden technique on Earth, destroying it and causing humanity to perish. In the moment of destruction, Zhang Zi used time travel to send his daughter Zhang Yilyu back to the past. After listening, Zhang Zi stood there, stunned and in disbelief. This is terrible. If what she said is true, 3021 is this year, the child said confidently. That's right, the cat you just saw is the divine messenger. Zhang Zi, his brain overloaded, leaned against the wall and said, The amount of information you've given me is too much. I can't comprehend it all at once. The child comforted him. It's okay, it's indeed difficult to accept all this at once. Zhang Zi scratched his head, wanting to leave as soon as possible. He needed to return to his hotel to rest and digest the information he had just received. However, this little girl was indeed quite adorable. If she really was his daughter, it meant that his genes weren't bad, but the child still followed Zhang Zi closely. In the bustling city, the lights in the buildings had already come on. Tang Chaowei was sitting leisurely in a chair and asked, Zhang Zi, you said you were going for a walk. How did you bring back a girl? The child, claiming to be Zhang Zi's daughter, introduced herself. Hello everyone, my name is Zhang Yilyu. Before she could finish speaking, Zhang Zi quickly stopped her. Little sister, she's my little sister, he continued. Zhang Yilyu, let me introduce you. These older brothers and sisters are my classmates. But Zhang Yilyu didn't wait for Zhang Zi to introduce her and spoke first, surprising everyone. No need for introductions. I know everyone. Aunt Chaowei was really beautiful when she was young. Aunt Sun is also a great beauty. No wonder someone always carries your photos. Zhang Yilyu pointed to another person and said, Uncle Lin. Haha, could you really control dumbbells with your mind when you were young? This uncle must be a genius with an IQ of over 200. My dad often mentions you, saying that if you hadn't died young, humanity wouldn't have. Seeing everyone's awkward expressions, Zhang Zi quickly interrupted her. Sorry, my sister has been watching too many time travel dramas lately. She's a bit off, don't mind her. You shut up. If you keep talking, who knows what trouble you'll cause. Tang Chaowei began preparing dinner. Zhu Jingchu, Zhang Zi, brother-in-law, are all the people in your Zhang family. A bit odd. I'm sorry to trouble you. Zhu Jingchu said from the side. Yeah. Suddenly, the person sitting next to Tang Chaowei spoke up. Zhang Zi, it's almost 8 o'clock. Isn't it time to enter the demon realm? Zhang Zi quickly chimed in. Finally, someone was helping him out. Yeah, it's almost time. We agreed to go online on time. That person also said, yeah, hopefully the demon realm has returned to normal. Zhang Yilyu interjected from the side. Once the divine messenger awakens, the demon realm will return to normal, she thought to herself. I must protect mom's safety. Tang Chaowei, hearing this, asked Zhang Zi in surprise. Hey brother-in-law, what is this child saying? Is she alright? Zhang Zi waved his hand, signaling Tang Chaowei not to mind. It's nothing, just ignore her. Demon realm 12th floor, Rakshasa waved to Lu Yuying. Sorry, I'm late. Lu Yuying saw Rakshasa and immediately asked, It's alright, did something happen at the exchange meeting? Rakshasa took the beauty's hand and comforted her. It's a long story. I'll tell you in detail later. The Dragon King appeared and interrupted them, avoiding being fed dog food. Hey you two, stop being lovey-dovey and hurry to the boss. Someone on the forum said that the demon realm has returned to normal and the stone gate has appeared. We can go to the next level of the demon realm. Lu Yuying also looked delighted. The stone gate appeared? That's great, the Dragon King gestured for everyone to see. Look, the stone gate, it really appeared. A group of people. 1.57%, 1.58%, 16%. Everyone gathered there waiting for the stone gate to open with the numbers jumping every few minutes. What's going on? Do we have to wait until 100% to enter? Hearing this, others objected. Don't wait, we've tried it before. The stone gate is completely inaccessible, the Dragon King suddenly shouted. Damn it, what a false alarm! Rakshasa observed the situation and suddenly remembered what Zhang Yilyu had said. That child said that once the divine messenger awakened, the demon realm would return to normal. It seemed that the current divine messenger had not yet awakened. 1.57%, 1.58%, 16%. Everyone gathered there, waiting for the stone gate to open with the numbers jumping every few minutes. What's going on? Do we have to wait until 100% to enter? Hearing this, others objected. Don't wait, we've tried it before. The stone gate is completely inaccessible, the Dragon King suddenly shouted. What a false alarm. Rakshasa observed the situation and suddenly remembered what Zhang Yilyu had said. That child said that once the Divine Messenger awakened, the demon realm would return to normal. It seemed that the current Divine Messenger had not yet awakened. Just as she was lost in thought, a hand rested on Rakshasa's shoulder. Lu Yuying stepped forward and asked, "What are you thinking about?" Rakshasa quickly replied, "Nothing. Since we can't go to the next level, let's all go our separate ways. I have a lot to tell you. I also have a lot to tell you." Tang Chaowei turned around and mocked them. "People in love are really scary. If we can't get into the stone gate, I'll go back and rest. I have to prepare for the individual competition tomorrow." The girl next to her echoed, "Yeah, I'll go back too." On a beach that resembled a cool Hawaiian paradise, Zheng Hao and his talking cat. Zheng Hao ate and drank to replenish his energy while asking, "Hey Divine Messenger, are you alright?" The cat, known as the Divine Messenger, was as red as if it had been sunbathing excessively, and replied, "I'm fine. In 30 hours my true form will awaken and leave this cat's body," it continued. "Zheng Hao, we can't meet for the time being." Hearing this, Zheng Hao stopped eating and drinking and asked in confusion, "Then when you're not around, I can freely command the entire organization, right?" The Divine Messenger cat simply replied with a few casual words, revealing its arrogant demeanor. "Humph, I advise you not to get too carried away." Watching the cat about to enter a deep sleep, Zheng Hao thought, "Whether it's Earth or the Divine Kingdom, it doesn't matter. They will all belong to me in the end, ha ha ha." Suddenly a notification appeared. Equipment operating normally, body state stable. Estimated awakening in 29 hours, 52 minutes and 9 seconds. In the room where Zhang Zi was resting, little Zhang Yilyu was knocking on a door. Soon, the door slowly opened, not keeping Zhang Yilyu waiting long. Zhang Zi opened his eyes and saw Zhang Yilyu's bright smile. Before Zhang Zi could fully wake up, Zhang Yilyu pulled him and hurriedly ran somewhere. The scene switched to an arena built by the sea with beautiful scenery. A minute and a half later, the four sat on a bench complaining, "Today's competition is divided into 4 rounds, and the danger level is quite high. Although I hope everyone wins, I don't want to see anyone get hurt. Everyone should act according to their abilities." "Why are you so late? Old Shang's match is about to start." Zhang Zi walked over, holding Zhang Yilu's hand. "We're here." The blindfolded girl spoke loudly, attracting everyone's attention. "Where did he put his third eye, everyone? Look, it's old Shang's turn." Tang Chaowei's assistant also sighed. "I didn't expect his opponent to be a lion, the strongest lion in East Asia. Shang Chuyu is in trouble this time." Zhang Zi commented, "Don't worry. With old Shang's personality, he'll definitely win with wisdom, not by throwing an egg against a rock." On the LED screen, 2 men stared at each other affectionately, and the audience was excited. The black opponent spoke first. "Young man, are you ready?" The man with glasses glanced at his opponent disdainfully without answering, and instead pushed his glasses up in a cool manner. Suddenly he announced, "Referee, I forfeit the match." This surprised both the referee and his opponent. "This contestant, are you sure you want to forfeit the match?" But the man with glasses still replied calmly and confidently, "I'm sure." Tang Chaowei was so angry when she saw this scene that she jumped up. "What's going on? What happened to winning with wisdom?" He gave up before the fight even started. Zhang Yilyu smiled innocently and said, "Uncle Shang's choice was very correct." Zhang Zi also said, "Haha, admitting defeat when you can't win is the smart thing to do." Tang Chaowei's sexy assistant also spoke up. "Chaowei, Ruotong and Zhanyang, you 3 are up next, get ready." Tang Chaowei perked up. "Understood." The assistant turned to Zhang Zi, not wanting to leave anyone out. "And Zhang Zi, your opponent in the 3rd round is Chen Feng. I heard he underwent special training before the competition, so don't underestimate him." Tang Chaowei also encouraged him, "Brother-in-law, you have to teach him a good lesson." Zhang Zi wanted to show off, but reality wouldn't allow it, so he just said a few perfunctory words. "Yeah, don't worry." The referee announced, "The 2nd round is about to begin. Please get the competitors ready." His opponent, sporting a head of yellow hair, was already venting his anger on the poor post before the match even started. "Zhang Zi, this time I'll make sure you die without a burial." The battles inside the arena were also intense. TLC Brother's ponytail flew like a bird, attacking Orange Hair Brother. Tang Chaowei was equally fierce, with several beautiful kicks combined with her long legs forcing her opponent back. Ruotong was even more domineering, defeating her opponents one by one from offstage while blindfolded. The audience watched in stunned silence, their mouths wide open as if flies could fly in. Then, Zhang Zi also made a cool appearance amidst the enthusiastic cheers of the audience, mainly Zhang Yilyu. Tang Chaowei was attacking while engaging in psychological warfare. "Go back to your hometown," the referee announced. Tang Chaowei wins, Zhanyang also said. "I told you, how could I lose to a girl?" the referee continued. Lin Zhanyang wins. Ruotong's side, however, wasn't looking so good. She was kicked 8 meters away by her opponent. This time, the referee announced the victory of Ruotong's opponent, Jaravas. "The 3rd round is about to begin. Please get the competitors ready." A man stood behind, cheering for a person named Chen Feng. Chen Feng, it's time to test the results of your special training. Chen Feng moved his limbs, striking a pose in response. Captain, don't worry. I will definitely beat that Zhang Zi into a pulp. Chen Feng's forehead veins bulged, and he said with high morale, it's a narrow road for enemies. I've been waiting for this opportunity for a long time. The next match was between Chen Feng and the sister's beloved male protagonist Zhang Zi. Chen Feng took off his shirt, trying to use a handsome man trick to confuse Zhang Zi. I've worn this shirt for almost a year. I've never taken it off except when showering. Chen Feng threw the shirt on the ground, declaring, today I'm taking it off. Zhang Zi looked at the shirt thrown on the ground, thinking this shirt weighs several tons. It seems he's been training very hard during this time. Before he finished speaking, Chen Feng pounced on Zhang Zi like a hungry tiger, here to kill you. Zhang Zi just stood there, sighing, ah, so fast. Zhang Zi and Chen Feng stood facing each other tensely on the ring. Chen Feng smiled triumphantly, slowly taking off his coat, and said, I've worn this coat for almost a year. I've never taken it off except when showering. He threw the coat on the ground in front of Zhang Zi. Today I'm taking it off. Chen Feng began to describe this special coat. This coat weighs several tons. It seems he's been training very hard during this time. Before he finished speaking, Chen Feng rushed towards Zhang Zi, shouting, here to kill you. At this moment, Zhang Zi also exclaimed, ah, so fast. But fortunately, Zhang Zi remained calm and used the dragon's breath technique to dodge Chen Feng's attack. Chen Feng jumped behind Zhang Zi at lightning speed and laughed triumphantly. Ha ha ha, this feeling is great. Zhang Zi, I'd like to see how long you can dodge, the man in the stand said worriedly. Too fast. Zhang Zi is in danger this time. The woman next to him also sighed. I didn't expect him to use titanium alloy clothes for training. He's really loaded. Seeing the unfavorable situation for Zhang Zi, Tang Chaowei also fidgeted anxiously. Why isn't he fighting back yet? It's driving me crazy, the girl next to her replied leisurely. Don't worry, he's no match for my brother. Seeing that Zhang Zi wasn't fighting back, Chen Feng became even more smug. He attacked while provoking. Zhang Zi, isn't your strength speed? Ha ha ha. Come and compete with me, Chen Feng said arrogantly. Zhang Zi, you are no match for me now. Come on, hit me. Seeing his arrogant look, Zhang Zi couldn't bear it any longer and frowned. Then I'll grant your wish. Zhang Zi quietly observed Chen Feng's movement direction, but he moved very quickly. Finally, Zhang Zi still caught Chen Feng and gave him a resounding slap. This slap is for you, Ying. Chen Feng was dizzy from the slap and shouted, ah. Since he had already started, he couldn't leave out the kicking. Zhang Zi gave Chen Feng a heavy kick. This is my kick. Then he continued to focus his strength on his fists. These fists are our lesson to you. Caught off guard, Chen Feng could only endure these attacks, falling to the ground injured. Zhang Zi landed steadily, radiating a powerful light. Standing in front of the fallen Chen Feng, Zhang Zi said confidently, to me your speed is no different from a turtle's crawl. Seeing Chen Feng defeated by Zhang Zi, the organizer announced, the winner of this match is Zhang Zi from the Great Sha team. In the stands, the uncle with spiky hair said excitedly, too fast, how did he win? The man next to him replied, I didn't see it clearly at all. People marveled at Zhang Zi's power. The Great Sha players are amazing. Seeing his team member lose, Director Dorothy rebuked angrily. I told you, Chen Feng is a waste. He shouldn't have been given the opportunity to participate in this valuable exchange conference. The strong man next to her ordered. Dorothy, go take care of Chen Feng. This Zhang Zi does have some strength. I'll deal with him personally. She replied, understood, Captain. The woman with glasses said calmly, Zhang Zi, well done. Go for it, Tang Chaowei said excitedly. Brother-in-law is so handsome. Seeing Chen Feng beaten black and blue is so satisfying. I must tell my sister when I get back. Zhang Zi ignored these comments and stepped forward to ask, how are Zhanyang and Ruotong? A young man with a solemn expression replied. Zhanyang's injuries were severe and he couldn't continue the competition. The upcoming semifinals will depend entirely on you and Chaowei. Suddenly, the organizers displayed photos of Chaowei and Henry, followed by Zhang Zi versus Jaravas, and announced next is the semifinal. Please get the semifinalists ready. Henry versus Tang Chaowei, Zhang Zi versus Jaravas. The girl with glasses suddenly warned, Henry, he's a very dangerous guy. Chaowei, be careful. The match started. Henry kept attacking and Chaowei tried her best to dodge his attacks. Henry smiled sinisterly and said, hey girl, if you don't admit defeat I'll get serious. People outside the arena started to talk. Chaowei is no match for Henry. There's no chance of winning if she keeps going. Tang Chaowei rushed forward angrily. Damn foreigners, don't underestimate me. I will never admit defeat. Before she could make a move, Henry saw through her intentions and landed a heavy punch on her. Tang Chaowei fell backward, a look of surprise on her face. The punch was too heavy and she spat out red liquid. Ah, Zhang Zi and the girl with glasses shouted worriedly, Chaowei? Zhang Zi quickly jumped up to catch Chaowei. Fortunately, he arrived in time, otherwise Chaowei would have fallen off the ring. Zhang Zi asked anxiously, Chaowei, how are you? At the same time, the doctors ran over and said, make way, make way. Henry stood on the ring, proudly saying, Zhang Zi, I'm waiting for you. The organizers announced, the winner of this match is Henry from the M-Country team. As Zhang Zi and Henry faced each other, the event host announced, second match of the semifinals, Jaravas versus Zhang Zi. Seeing Zhang Zi wearing headphones, his opponent mocked, do you think blocking your ears will stop me from hypnotizing you? Zhang Zi replied calmly. Your taste is terrible, just some old songs. Suddenly, Jaravas opened his hands, palms facing Zhang Zi. Two eyes appeared in his palms and red energy gradually emanated. Zhang Zi, surrounded by these energies, panicked. Ah, what's going on? Eyes grew out of his palms. Could it be that I'm being... Seeing his trick worked, Jaravas was smug. I thought he was some formidable character, but he's just been hypnotized by me. Then he began to command Zhang Zi. Zhang Zi, you are now surrounded by darkness. Walk over slowly. In his subconscious, Zhang Zi was bound by countless chains, controlled by two huge eyes. Zhang Zi thought blankly, where is this? My body is out of control. Zhang Zi, surrounded by these energies, panicked. Oh, what's going on? Eyes grew out of his palms. Could it be that I'm being... Seeing his trick worked, Jaravas was smug. I thought he was some formidable character, but he's just been hypnotized by me. Then he began to command Zhang Zi. Zhang Zi, you are now surrounded by darkness. Walk over slowly. In his subconscious, Zhang Zi was bound by countless chains, controlled by two huge eyes. Zhang Zi thought blankly, where is this? A familiar figure suddenly appeared in Zhang Zi's mind. Zhang Zi, you've been hypnotized. Take a deep breath and try to keep your heart rate stable. Jaravas smiled smugly and said, yes, that's it. Come over slowly. Seeing Zhang Zi getting closer, he happily continued, this match is easier to win than I thought. When Zhang Zi reached a favorable distance, he smiled triumphantly, quickly seizing the opportunity to knock down Zhang Zi. Goodbye, you damn great Sha kid. But just as he was about to make a move, he was suddenly kicked away by Zhang Zi, who said, monster. This kick was to avenge Ruotong. Then he punched Jarvis's arm, causing him to scream in pain. Zhang Zi said, go back to your hometown, the event host announced. The winner of this match is Zhang Zi from the Great Sha team. The man with glasses observed and said, I didn't expect Zhang Zi's dragon's breath technique to break through the mental barrier. He's amazing. The girl next to him replied, Chao Wei's injuries are not life-threatening. Now it's just Zhang Zi left, the man next to her added. Next is the final. Against that Henry, Zhang Zi's chances of winning are low. Henry suddenly stepped onto the ring, arrogantly saying, kid, you have some skills, but that's all. It's not too late to admit defeat now. Zhang Zi said angrily and firmly, I didn't plan to make things difficult for you, but you hurt my friend just now, he said with a firm look. Now you have to pay for what you've done. Henry rushed in front of him in an instant, saying, you're too weak, kid. Zhang Zi hadn't reacted yet, saying in surprise, too fast. The two's fists collided. Suddenly, Zhang Zi covered his arm. He was injured. Henry said triumphantly, no one has ever dared to fight me head-on. You're the first. The woman with glasses panicked. Damn, Zhang Zi's arm seems to be broken. The situation is not good. Tell him to give up, the man in the seat said. Henry is indeed terrifying, but you don't know Zhang Zi. He won't give up. Seeing that Zhang Zi's arm couldn't move, Henry warned, you've broken an arm. Do you still want to fight me? Zhang Zi covered his arm, thinking, losing an arm at the beginning, the situation is too unfavorable. Then he suddenly concentrated his strength, and a golden light surrounded Zhang Zi's body. Dragon's breath technique, enhance cell activity, accelerate wound healing. Henry didn't give Zhang Zi a chance to recover and quickly rushed forward. Can self-repair? Eastern martial arts are indeed magical, but in the face of M country's powerful technological strength, it's nothing. Zhang Zi quickly jumped up to dodge. His strength was too terrifying. He couldn't fight him head-on. Zhang Zi tried to approach Henry, using the dragon's breath technique to block his meridians and make him lose his strength. The girl in the stands exclaimed, great! Zhang Zi blocked Henry's meridians, seizing the opportunity to knock him down. But the man next to him said worriedly, things may not be that simple. Henry turned around, revealing a triumphant smile, and said, did you think you could control me like that? Zhang Zi replied, it's more than that. At this moment he focused his mind, thinking, I can't give him a chance to fight back. Then Zhang Zi punched Henry's body fiercely, shouting, damn it, this punch is for Chao Wei. No matter how strong Henry was, he inevitably bled in front of an opponent like Zhang Zi. Not bad, Henry smiled triumphantly. Then he started to exert force, concentrating a powerful force, knocking Zhang Zi flying. He said, Zhang Zi, you are lucky to witness the ultimate power of the War God Serum. Zhang Zi fell to the ground, looking blank. When he saw Henry's body become larger than before, he said in horror, my God, what did he inject? Henry rushed towards Zhang Zi. Die, I'm going to smash your head. But Zhang Zi quickly jumped to a high place, dodging the attack. Zhang Zi said, damn, he's not human at all. People in the stands were talking, what's going on? Was there an explosion? The man with glasses was horrified. Impossible. This power has completely surpassed the limits of human beings. A huge dent caused by Henry appeared on the ring. A mouth with terrifying fangs roared wildly. Henry had completely turned into a terrifying demon, he said. Ha 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 ha, who can defeat me? Who? At this moment, Zhang Zi looked at him blankly. Henry laughed loudly. Ha 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 ha, Zhang Zi said in surprise. Is that a tiger ghost monster? People in the venue were confused. What happened? How did the captain turn into a tiger ghost monster? Dorothy's eyes widened. Could it be the War God Serum? Was the War God Serum made from the blood of tiger ghost monsters? What a bunch of lunatics. Seeing that everyone seemed panicked, the organizers quickly stepped forward. Due to an accident during the competition, please evacuate the scene in an orderly manner. Everyone ran out of the arena, and the little girl asked, brother, are you okay? Zhang Zi replied, I'm fine. Subsequently, personnel maintaining order rushed up to control the terrifying monster. Zhang Zi said seriously, I didn't expect him to suddenly turn into a tiger ghost monster. He must have injected banned drugs before the competition. The little girl quickly grabbed Zhang Zi's hand and said worriedly, brother, it's too chaotic here, let's go quickly. The other girl also agreed, that's right, the Magic Domain Management Bureau will handle this. Let's leave here first and find a doctor to treat your wounds. Seeing this, Zhang Zi agreed, okay. Chapter 116 The giant blue-eyed mutated tiger ghost monster roared about to attack the tiny humans. A voice came from somewhere, due to an accident during the competition, please evacuate the scene in an orderly manner. Zhang Zi's sister ran over anxiously and asked Zhang Zi, brother, are you okay? Zhang Zi, clutching his left arm, calmly replied, I'm fine. The colossal monster continued its terrifying assault, extending its fanged tongue in a ferocious attack. Zhang Zi said, I didn't expect him to suddenly transform into an abyssal fiend. He must have injected performance-enhancing drugs before the match. His younger sister tugged at Zhang Zi's clothes worriedly, saying, brother, it's too chaotic here. Let's leave quickly. The girl beside them also chimed in, patting Zhang Zi's shoulder. That's right. The Demon Realm Administration will handle this. Let's leave and find a doctor to treat your wounds. Zhang Zi agreed. Okay, a boy, arms crossed, stood before a large screen observing the dense lines and red dots. He said, excellent. 90% of the abyssal fiends have been activated as planned. The next phase will continue with the master's plan. He revealed a sly smile full of conspiracy. Push humanity to the brink. Fight your way to the 100th floor, you lowly humans. My master is growing impatient. Ha 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 ha. At the hospital, Zhang Zi arrived to have his injuries examined. His arm was bandaged while Chao Wei's injuries were more severe, her entire body wrapped in bandages. Zhang Zi said, Chao Wei, your injuries are serious. You should rest in bed. Ruo Tong was also bandaged from head to toe, but she remained optimistic, even joking with Zhang Zi. Old Zhang, you're still the best, the doctor said to Zhang Zi. The wound has been bandaged, there's nothing serious. Zhang Zi said, thank you, doctor. The doctor was amazed by Zhang Zi's body, which was different from ordinary people. He said, your body is truly unlike that of a normal person. The injuries are clearly severe, yet the bones and muscles are recovering quickly. The teacher stood in the hospital room saying, injured classmates, rest well. I'll go to the central organization to explain the situation. Zhang Zi said to Chief Shi, Chief Shi, I'm fine, I'll go with you. But Chief Shi didn't need him to come along, saying, Zhang Zi, you should rest too. Just as the words fell, a loud bang startled both of them, and they looked out the door in surprise. Chief Shi asked in alarm, what happened? That monster attacked the ward. Some doctors were injured by it in the hallway. His younger sister hugged Zhang Zi in fear. Zhang Zi realized the seriousness of the situation and shouted, it's the mutated lake ghoul monster. The mutated lake ghoul monster confronted the people in the hospital, continuing its attack. This mutated lake ghoul monster was no ordinary creature. It seemed intent on not letting anyone it encountered escape. Under its assault, everyone panicked. Zhang Zi said anxiously, how did so many monsters suddenly appear? Prioritize evacuating the crowd and gather at the beach. Chief Shi held her little sister's hand tightly and responded loudly to Zhang Zi, understood. Then she quickly called out, Ruo Tong, Chao Wei, get up quickly. The monster was getting closer and closer and Zhang Zi urged, hurry, hurry. Old Shang, take them away from here. I'll hold off the monster. Chao Wei had just jumped off the bed, but she was worried about Zhang Zi. You alone? No way, Zhang Zi, while fending off the monster's attacks, urged everyone, go now. Zhang Zi fought alone against the increasingly fierce monster attacks. However, the others had not yet managed to escape. Zhang Zi urged again, hurry, stop dawdling, let's go. Chief Shi is urging us, we need to leave. Breath of the Dragon technique. Zhang Zi unleashed a powerful move to fight back the monsters. Zhang Zi said, escape from here, gather at the beach. At this moment, Zhang Zi's sister turned back worriedly and shouted, Dad, run. Chao Wei was surprised by her words. Dad, where's Dad? That's my brother. Others were still struggling to escape the monster's encirclement. Many monsters were attacking, everyone said worriedly. So many, it looks like we're doomed this time. They kept shouting, food, food, seemingly wanting to devour every human they saw to satisfy their hunger. Lu Wei said in fear, what should we do? Are we just going to sit here and wait to die? Zhang Zi fought back while saying, there are too many monsters. There's probably nowhere safe. A giant spider-like monster with green eyes kept shouting, food, food. His sister said, even if we're not sure, we have to give it our all. The monster spat flames. Zhang Zi shouted, Shang Shaojin. Shang Shaojin descended from the sky. Zhang Zi recognized this person as someone from the Demon Realm Administration. Shang Shaojin landed on the ground with a majestic air. Shang Shaojin said to them, you guys are lucky, the landing point is right here. Zhang Zi said gratefully, Sister Shaojin, you're our savior. Shang Shaojin looked at Zhang Zi somewhat provocatively. Now you know to call me sister. Then she led everyone away. Wielding a long staff ready to fight at any moment, stay close to me. I'll lead everyone out of here to the beach where there are evacuation planes. Zhang Zi quickly followed, saying, okay. but having just run out of the hospital, some people were still wrapped in bandages. Like Chao Wei and Ruotong, how could they run fast? Someone said. They're all injured and have difficulty moving. The situation was urgent and couldn't be delayed. Shang Xiaojin urged, hurry up, move faster. The giant monster was attacking Shang Xiaojin. Zhang Zi reminded her worriedly, be careful. Then the two of them joined forces to fight the monster. They were all different shapes, some green, some yellow, some with sharp teeth and huge mouths. They didn't have just one head but several, and they had octopus-like tentacles. Lao Shang said in fear, they look so disgusting. A large group of monsters attacked this group of tiny humans. Shang Xiaojin said, this supersized monster's power is terrifying. Zhang Zi, you take them to the beach to evacuate first. Zhang Zi said, Chief Shi, Lao Shang, I'll leave this to you, I'll hold them back. Zhang Zi used his technique, saying to himself in his heart, and then acted, using the breath of the dragon technique to increase his speed to the limit. He couldn't let them entangle him. Sister Xiaojin, I'll hold back the one without nostrils, you take care of the others. While Xiaojin and Zhang Zi fought, Xiaojin quickly urged, everyone evacuate quickly, don't delay any longer. Chief Shi and Lao Shang pulled his sister's hand and ran. Chief Shi responded, understood. While running, Zhang Zi's sister shouted in fear, Dad. Lao Shang pulled his sister's hand and ran. Your dad isn't here, come with me. Lao Shang was very worried about Zhang Zi, but there was nothing he could do. He pulled his sister and ran quickly, urging Zhang Zi. Old Zhang, be careful, you must survive. Zhang Zi used his technique to fight, saying using the breath of the dragon technique to increase his speed to the limit. He couldn't let them entangle him. Sister Xiaojin, I'll hold back that big guy, you take care of the others. Shang Xiaojin was still fighting the monsters. Seeing that everyone hadn't left yet, she urged again. Everyone evacuate quickly, don't delay any longer. Chief Shi and Lao Shang pulled his sister's hand and ran. Chief Shi responded, understood. While running, Zhang Zi's sister shouted in fear, Dad. Lao Shang pulled his sister's hand and ran. Your dad isn't here, come with me. Lao Shang was very worried about Zhang Zi, but there was nothing he could do. He pulled his sister and ran quickly, urging Zhang Zi, Old Zhang, be careful, you must survive. Zhang Zi realized that he couldn't keep fighting like this or he wouldn't be able to defeat his opponent. He said, I have to find this monster's weakness. The monsters kept attacking Zhang Zi. He said, these are truly high-level monsters, they're so fast. A snake-like monster wrapped around Zhang Zi's right leg and he panicked. What, I'm trapped. It wrapped around Zhang Zi's body and threw him into the air. Zhang Zi shouted in pain and terror. Ah! Shang Xiaojin heard the shout, fighting while turning her head to ask, Zhang Zi, are you okay? Ah! Subsequently, Shang Xiaojin raised her spear and attacked the monster wrapping around Zhang Zi's leg. Shang Xiaojin tried her best to comfort Zhang Zi. Zhang Zi, hang in there a little longer. The monster gradually wrapped around Zhang Zi's neck, tightly constricting him, making him unable to move. Zhang Zi anxiously said to Xiaojin, I can't move, what to do in a daze. Zhang Zi felt that he was doomed this time. He said silently, Zhaofeng Yuying, I won't be able to take care of you anymore. The hundreds of meters-long monster had wrapped around Zhang Zi's body, tightly constricting his legs, arms, neck, and abdomen. Hundreds of people stood at the airport pleading in hushed voices. Some wanted to escape. I know, Minister Li, if you take me away from here, there will definitely be benefits. I have money, I'll give you as much as you want. Please don't let me die here. An army arrived, and armed guards shouted loudly, move aside, they said. This plane is here to pick up our national ambassador. There's no room for Great Sha people. Chief Shi said angrily, damn foreigners. The old merchant was worried. With so many people, even if we push our way through, we might not get a spot. What should we do? Everyone looked back in panic, only to see that the terrifying monsters had already rushed over. Someone shouted, the monsters are coming. Faced with such danger, some could only place their hopes in the gods. Lord Shiva, please bless me to return home safely. Chief Shi pointed at the approaching monsters and said firmly, in this critical moment we must fight them, otherwise none of us will survive. The arrow was on the string and had to be released. It was too late to turn back, and the fear of death was probably a common feeling among everyone present. Someone sighed, regretting that they should have stayed at home instead of participating in this competition. The regret was too late. Another person said, it's too late to regret now. Zhang Zi screamed in pain as the monster continued to tear at his body. Ah! The monster showed no signs of stopping, continuing to inflict painful blows on Zhang Zi. A voice said, why? How can the consciousness of a human like you invade my brain? Zhang Zi tried to break free from the monster's restraints. Suddenly he heard a voice and let out a surprised, ha! What's going on? Was that voice the monster's? The monster replied, that's right, human. Your consciousness can read my thoughts. Shang Xiaojin was surprised to find that the monster was no longer attacking Zhang Zi and asked, what's wrong? Zhang Zi, why aren't the monsters attacking you anymore? Zhang Zi replied blankly, I don't know either. The monster shouted loudly, human, I am willing to obey your commands. Zhang Zi asked in surprise, what, obey me? Shang Xiaojin was still very surprised and asked, Zhang Zi, how did you make these monsters stop attacking you? Zhang Zi said, I don't know, but it seems like I'm controlling them. Xiaojin pressed, control? Let's put that aside for now, we'll talk about it after we leave here. Okay, let's head towards the beach. Zhang Zi raised his hand and commanded, you stop the other monsters that are rushing over. Over us, the monster responded, obeying human commands. Thousands of people swarmed the airport looking for a way to escape. But there was only one plane which couldn't accommodate everyone. Ruo Tong asked several people in military uniforms. Your plane clearly has many empty seats, why won't you let us on? They replied. I've already said a plane is for our M country team, not for people from your great Shah country. They pointed their guns at the crowd, threatening, back off, back off. One more step forward and we'll shoot, Lao Chang said angrily. Despicable M country people. Our great Shah country won't let you off. An old man who supported Lao Chang's view chimed in. That's right, our white bear country won't let you off either. Chief Shi reminded everyone, be careful, the monsters are coming again. As the monsters approached the crowd, several people screamed, I'll run. The little girl saw Zhang Zi and shouted, look, Dad, no, brother is back, it's old Zhang. Old Zhang is back. Zhang Zi and Shang Xiaojin walked toward the crowd with an imposing air, followed by the controlled giant monsters. Chief Shi was surprised by the scene before her. How is Zhang Zi with the monsters? Everyone panicked when they saw it, urging, run, more monsters are coming. Zhang Zi ordered the monsters, clear a path for us. They replied, obeying human commands. Lao Chang was overjoyed and asked admiringly, my goodness, old Zhang, what happened? Did you subdue the monsters? Zhang Zi picked up the little girl and said, it's a long story. I accidentally gained control of that big guy and the other monsters seem to be its subordinates. Chief Shi was still worried. Never mind that, the monsters are coming again. We need to find a way out of here. The little girl pointed at the people in military uniforms and said to Zhang Zi, Dad, don't let those nasty M country people get on the plane. Zhang Zi said to Lao Chang, take Chao Wei and the others, we'll run over there. Then he ordered the monsters, you knock those nasty M country people away. The monsters replied, yes sir. The armed soldiers yielded to the monsters, screaming, ah! Then Zhang Zi urged the others, hurry, get on this plane. The little girl pointed at the people in military uniforms and said to Zhang Zi, Dad, don't let those nasty M country people get on the plane. Zhang Zi said to Lao Chang, take Chao Wei and the others, we'll run over there. Then he ordered the monsters, you knock those nasty M country people away. The monsters replied, yes sir. The armed soldiers yielded to the monsters, screaming, ah! Then Zhang Zi urged the others, hurry, get on this plane. As everyone ran, they said, look, the M country soldiers are being attacked by monsters. Let's get on the plane quickly. Lao Chang was already on the plane, but Zhang Zi was still below. He quickly poked his head out the window and waved, shouting, old Zhang, hurry up and come up too. Zhang Zi looked into the distance and replied, okay. It turned out that Zhang Zi was worried about that monster. He turned back to it and said, big guy, this plane isn't big enough. Find a safe place to stay. We'll meet again if fate allows. The monster, as if programmed, still replied, yes sir. Outside was chaos and the people on the plane urged, take off quickly. Take us to a safe place. 3 days later at Zhang Zi's house, his sister said to Zhang Zi, brother, this exchange competition was too dangerous. It's scary just listening to it. Zhang Zi replied, I'm more worried about her saying that the demon realm is invading the real world. Now so many monsters have suddenly appeared and they all seem to be related to the demon realm. This might be a sign. Then he told his sister, this world is becoming more and more dangerous. You must become stronger as soon as possible. The little girl said to the girl, you're right, you must become stronger as soon as possible. You'll have a very important role in the future. She was preparing food for Xiaofeng, saying, really? Then tell me what else will happen in the future. Xiaofeng replied, Zhang Zi stood up, patted Xiaofeng's head and then said to the girl, don't listen to her nonsense. The future will take its course. Let's eat. After eating, come with me to the demon realm. The girl happily clenched her fists and raised them excitedly, saying, really? Are you taking me to the demon realm to train my strength? Zhang Zi replied, no matter what the future holds. It's time for you to grow stronger. The girl was overjoyed. Great, it's on the first level of the demon realm. Zhang Zi said, it seems the monster threat has made everyone pay more attention to the demon realm. Many people gathered in the demon realm, discussing amongst themselves, have you heard? Berserker Godzilla's combat power is as high as 187,551, topping the combat power rankings. What? White Bear's Chainhammer Scythe Wanderer was defeated? The girl and Zhang Zi walked in wearing full armor and tight masks. The girl said to Zhang Zi, brother, where are your friends and future sister-in-law? Zhang Zi replied, they're on the 12th level. I'm going to help you get stronger all day today. You have to be serious. The girl replied, okay, I'll be serious. A group of people ran over and waved to Zhang Zi, guild leader. Zhang Zi saw them and asked, One Arrow, why are you on the first level? One Arrow replied, guild leader. I heard you're here helping your sister level up, so I brought the guild brothers. Then he said, One Arrow to the heart, with 566 guild members here to pay respects to the guild leader. Several people in the distance heard their conversation and talked about it. Wow, they're all archers. Their equipment doesn't look like that of newbies. Why would they be on the first level? These archers are all wearing cloaks. I guess it's some kind of organization or group activity. That Rakshasa seems to be their guild leader. He looks very powerful. Zhang Zi said, Hello everyone, you don't have to be so polite. One Arrow, you've worked hard. You not only lead the team well, but the number of members has also increased a lot. One Arrow said, Haha, it's no trouble. It's what I, as the vice guild leader, should do. In the past, we archers were always looked down upon, but now we're united and we turn heads wherever we go. Zhang Zi replied, Yes, very good. Zhang Zi's sister held Zhang Zi's arm and said, Brother, you're so cool, you have your own guild. And so many members, Zhang Zi proudly replied, This is nothing, we're going to get stronger. One Arrow clenched his left fist and shouted, "Brothers, let's get to work. Help the guild leader's sister clear the level as quickly as possible." Everyone responded in unison. "Understood." Zhang Zi stood majestically among the crowd and said, "Then I'll trouble everyone." On the first level of the demon realm, everyone worked together and charged, shouting to finish the battle quickly. Zhang Zi took the lead and everyone drew their bows and attacked the monsters. -6,511, 1 arrow to the heart, -307 Arrow King, -298 3-character arrow. A series of arrows hit the target, then shifted targets. Zhang Zi instructed everyone to concentrate their attacks on the lava turtle. Everyone drew their bows and prepared, responding in unison, "Understood." Another wave of arrows shot towards the lava turtle, -354, 1 arrow to the heart, -593, 100 shots 2 hearts, -611 Art God. The lava turtle fell to the ground, riddled with arrows. It emitted a dazzling light. One arrow turned to Zhang Zi's sister and said, "Sister, the guild leader needs to go to the 12th level first. We'll take you leveling. You can use these demon soul orbs to improve your stats." The sister said admiringly, "Thank you, brother One Arrow. You guys are amazing. You eliminated the monsters in the blink of an eye. But I want to try to." One Arrow replied, "Well, you're right. After all, you need to master your own combat skills. You try killing the monsters and we'll protect you." Zhang Zi's sister obediently said, "Okay, thank you, brother One Arrow." The sister waved her arrow and shot at the monster. "Let me show you my power." -12 Peach Blossom. Then she said, "Ha, the damage is so low." -20 Peach Blossom. Still unable to eliminate the monster, the sister said, "No, I can't give up like this. I must eliminate it." The boys in the team saw the sister like this and said with a smile, "Oh, my sister, seeing you struggling so hard to fight the monsters, let us give you a hand. Ha ha." Then a few people rushed up to help, and the monster was gradually subdued under everyone's attack. A few people were still joking, "Haha, it dropped equipment. It's D-grade armor, haha. Just right for my girlfriend." Zhang Zi's sister was very dissatisfied when she saw them snatching the loot she had worked so hard for. "Hey, why are you stealing my monsters? Give me back the loot." Those boys were still joking. "Sister, are you mistaken? We eliminated the lava turtle. Of course the loot belongs to us. Besides, if we hadn't stepped in time, then you'd be dead, you know that. Not only do you not thank us, but you have the nerve to ask for loot. Tisk, how shameless. Forget it. She's a newbie. She doesn't understand the rules of the demon realm. Let's ignore her and go find other monsters." She saw how shameless the group was and remembered Zhang Zi's words. These people were simply robbers. Second brother was right. People in the demon realm are indeed treacherous. One Arrow said, "They're just petty people, don't be angry. Everyone will teach them a lesson." Zhang Zi's sister was surprised by One Arrow's words. "Oh," One Arrow waved his hand, inviting, "Come on, sister, let's go fight the boss." Everyone gathered on the first level of the demon realm. A wild wolf appeared and everyone's attention was focused on it. A group of people brandished their blades and flew to attack the wild wolf. Several people were triumphant. "Haha, the shadow wolf has appeared. Attack!" The wild wolf stood alone in the encirclement of humans, countless arrows pointing at it. -951, 1 arrow to the heart. -397, Arrow King. -218, returning heart arrow. -854, 1 arrow to the heart. -513, 100 shots 2 hearts. -411, Art God. The wild wolf howled in pain, its body covered in arrows like a hedgehog. Before the group could attack, the wild wolf had already fallen. They said, both surprised and angry, "What the hell, how did the shadow wolf get killed?" Another person said, "Damn it, I didn't even see the boss clearly before it died." Yet another person added, "This arrow rain is outrageous. Each arrow's damage is over 100, and the shadow wolf only has a few thousand HP. Do you need so many archers?" One Arrow said to Zhang Zi's sister. "Sister, did you get the key? Go through the stone gate ahead and you'll be on the 2nd level." The sister replied, "Yes, thank you, brother One Arrow." Zhang Zi folded his arms and said to One Arrow, "A hidden arrow is hard to defend against. You and a few brothers stay here and eliminate the boss as soon as it appears. Let those guys know what happens when they dare to bully the guild leader's sister." One Arrow replied, "Understood." A boy knelt down and said to Zhang Zi's sister, "Big sister, are these archers your minions? Please ask them to spare us." Several other people also followed suit. Sister, please ask them to let us go. We were wrong, really wrong. We'll never dare to do it again." The sister asked One Arrow, "Brother One Arrow, should we spare them?" One Arrow replied, "Ignore them. Let Hidden Arrow and them play for a few days, otherwise they won't repent." On the 12th level of the demon realm, Zhang Zi walked in. "I'm here. Sorry, I was held up by something." The person standing on the 12th level said to Zhang Zi, "No need to apologize. We know you had to help your sister. One Arrow to the Heart sent us a message earlier. Shadow, I heard your third uncle is coming to pick you up. Is anyone in your family making things difficult for you?" Moon Shadow said to Zhang Zi, "I'll be staying at my third uncle's house for now. My family has already abandoned me. Grandpa publicly announced that he doesn't have a granddaughter like me. Actually, I'm rather happy to hear that." Zhang Zi comforted her. "It's good that you're okay." At this moment, a girl saw the two of them being lovey-dovey and cleared her throat. "Ahem, you two, stop showing off your affection. I have something to tell everyone. Next Friday is my birthday, please come to my house to celebrate with me. No excuses allowed, everyone cheered. Great, that's right, most of us haven't met in the real world yet. This is a good opportunity to get to know each other. Hee hee, old god, Ji-Chu, Dragon King, Little Princess and Little Rabbit. I want to see your real faces. Yes, Zhang said. By the way, does everyone know about the latest combat power rankings in the Demon Realm? Someone said. Yes, I've seen it. Only 2 of the top 10 are from Sha country. The rest are from other countries. Zhang said. I've seen it too, and I've checked everyone's rankings, apart from I do my own thing, who helped us get 19th place. None of us are even in the top 500, everyone agreed. Yes, we've only reached the 13th level. Of course, we can't compare with experts who have already reached the 20th or 30th level, Moonshadow asked in surprise. Rakshasa's talent skills are so powerful, isn't he on the list? Zhang analyzed. No, this combat power ranking should be based on the adventurer's own strength. Although summoning skills are powerful, they don't increase my own strength, so I didn't make the list. But rankings aren't that important. We should focus on improving our own strength, others echoed. That's right, the demon realm has returned to normal, we need to hurry to the 13th level. Exactly, I can't wait. I'm going first. Haha, over a year later, they finally reached the 13th level, the demon realm's 13th level. The dragons on this level are divided into flame dragons and frost dragons, and the final boss is the dark dragon king. It's enormous. The manual says that when it flies, it blots out the sky. A tall, strong man raised his sword and pointed a finger at the sky. No matter what it is, it can't stop us from moving forward. Let's go, we haven't fought monsters together in a long time. A strange sight appeared before everyone's eyes. Dragons and the Dark Dragon King. Everyone look. The flames they spewed covered the entire sky, affecting everyone present. Help, Moonshadow said. Falling down is certain death, I don't want to die yet. The man next to Moonshadow also said. The road to the top of the mountain is very dangerous, coupled with the dragon's attacks. Clearing this level won't be easy. The dragons attack from the sky, we can't hide on the ground at all, we'll definitely die if we get hit. What should we do? Zhang stood up and said, well, leave this level to me. Rakshasa, what idea do you have? Giant God said. Those dragons attack from the sky. We're on the ground, it's hard to stop them, so the best way is to fight fire with fire. First, I'll kill a dragon and turn it into a summoned minion, then let it protect us in the air. Everyone agreed, good idea, but we still need to observe their weaknesses and see how to lure them down. Giant God said, well, how about we try attacking the dragon's wings? If their wings are broken, they won't be able to fly. Zhang also agreed. I think we can try that, Giant God said. Okay, it's decided then. The ranged attacks will rely entirely on Rakshasa and Ji-Chu, Zhang said. Yes, as long as we catch a dragon, it's dead, Moonshadow urged. Don't hesitate. Let's cross the bridge while the dragons haven't locked onto a target, everyone said. Yes, brother Giant God, you lead the way. Giant God rushed forward. Okay, everyone follow me closely. Everyone moved forward together. Moonshadow suddenly said, oh no, a flame dragon is rushing towards us. The flame dragon rushed up and spewed a large swath of flames. Giant God raised his shield to block in front. Everyone retreat behind me and take cover. The people behind were worried. It's over, run. Being hit by the flame dragon's flames will cause continuous burning damage. The flame dragon spewed out more flames. Giant God counterattacked. Minus 1177, Flame Dragon, counterattack. Minus 107 burning damage, but this Flame Dragon is not easy to deal with. Giant God said, its fire-breathing skill is terrifying. Zhang stepped forward, drew his bow, pointed it at the Flame Dragon, and taunted, want to run? No way. Zhang shot an arrow at the Flame Dragon's body, a critical hit. Minus 2899 Rakshasa. Lightning 120. Zhang stepped forward, drew his bow, pointed it at the Flame Dragon, and taunted, want to run? No way. Zhang shot an arrow at the Flame Dragon's body, a critical hit. Minus 2899 Rakshasa. Then Zhang shouted, Ji-Chu, freeze it quickly. Ji-Chu replied, understood, ice dance. The monster was casting a skill to attack them. Zhang instructed, take this opportunity, everyone attack together, don't let it fly back. Everyone took a fighting stance. Ji-Chu rushed forward, got it. Rakshasa, watch me turn it into dust. Minus 5321 Willow Moon Shadow, minus 4668 Violent Dragon King. The people on the other side saw the scene in front of them and said in surprise, my goodness. They took down a dragon, how did they do it? Amazing, we barely managed to drive one away with all our ranged attacks. I saw that archer shooting the dragon with arrows just now, did he take it down? Archers are so powerful, I really regret not inviting more archers when we formed the team. Zhang cast a skill pointing directly at the monster, die, critical hit. Minus 3288 Rakshasa. Zhang said to everyone, with this flame dragon we don't have to be afraid of the dragons in the sky. The flame dragon spewed flames, come out, protect us from the sky. Everyone stopped shouting, ha ha ha, this is so cool. Rakshasa, kill a few more dragons, having aerial bodyguards is awesome, ha ha ha. The people from the other teams were amazed by Zhang team's abilities. Did I see that right? They summoned a flame dragon? My goodness, is that real? There's a talent like that? That's too overpowered, right? It seems that guy named Rakshasa summoned it. He's too powerful. The monsters flew in the air, forming a protective barrier. Zhang Zi and his team said happily, "It's great to have so many dragons protecting us. Fire and ice flying together, haha. The 2 mountain peaks ahead are where the boss is located. Let's win this battle quickly," Moonshadow said. "Adding one more, we have a total of 7 dragons, 3 flame dragons and 4 frost dragons. We should be able to fight the boss, but it seems like there are a lot of people gathered around the boss." Giant God said, "I heard from the experts that the Dark Dragon King on this level is a nightmare." Everyone was stunned. The purple monster appeared, huge and terrifying. In the demon realm, there was a lot of discussion. Is that the Dark Dragon King? Its aura is terrifying. Oh my god, I'm scared out of my wits. It's so big, it can swallow a dozen people in one bite, right? I don't want to be its dinner. So how do we defeat it? Ordinary swords are like tickles to it, right? Moonshadow said, "The boss is getting bigger and bigger. I estimate this Dark Dragon King is over 20 meters tall when it stands upright." Giant God asked Zhang Zi. "Rakshasa, are you confident?" Zhang Zi replied, "To be honest, not very confident. The Dark Dragon King is too huge. Just a sweep of its tail is enough to knock us away," a girl asked suspiciously. "Huh, what should we do then? Are we not going to fight this level?" Although Zhang Zi was not confident, he would never give up. He had to fight, but he needed to find a way. "Everyone, look at what that is." Some eggs appeared. Moonshadow said, They look like dragon eggs." Jichu said, "Can't tell. The boss is a mother dragon." Zhang Zi said, "It seems we have to deal with those eggs, but before fighting the boss I have some gifts for everyone." A boy asked in surprise, "Oh, what gifts?" Some books appeared, including the S-Rank skill book Disguise, the S-Rank skill book Earth-Shattering Roar, the A-Rank skill book Savage Strike, the Sulfur Monosulfide rank skill book Independent Domain, the S-Rank skill book Status Recovery, and the A-Rank skill book Purification. Zhang Zi said, "Actually, I wanted to distribute the skill books left by Dawn of yesteryear to everyone a long time ago. But because some things happened at home, and the demon realm became abnormal again, it was delayed until today." Jichu said, "With these skill books, can we have a second skill? I can't handle the S-Rank. I want that A-Rank Savage Strike." Someone said, "Great, Earth-Shattering Roar is perfect for me. I'll take this one." Earth-Shattering Roar, S-Rank, 1 experience point, 1/1000th consumption, 120 health cooldown, 30-minute effect. Emits a roar at target enemies within a 30-meter radius, reducing enemy damage by 10% and forcing targets to attack the caster for 3 minutes. Note, Earth-Shattering Roar Level 1 reduces enemy damage by 10% and forces targets to attack the caster for 3 minutes. Earth-Shattering Roar Level 2 reduces enemy damage by 20% and forces targets to attack the caster for 5 minutes. Earth-Shattering Roar Level 3 reduces enemy damage by 30% and forces targets to attack the caster for 10 minutes. Earth-Shattering Roar Level 4 reduces enemy damage by 50% and forces targets to attack the caster for 15 minutes. Earth-Shattering Roar Level 5 reduces enemy damage by 80% and forces targets to attack the caster for 20 minutes. Moonshadow said to Zhang Zi, "There are no skill books suitable for me here, but Independent Domain is very suitable for you. Why don't you learn it?" Independent Domain Information, SS Rank, 1 experience point, 1/1000th consumption, 500 health cooldown, 60-minute effect, creates a 10-meter radius domain centered on the caster and sets rules for the domain that all targets within the domain must follow, lasting for 30 minutes. Domain rules are as follows. 1. Magic and physical attack damage increased or decreased by 50%. 2. Magic resistance and physical resistance increased or decreased by 50%. 3. Maximum health increased or decreased by 50%. 4. Movement speed and attack speed increased or decreased by 50%. 5. Skill damage increased or decreased by 50%. Reminder, cannot move while casting the domain, otherwise the domain will fail. Note, Independent Domain Level 1, casting range radius 10 meters. Independent Domain Level 2, casting range radius 50 meters. Independent Domain Level 3, casting range radius 100 meters. Independent Domain Level 4, casting range radius 500 meters. Independent Domain Level 5, casting range radius 1000 meters. After receiving the information, Zhang Zi said that he could set rules to control the enemies trapped in the domain. This skill is very powerful. Then thank you everyone. People in the team said, "What are you talking about? You are the strongest in the team, of course you have to learn the strongest skill." "That's right, if you become stronger we can all benefit. Come on brother Rakshasa, you're the best." System display, "Congratulations on successfully learning Independent Domain." The people in the team walked and talked, "Okay, we're almost ready. Let's challenge the Dark Dragon King. Haha, I can't wait. Let's go." Other people in the demon realm seemed to look down on Zhang Zi and his team, saying to them, "You want to defeat the Dark Dragon King too? First time here, right? Doesn't look very strong, probably won't last a single move from the boss." Zhang Zi said to everyone, "Let's try a test run first. I'll have the giant dragons attack the boss first and everyone listen to my commands." Everyone took the order. Understood. The huge Dark Dragon King was indeed difficult to deal with. It launched an attack and everyone worked together. Zhang Zi shouted, "All together!" The Fire Giant Dragon and the Frost Giant Dragon attacked together. minus 1669 Fire Giant Dragon, minus 1095 Frost Giant Dragon, minus 1112 Fire Giant Dragon, Lightning 121 altogether. The Fire Giant Dragon and the Frost Giant Dragon attacked at the same time. Minus 1669 Fire Giant Dragon, minus 1095 Frost Giant Dragon, minus 1112 Fire Giant Dragon. Everyone watched John Z resist, and one person said, 7 giant dragons attacking the boss together, amazing, Giant God said. But the damage is very low. It seems the Dark Dragon King's defense is terrifyingly high. The battle became more and more intense, and the Dragon King's attacks became more and more fierce. John Z controlled them and said, the Dark Dragon King is frozen. Seize the opportunity, let's go, everyone shouted in unison. Understood, the tiny humans worked together to fight the huge Dragon King. Magic immunity, it's using advanced moves catching everyone off guard. What? The boss is magic immune? Moonshadow said. Everyone look over there, John Z worriedly said. Crap, so many Dragon Kings are charging over. How did so many suddenly appear? Moonshadow said. The boss summoned them. What do we do? Everyone worried. Rakshasa's giant dragons are surrounded. We need to find another way, John Z said. Then the terrifying monsters continued to attack. John Z had no choice but to use his ultimate move. He said, it's time to come out. Jester, come out. The monster smiled and said, hee hee. My dear little friends, long time no see, I missed you all so much, ha ha ha. The people on the other side were still mocking John Z and his team. My god, am I seeing things? Is that the Jester boss from the Death Domain? How did he appear here? Wasn't he killed last time? How can he be here? Look over there, it's the great god Rakshasa. He can summon bosses. He must have summoned the Jester. Ah ha ha ha, Rakshasa is the star of Great Shah, he's my idol. The Dark Dragon King is doomed this time, don't be too happy too soon. The Dark Dragon King is not easy to mess with. Let's observe first. Hello everyone, today I'm very lucky to see the great god Rakshasa and I'm about to prepare a wonderful live broadcast for everyone. Please look forward to how the great god will defeat the Dark Dragon King. The monster threw out some cards and said, little friends, I'm here to play with you. The Dark Dragon Kings charged over. The huge Dark Dragon King opened its big mouth, seemingly trying to swallow everyone. Giant God said, not good, the boss is going to attack. John Z said, little Jester. The boss's immunity is about to end, suppress it quickly, little Jester said. Got it. I'm watching it. Gravity suppression, Moonshadow said. Dragon King, let's take this chance to focus our attacks on the boss. John Z replied, okay. John Z drew his bow and shot a fire arrow. John Z said, little Jester, make a quick decision and take care of those giant dragons. Little Jester took the order and replied, hee hee, yes my master. Terror box, minus 10,851, bomb explosion, minus 9,638, ice bomb, minus 10,053, poison bomb. Magic immunity. The monster was attacked fiercely and didn't have time to react, turning around and running. Everyone worried, not good. The boss is running away. Everyone discussed the sudden situation. Its health is only half left. We can definitely kill it if we hit it a few more times, but it's flying high now, we can't reach it. John Z noticed something was wrong and said, no, it's not trying to escape, it seems to have some other conspiracy. John Z told everyone to run away quickly. A monster suddenly appeared and spewed flames. John Z reminded everyone, be careful, it's the Dark Dragon King's flame breath skill. The flame breath was too big, and even Giant God couldn't block the surging flames with his shield. Little Jester was surrounded by flames and he was angry. Damn flames ruined my new clothes. John Z was worried about Little Jester and said, we can't let Little Jester die. Moonshadow reminded, everyone be careful, the boss is attacking again. It's the boss spraying frozen dragon breath again. John Z told everyone to dodge quickly. It's frozen dragon breath, frozen dragon breath. Giant God said anxiously to John Z, Rakshasa, we have to find a way. We can't hold on anymore. Moonshadow said, not good. Jester is frozen. Ice covered Jester's body. He trembled in his heart. His body was already frozen stiff. It's too cold, I'm going to freeze to death. John Z commanded Little Princess, help Jester remove the status. Little Princess took the order. Understood. Moonshadow looked up at the sky, worried. Not good, the boss is charging again. Giant God held up his shield, anxiously said, it's over. This time it's Dark Dragon Breath. The damage is even higher than Flame Dragon Breath and Frozen Dragon Breath. Dark Dragon Breath. Giant God blocked the flames and ice with his shield, and now it's poison. He was terrified. He said, can't dodge. The attack range almost covers here. What to do? Everyone worried about their lives. Can they only wait for death? Can't dodge even if you want to. Is there only a dead end? John Z would never give in. He made up his mind and said, no, we must find a way. He drew his bow and shot a fire arrow, although he wasn't sure, but there was no other way. Although he didn't have 100% certainty, he could only take a risk. The Dragon King and Little Princess looked at the front in horror. Little Princess let out a shrill scream, can't dodge even if you want to, is there only a dead end? At this moment John Z stood outside observing with a frown. John Z hesitated. No, I must find a way, although I don't have 100% certainty, I have to take a risk. Then John Z raised his weapon high and shot a powerful arrow forward. Rakshasa appeared instantly, carrying powerful force. The red arrow shot towards the monster's egg sac. Minus 1104 Rakshasa penetrated the egg sac, causing it to burst, spraying out a milky substance. The monster turned its head, looking blank. The Dragon King stood in front of everyone, laughing loudly. Haha, Rakshasa is amazing. He actually thought of this way. Rakshasa saw this and mocked. Ha, the boss is angry. Little Jester wanted to join in the fun, revealing a strange smile and suggested, "It burned my clothes with fire and froze me with ice. I must kill it." Rakshasa agreed and commanded, "Little Jester, seize the opportunity, don't let it fly into the sky." Upon receiving the order, everyone stepped forward to attack the boss together. Moonshadow shouted, "Dragon King, let's go together." The Dragon King heard the call from behind, roared and rushed up. "Okay, go all out and destroy it." Little Jester stretched out his sharp claws and shouted, "Devil dolls." Then, thousands of mini devil dolls attached to the monster. Then the devil dolls began to gnaw, damaging the monster. Minus 1102. Devil doll, minus 415. Devil doll, minus 993. Devil doll. Looking at the dripping red syrup in front of her, little princess couldn't help but shudder. Oh my, this Jester's skill is too terrifying. But it's also very powerful. Even Light Bunny is SOS. The body was gradually being eaten away, and the giant dragon roared. An alarm sounded. Be careful. It's the dragon's roar. Its roar attacked everyone, and they immediately covered their ears with their hands. Everyone's face was distorted by the dragon's voice. Immediately afterward, the giant dragon flew high into the sky, shaking off the devil dolls one by one. The giant dragon roared and struggled in the high sky, shaking off the devil dolls like raindrops, a tragic sight. Seeing the giant dragon resist, Rakshasa couldn't sit still. Crap, it's going to fly high again. At this moment, little princess smiled confidently and said, "Then pull it down again." Immediately afterward, little princess smashed a dragon egg to provoke the giant dragon. Seeing little princess use the line-pulling trick again, the Dragon King couldn't help but say excitedly, "Little princess, you're so creative." Seeing the dragon eggs break one by one, Light Bunny sighed worriedly. "Oh dear, my dream of raising dragons as pets seems to be shattered." Knowing that its dragon eggs were destroyed, the giant dragon angrily released earth-shattering roar, trying to burn these people to death. That's the skill, earth-shattering roar. Everyone opened their mouths wide and looked up as the flames rushed towards them. At this moment, Giant God took out the shield of hatred to resist. Giant God pulled everyone behind him and shouted, "Everyone be careful, dodge quickly." But the earth-shattering roar was too powerful, instantly shattering the shield of hatred and knocking Giant God far away. Giant God fell beside Rakshasa and complained, "The boss's dark dragon breath shattered my shield. If this continues, I'm afraid there won't be a good outcome." Rakshasa took out his weapon and aimed it at the giant dragon. "We can't keep this stalemate. We have to find a way." Immediately afterward, the giant dragon charged towards everyone like a bloodthirsty demon. Little princess shouted in horror, "It's charging again, what should we do?" It's Rakshasa's turn to act. Rakshasa shouted, "Leave it to me." Everyone stepped aside. Everyone looked at Rakshasa in horror, and Dragon King quickly asked, "What does Rakshasa want to do?" Moonshadow hesitated and said, He wants to activate." Guessing Rakshasa's intention, Moonshadow quickly stopped him. "Rakshasa?" "No," Moonshadow emphasized, "it's too dangerous." Earth-shattering roar appeared in the giant dragon's mouth. Rakshasa's voice sounded, "Let you know how powerful I am." Rakshasa stood firm, put his hands forward and activated the skill Independent Domain. Giant God said, "Rakshasa activated Independent Domain. He wants to deal with the boss alone." Dragon King thought he had misheard and asked, "What? Him alone? That's too dangerous." At this time, Moonshadow could only pray, "God bless you, you must come back safely." The system screen appeared. Please select domain rules. 1. Magic and physical attack damage increased or decreased by 50%. 2. Magic resistance and physical resistance increased or decreased by 50%. 3. Maximum health increased or decreased by 50%. 4. Movement speed and attack speed increased or decreased by 50%. 5. Skill damage increased or decreased by 50%. Countdown started. 10, 9, 8, 7. Silently reciting the rules Rakshasa had decided on, she selected the 4th rule. Subsequently, the 4th rule activated on the dragon's body, causing it to enter a unique territorial boundary, reducing its movement speed and attack speed. Rakshasa knelt on one knee within the territory, controlling the domain. Then, Rakshasa swept past like the wind, her voice echoing, "Come, let us battle in my territory." This caused the dragon to lose control. Immediately following, a freezing deceleration effect appeared. Rakshasa, hidden beneath the dragon's massive form, roared, slowing down, "Let's see if you can still dodge my attacks." At this moment, the dragon could only roar as its killing aura had been weakened, registering a negative 17,557. Rakshasa, attack its weak point. Rakshasa, wielding a bow and arrow, aimed at the dragon, saying, "One more strike." Rakshasa reminded it, "My territory, my rules, die." Meanwhile, the Dragon King, having not received news from Rakshasa, grumbled with his foul mouth, "Why hasn't Rakshasa returned yet?" Huang Zhaodu angrily cursed, "Shut your crow mouth." Yu Ying ignored them, silently chanting Buddhist mantras in her heart. "Zhang Zi, you must be alright." Immediately following, a freezing deceleration effect appeared, directly piercing the dragon's head. Rakshasa observed the situation from a high vantage point, saying, "Slowing down." Let's see if you can still dodge my attacks, the dragon roared madly beside her, registering a negative 17,557. Rakshasa, attack its weak point. Seizing the opportunity as the dragon revealed its weakness, Rakshasa drew her bow, filled with killing intent. One more strike, Rakshasa roared. My territory, my rules, die. Over here, everyone's hearts were filled with anxiety. The Dragon King's foul mouth started up again. Why hasn't Rakshasa returned yet? Guang Zhaotu, upon hearing this, immediately scolded. Shut your crow mouth. At the same time, Yu Ying silently prayed in her heart. Zhang Zi, you must be all right. Rakshasa has appeared. Suddenly, the Dragon King pointed forward in alarm. Look, it's over. The system screen displayed the message. Congratulations to Rakshasa for successfully slaying the Dark Dragon King. This time, Rakshasa stood majestically upon the dragon's corpse overlooking the land. The Dragon King's eyes were filled with admiration, and he shouted loudly, "Ha ha ha, Rakshasa is too cool." Yu Ying immediately rushed forward to find Rakshasa, hugging her tightly, saying with lingering fear, "You really scared me to death. Next time you encounter such a dangerous situation, can you please discuss it with me first?" Rakshasa gently patted her shoulder, smiling. "Well, things happened a bit suddenly, but aren't I safe and sound?" Subsequently, the white-clad man stood before the dragon's corpse, cheering loudly for Rakshasa. She won. Rakshasa the Great has defeated the Dark Dragon King. The surrounding people also joined in the commotion. My goodness, I can't believe it. The terrifying Dark Dragon King actually died at the hands of Rakshasa the Great. He's truly amazing, the white-clad man added. This battle was too spectacular. Rakshasa the Great gave us a personal demonstration. Now we know how to defeat the Dark Dragon King. A burst of laughter erupted. Rakshasa the Great has won, and my live stream has received countless gifts. This month we can eat our fill. Guang Zhaotu, standing before the mountain of spoils, couldn't help but exclaim, "Wow, so much equipment." The Dragon King picked up a shimmering enhancement rune, asking curiously, "Rakshasa, what do you plan to do with all this?" Looking at the shining light in her hand, Rakshasa scoffed, "HMPH, enhancement rune, not bad." The system introduced it. SS grade damage enhancement rune, no effect. Can upgrade an S grade or lower item by 1 level. Durability 1/1. Rakshasa felt it wasn't wise to linger, so she opened the barrier. "Everyone gather the spoils first, we'll distribute them later," Rakshasa said. "There are too many eyes here, we'll be safer going to the next level's altar." Titan agreed. "That's right." Yu Ying, looking at the barrier, also followed Rakshasa's advice. "Okay," the Dragon King, carrying weapons excitedly, said. "Floor 14 of the Demon Realm, here I come." Moments later, a brand new clear sky appeared before them. Floor 14 of the Demon Realm. Echoes came from the dense forest. "Wow, this forest is huge." Two tree ants, appearing faintly in the form of trees, whispered, "Indeed." According to the Demon Realm manual, Floor 14 is covered by forests and is the habitat of countless tree ants. The group stood in the magic circle looking at the two figures, asking curiously, "Look, are those tree ants?" It said that tree ants possess extraordinary power and usually move in groups. They insert their bodies into the ground, disguising themselves as ancient trees, and when explorers enter their attack range, they surround and attack them with their roots. The monsters on this floor are primarily tree ants. Even the boss is a Trent. Facing everyone's curiosity, Rakshasa stepped forward to explain, "The best way to deal with tree ants is with fire-type attacks. So we'll have to rely on you to convert everyone's attributes to fire." Seeing that everyone seemed a bit unsure about the road ahead, the girl standing behind Titan reassured, "It's okay, it's just that my skills are quite random. We'll just have to try repeatedly, don't worry." Titan, hearing this, roared in agreement, "Yes, but it's getting late today. We'll all be exhausted after fighting continuously for so long. How about we all go back and rest first?" Suddenly, sleepiness washed over him, and the Dragon King stretched and yawned. "All right, I'm suddenly feeling very sleepy." The little princess, sensing the Dragon King's laziness, expressed it bluntly. "Dragon King, you were the one who shouted the loudest about fighting monsters, and you're the first one to say you're sleepy." To save the Dragon King some face and for everyone's consideration, Rakshasa said, "Everyone's exhausted from defeating the Dark Dragon King today. Let's go back and rest first." Titan nodded in agreement. "Yes?" Yu Ying asked worriedly. "Rakshasa, can we log off a little later? I have something to say to you." Hearing Yu Ying speak, Rakshasa immediately took Yu Ying's hand and said, "Sure, as long as you want." The next morning, a scream echoed through the apartment. "Brother, I've reached the 6th floor." Zhang Zi, hearing the voice, quickly turned and walked over. "Zhaofeng, why are you up so early?" Zhang Zi's sister sat excitedly at a table filled with a sumptuous meal. She smiled and said, "Isn't it all thanks to you and everyone else, brother? They're very powerful, they carried me through the levels. If I hadn't told them to rest, they would have kept going." After his sister finished speaking, Zhang Zi reminded her, "Oh, then remember to thank them properly." Zhang Zi's sister nodded obediently. "Yes, I will definitely thank them." "What level are you and your friends on now, brother?" Zhang Zi sat beside his sister looking a little nervous. "We just passed level 13 and are now on level 14. Hearing level 14, Zhang Zi's sister said confidently, "8 more levels and I'll catch up with you." Worried that his sister was only focusing on the demon realm and neglecting her studies, Zhang Zi patted her head and reminded her, "Don't just think about the demon realm. The college entrance exam is in a few days, right? Focus on preparing for the exam." Zhang Zi's sister puffed out her cheeks in anger. I know. Suddenly, Zhang Zi's sister's mood dropped. You hasn't woken up yet? Zhang Zi admitted. No. Suddenly a scream came from outside. Ah, instinctively, Zhang Zi's sister turned to look at the door, calling out worriedly. It's you, Zhang Zi's sister shouted loudly. What's wrong? You. Then they opened the door and the four of them stared at each other. Seeing Gao Ying standing at his door, Zhang Zi asked angrily, Who are you? Gao Ying frowned defiantly, threatening, Don't even think about harming the prophet. Seeing that the two were about to fight, the little prophet quickly stepped in to stop them. Stop, he's my father. Then the four of them went inside to talk. Gao Ying introduced herself solemnly. Hello, my name is Gao Ying. I've been sent by Mr. Sun to protect the prophet. Gao Ying also added, From now on I will protect the prophet 24/7. Zhang Zi hadn't reacted yet. Zhang Zi blurted out. 24 hours, does that mean you're going to live in my house? Zhang Zi couldn't accept it, listing reasons to refuse. You're a girl and I'm a boy. Don't you think it's inconvenient for us to live together? Gao Ying, seeing Zhang Zi's strong reaction, was baffled. What's inconvenient? Wherever the prophet is, I am. The prophet holds the future of the world. I will protect him with my life. Seeing Gao Ying's insistence on staying, Zhang Zi cursed inwardly. Sigh, another stubborn woman, this is a headache. But she can protect you when I'm not in the demon realm. After thinking it over, Zhang Zi gave in to Gao Ying, scratching his head. This might be for the best. Upon learning that Zhang Zi agreed to let Gao Ying stay, the little prophet jumped onto the bed excitedly, celebrating, Great, someone to go to the park with me. There are no parks to play in the future world. Floor 14 of the demon realm, Rakshasa stood before a blue light wall, facing everyone. Titan, seeing Rakshasa's poor mental state, asked worriedly, Rakshasa, what's wrong? You look exhausted. Rakshasa, like a wilted bean sprout, sighed. Being a young parent isn't easy, it's a long story, never mind. One night Autumn pointed forward, bringing news. Shui Mo has broken the record again, clearing floor 38. Floor 39 teleportation point. The Dragon King said, doubting his life, How are they so fast? Rakshasa, knowing the urgency of the situation, quickly urged everyone to move out. We need to hurry too. You agreed from the side. That's right, we need to speed up our progress. Then Rakshasa suggested, You please convert everyone's attributes to fire first. You nodded. Okay, then you asked everyone, don't rush one by one. Who wants to go first? The Dragon King excitedly tried first. Me first. 10 minutes later. Everyone's equipment was imbued with fire attributes. Rakshasa pointed forward and said, Let's go. The Dragon King grinned and shouted, Charge. They hadn't gone far before the Dragon King started to worry. Damn, it's so easy to get lost here. Guang Zhaotu, with her sensitive rabbit nose, quickly smelled a strange fragrance, exclaiming, It smells so good. 10 minutes later, Rakshasa decisively pointed forward, commanding everyone, Let's go. Hearing the order, the Dragon King excitedly waved his weapon, shouting, Charge. After walking for a while, the Dragon King's instincts felt uneasy. It's so easy to get lost here. Guang Zhaotu's nose was very sensitive. She smelled a strange fragrance, exclaiming, It smells so good. Following the scent, Guang Zhaotu walked to a fragrant flower, curiously reaching out to touch it gently. This fragrance, sensing danger, Rakshasa quickly warned, Be careful, but before she could finish speaking, Guang Zhaotu was enchanted and fainted. The unconscious state lasted for 100 seconds. Seeing the critical situation, the little princess quickly stepped forward to help, enveloping Guang Zhaotu in green gas for purification. After a moment, Guang Zhaotu woke up and immediately burst into tears. What happened? How did I fall asleep? Disturbed by Guang Zhaotu's crying, Rakshasa reminded everyone, This forest is full of dangers. Don't touch anything around you carelessly. Be careful. Then everyone obeyed, moving closer together. Rakshasa led the way, observing her surroundings filled with doubt. It's strange. Many adventurers have entered the forest, but we haven't seen a single person along the way. This forest is too large and obscured by the canopy, making it difficult to see even at close range. Suddenly, Rakshasa and everyone crouched on the ground and the atmosphere became quiet. Be careful, there are footsteps. In the distance, a group of treants chased humans with long tentacles. They ran forward in panic, shouting loudly. Titan nervously reported the news. The treants have been lured over. Upon receiving the news, Rakshasa quickly instructed everyone, Be careful of those treants. Everyone hide first. After a while, the humans being chased by the treants had hidden, while Rakshasa and the others prepared for defense nearby. Yuying asked Chihuahua behind, Are we going to ambush them? Observing the treants situation, Rakshasa said, No, those treants are difficult to deal with. We'd better find the boss as soon as possible. Suddenly, a loud noise came from deep within the forest, and Yuying started to sweat, saying worriedly, This forest is too big, it's like a maze. Where do we find the boss? The Dragon King nodded through gritted teeth in agreement. Suddenly, this forest is too big. If only we could climb to the top of a tall tree. Listening to everyone's frowns as they tried to come up with a solution, Rakshasa thought for a moment and said, I have an idea. Seeing that Rakshasa had a plan, the Dragon King and Yuying looked at him curiously, their faces full of expectation. What idea? Then Rakshasa began to act, bending down and pressing his hands firmly on the ground. A phantom ripple was activated. Appear, Dark Dragon King. Immediately, a huge foot appeared, its toenails like sharp meat cleavers. Then a pair of wings appeared. The Dark Dragon King spread its wings and soared, shaking the heavens and the earth. Seeing the Dark Dragon King summoned with their own eyes, the short-haired girl beside them widened her eyes and exclaimed, "Wow, it's the Dark Dragon King, brother-in-law, are we going to ride it and fly into the sky?" The Dragon King chuckled. "Haha, that's awesome." Seeing everyone's excitement, Rakshasa was also satisfied, agreeing, "That's right." Then Rakshasa suggested, "We'll ride the Dark Dragon King and fly into the sky to find the boss. It'll be much easier that way." The Dark Dragon, as if freed from its restraints, soared in the sky. Everyone sat high up and Rakshasa reminded, "Dark Dragon, fly carefully." At this moment, Yu sat in the back, hugging herself tightly, screaming, "Ah, it's too high." The short-haired girl couldn't help but laugh at Yu's frightened appearance. "Haha, Yu, you're too timid. I'll take you to play something more thrilling another day to make you braver." Suddenly, a strange sight appeared ahead. Titan saw it and pointed forward in alarm, shouting, "Everyone, look, what's that?" A huge tree stood towering before them. The Dark Dragon carried everyone closer quickly. Seeing it, Rakshasa said, "What a huge tree." Yuing beside him asked Yehuda, "Could that be the divine tree?" Rakshasa wasn't sure, suggesting, "Not quite sure, let's go take a look." Then Rakshasa said loudly, "Dark Dragon, fly over there." The Dark Dragon obeyed Rakshasa's command, approaching the tree. Sitting high up, Rakshasa observed the tree, guessing, could it be the World Tree? Only the World Tree has such a thick trunk. Suddenly, Rakshasa saw a group of tree ants roaring below. Rakshasa was startled, shouting, "Look, so many tree ants!" Immediately following, shouts of counterattacking the tree ants rang out. "Fire attack! Ice seal preparation. Surround them all, freeze those burning tree ants with ice." Observing the tree ants from the Dark Dragon, Rakshasa frowned. "This team is very strong, let's go down and take a look." Then shouts rang out, "Fire attack, ice seal preparation." Ice seals like countless knives pierced into the Trent crowd, causing the tree ants to roar in agony. A voice came, "Fire attack, end the battle." The hooded person in the back was named Sushi. Beside Sushi, practicing fire attacks was Yao Guang. Yao Guang couldn't help but praise, "Brother, your team is really amazing. I think you'll definitely win this time." After eliminating the tree ants, Sushi said, "Clean up the battlefield." Then Sushi turned around and gently patted Yao Guang's head, reminding, "Don't be too careless. The other team is also elite. We don't know who will win yet." Yao Guang said firmly, "You must win. I heard killing the divine tree might get you in sulfur monosulfide rank staff. I really want one." A wisp of smoke caught their attention. Suti looked up, eyes wide with surprise, and exclaimed, "Ah," Suti added, "It's the Dark Dragon King. Everyone find a place to hide quickly." Seeing the black dragon flying towards them again, Suti wondered, "Why is the boss from the 13th floor here?" Suddenly, Yeoguang pointed forward, stammering, "Brother, there's someone on its back." Following the direction of Yeoguang's finger, Suti looked up and blurted out, "I didn't expect someone could tame the Dark Dragon King and use it as a mount." The Dark Dragon King landed, roaring in front of the crowd. Countless eyes looked up at the Dark Dragon King, and a stir went through the crowd. "Look, it's the great master Rakshasa." They grew more excited. "That's so cool, how did they do it?" "That's the Dark Dragon King." Someone nearby couldn't help but gossip, "I saw the video of him killing the Dark Dragon King yesterday, it was amazing." Watched by everyone like a movie star, the little princess sitting on the back couldn't help but feel smug. "Wow, it feels so good to be the center of attention." Guang Zhaotu found it a little strange when he heard the princess say that, but he echoed her words, thinking the little princess was indeed too full of herself. Only Rakshasa remained calm. He looked down and said quickly, "There are too many people below. They seem to be waiting for something. Let's observe first." Chapter 125, Yeoguang looked up at the sky and suddenly shouted to Suti beside him, "Brother, there's someone on its back." The man was equally surprised. "Huh, I didn't expect someone could tame the Dark Dragon King and use it as a mount." The people on the ground looked up at the sky, their eyes filled with envy. Seeing the people on the dragon's back, they longed even more to be there. "Look, it's the great master Rakshasa." Another person couldn't help but exclaim, "That's so cool, how did they do it?" "That's the Dark Dragon King." Someone else said, "I saw the video of him killing the Dark Dragon King yesterday, it was amazing." Zhang Zi, Moonshadow, Old God, Little Princess, Dragon King and Guang Zhaotu were sitting on the dragon's back. Everyone was very happy. The little princess couldn't help but say, "Wow, it feels so good to be the center of attention." Guang Zhaotu teased with a smile, "Little princess, you're really too full of yourself." Zhang Zi looked down and said, "There are too many people below. They seem to be waiting for something, let's observe first." The bald man suddenly pointed at the hooded Suti and shouted loudly, "Captain, look, the divine tree has appeared. It's the divine tree." He was talking about the huge tree with arms and legs that could move like a person. It was enormous, followed by some smaller trees that looked like a group of children. The group of trees advanced aggressively. On the other side, Brother Drunkard crossed his arms and cleared his throat to his team. "Everyone, try to keep up. We can't lose to Suti's group this time." Not far away, Yeoguang spotted Brother Drunkard's team and shouted loudly, "Brother, look, it's Brother Drunkard's team." Fu Kui responded and issued orders, convinced they were heading into an ambush. "Everyone be extra careful. Charge into the cave immediately." The team members responded in unison. "Understood." On the dragon's back, Titan, standing behind, spoke up, "Rakshasa, that's the divine tree boss of this floor." Rakshasa surveyed the surroundings and replied, "Yes. However, it seems two teams are fighting over the divine tree. How about we give it a try?" Upon hearing this, Dragon King wasn't worried at all, but rather laughed excitedly. "Haha, how thrilling. Let's see who dares to snatch our boss. Rakshasa considered for a moment and said, the tree hole is too small, the Dark Dragon King can't fly in. We'll have to go down. After everyone answered, okay, together, Rakshasa reminded them. Brother Titan, you lead the way. Dragon King, you take the rear. It's dark inside, stay close and watch out for your surroundings. Everyone replied in unison. Understood. Rakshasa and his group entered the cave together, staying close shoulder to guard against danger. Suddenly a tree branch reached out from somewhere, striking at Dragon King. Dragon King reacted quickly, raising his weapon to block the attack. Humph, what's this? Before them was a very ferocious tree monster with red eyes and sharp fangs, looking ugly and terrifying. The tree monster let out a huge roar, a display of aggression. Rakshasa recognized it and warned everyone loudly, "Ah, it's a Trent." Everyone dodged quickly. The ferocious monster began attacking everyone, violently whipping the crowd with its tree trunk. Moonshadow and Rakshasa drew their weapons simultaneously. All were engulfed in raging flames. Rakshasa said, "Focus fire and use fire-based attacks on it." As Moonshadow rushed forward to attack the Trent, the system displayed 3,527, light slash, minus 2,593. Light slash, minus 21,831, light slash. At this moment Moonshadow looked back and asked worriedly, Dragon King, are you alright? Dragon King was on the ground holding his head and groaning in pain. The index showed, minus 5,771 vine poison, minus 5,831 vine poison. Rakshasa stood beside him warning anxiously, "Oh no, Dragon King is poisoned, little princess, quickly detoxify him." Little princess replied after hearing this. Understood. Little princess walked to Dragon King's side waving her scepter and summoning the skill, Purification. On the other side, Titan blocked the attack with his shield and shouted to everyone, "I'll draw the aggro, everyone attack it quickly." Titan used the skill, Earth-Shaking Roar. Rakshasa drew his bow and aimed at the Trent, saying, "Let me show you the power of the flame arrows." The flame arrows indeed pierced the monster's head directly, and the system displayed critical hit, minus 138,111 Rakshasa. The monster vanished instantly and colorful orbs dropped. Moonshadow couldn't help but exclaim, "Wow, that's high damage." Dragon King commented, "It seems the Trent has low fire resistance." Rakshasa quickly reminded everyone, "Let's collect the loot quickly and hurry to find the boss." Titan also bent down to pick up items, agreeing. Yes, the two teams ahead had disappeared. Suddenly Moonshadow paused. "But which path leads to the boss?" Moonshadow asked, as there were 4 different paths in front of them. Titan stood up, looked around and sighed. "There are 4 caves. If we split up to search, it will be very dangerous and a waste of time. What should we do?" Rakshasa came up with an idea. "Split up, I have a way." Rakshasa spread his legs and summoned, "Jester, come out, let the puppets help me explore." Instantly, a bizarre jester and a group of goblin puppets appeared. It exclaimed, "It's too dark here, my master." Then the jester let out an evil laugh and ordered, "Dear puppets, don't be afraid, hee hee hee." The puppets obeyed and entered the 4 caves. Everyone cheered happily. "Rakshasa, you're a genius. With so many puppets exploring, they wouldn't have to worry about any forks in the road." Dragon King asked excitedly, "Rakshasa, how did you come up with this idea?" Rakshasa replied modestly, "Haha, I just thought of it." Inside the cave, Brother Drunkard shouted, "Suti, we discovered the divine tree first, so you're doomed to lose this time." Suti retorted without giving in, "Stop talking nonsense, you only win if you successfully eliminate the divine tree." Just then, Rakshasa and his group arrived in time. Moonshadow spotted the others and turned around, saying, "As expected, they got here first." Rakshasa reassured, "Don't worry, the divine tree isn't that easy to deal with. Let's hide behind and observe first." Everyone said in unison, "Okay." The divine tree stood there like wood, but unknowingly the roots under its feet had begun to grow, spreading wider and wider. After Brother Drunkard noticed the roots, he immediately warned, "Careful of the poisonous roots, drink the potions." Without saying a word, they each took out potions that immunized against toxins and drank them in large gulps. On Suti's side, Suti's sister saw this and asked worriedly, "Brother, they came prepared. What should we do?" Suti had no choice but to encourage her. "Don't worry, the divine tree's true terror isn't the toxins. Just wait and see." Yaoguang looked at Suti and asked, "Brother, they came prepared. What should we do?" Although Suti was a little nervous inside, he tried his best to reassure him. "Don't worry, the divine tree's true terror isn't the toxins. Just wait and see." On Rakshasa's side, someone said, "Brother Drunkard is a master assassin. His strategy for attacking the boss seems very reasonable." Rakshasa agreed, "Yes, but the boss still has a lot of health. Let's continue observing." Sure enough, Brother Drunkard was very brave at this moment. Wielding daggers and swords in both hands, launching continuous and fierce attacks on the boss. 1 attack, 2 attacks, 3 attacks. Brother Drunkard shouted a reminder, "Everyone hold on." The continuous attacks paralyzed the boss. After these attacks, the data continuously displayed. Minus 2,796, Brother Drunkard. Minus 3,047, Brother Drunkard. Minus 3,112, Brother Drunkard. Continuous attacks kept landing. 11 hits, 12 hits, 13 hits. Yaoguang hurriedly turned around and said, "Brother." The divine tree's health was dwindling. Suti maintained his original view and attitude, saying, "Don't panic, the divine tree isn't that easy to kill." 33 hits, 34 hits, 35 hits. But Brother Drunkard fought more bravely as he went on, hacking and slashing continuously, trying to take down the boss and laughing happily. Haha, he was in top form today. The people below were filled with envy. Big Brother is so cool. He eliminated the boss on the first try. Everyone's eyes lit up. I recorded it. It's definitely going to go viral when I post it. On the other side, Dragon King watched and couldn't help but say a few words. That assassin's weapons are fire-based and the attacks are continuous. The damage is too high. Titan nodded in agreement. That's right, we can't snatch the boss even if we attack now. We can only wait for the next round. The flashing blades and swords were like a storm, fast and continuous, leaving people stunned. After a fierce barrage of attacks, the boss was finally defeated. Brother Drunkard jumped down, landing gracefully, striking a cool pose and laughing triumphantly. Haha, it's finally over. Brother Drunkard's followers cheered excitedly. Big Brother won. The people around him also laughed. Haha, as expected of Big Brother, this series of attacks is enough to go down in history. They kept cheering and celebrating. That was amazing. Let's see what Suti and his group have to say. However, Dragon King was now so surprised that his mouth was wide open. The damage is so high it took down the boss so quickly. But Rakshasa noticed something was off. Something's not right. The system prompt hasn't appeared yet. At this moment, Rakshasa warned loudly, "Don't celebrate too early, the divine tree isn't dead yet." Brother Drunkard and the others asked back, "What are you talking about?" Sure enough, just a second later, the roots on the boss's body began to squirm, approaching the crowd. They cried out in panic, "What's going on?" They immediately used fire-based skills to attack the rapidly spreading roots. Flame magic burned these saplings to death. The saplings, scorched by the flames, howled in pain, but the more they burned, the more saplings appeared. Someone seeing this screamed, "Ah!" The man holding the staff gritted his teeth and said in fear, "There are too many, we can't burn them all." Dragon King, seeing this, couldn't help but laugh gleefully. "Haha, look, a lot of tree ants are growing from the boss's corpse." The short-haired girl looked on, her hair standing on end, and cried out, "Ah, so many little tree ants, it's giving me goosebumps, so disgusting." Rakshasa stood aside, arms crossed, and assessed. As expected, this place is not easy to deal with. Brother Drunkard, holding his sword, reminded everyone, "Everyone keep fighting, they're just some tree ants." Suddenly, tree trunks burst out violently. More terrifyingly, dense spheres suddenly grew on the tree trunks, looking extremely horrifying. The next second, these spheres opened, revealing rows of eyes wide open, staring in all directions. Everyone couldn't help but panic. It's a monster, it's a monster," they screamed. The monster immediately shot out whistling arrows. The arrows pierced through the bodies of those nearby, and they fell like cut hay. Brother Drunkard was truly frightened at this point, so he shouted, "Defense, defense, this monster's attack is too strong, everyone be careful." Everyone was terrified. "Where are the support mages? Heal my brother, he's dying." At this moment, spiky tree trunks suddenly emerged from the ground, lotus trees, densely packed. But they weren't actually lotuses. The trees opened their petals and each flower shot out fast and dense poisonous thorns. Everyone crouched on the ground in fear, holding their heads and screaming, "The poison is terrible. My health is almost gone, detoxify me." Someone shouted loudly, "Kill those plants first or they'll keep shooting out poisonous thorns." They were very flustered. "Oh my god, what the hell is this?" At this point, the roots grew more and more, and they had no choice but to run away. "I'll run." Suti stood aside very smug and took the opportunity to mock Brother Drunkard. "You lost again this time." Brother Drunkard gritted his teeth, clutching his wounds, and replied, "Don't be smug, even if I failed, you're not guaranteed to defeat the divine tree." Yeoguang worriedly pulled Suti's hand and said, Brother Drunkard and his group ran away. What do we do?" Suti replied, "Don't worry. As long as the divine tree doesn't receive any attacks within 10 minutes, it will return to its original state. Then it will be our turn to take action." Suti had already made careful calculations in his mind. After all, he had spent 300,000 to buy the expert strategy guide. Yeoguang obediently responded, "Okay." Rakshasa and his group approached Suti at this moment, greeting him. Dragon King said with a smile, "Hi friend, are you going to fight the boss? Otherwise we'll make a move." Suti and his group were stunned by Rakshasa's appearance. Suti's teammates recognized him and said in surprise, "You're Rakshasa." Suti also recognized Rakshasa and said, "It's really the great master Rakshasa. Your team has so many people. If you want to fight, then we'll give you the boss." Rakshasa's teammates teased happily, "Haha Rakshasa, it seems you have fans everywhere." Yeoguang heard Suti say this, turned his head and said, "Brother, we came first. Why should we give it to them? You spent 300,000 on the strategy guide." Suti explained softly, "Sister, if the great master Rakshasa wants it, we can't compete." Rakshasa thought for a moment and suggested, "How about this? We team up and you're responsible for providing the tactics. After defeating the boss, you choose the loot first." Suti said happily, "Really, that's great and we won't be polite." Yeoguang also liked the idea. "That's not bad either." System prompt. Suti successfully joined the team. Yeoguang successfully joined the team. Rakshasa happily began to command, "Alright, let's start then. Ji-Chu, use your freezing skills to control them first." "Really? That's wonderful. We'd be happy to join you." Sister Chu replied. Sukui responded with surprise. "That works too," Miaoguang excitedly said. System. Sukui successfully joined the team. Miaoguang successfully joined the team. The system issued a prompt sound. Alright, let's start the battle. Sister Chu, use your ice skills to control them first, Luo Sha said to Yi Ji Chu beside her while drawing her bow. Understood, Yi Ji Chu replied obediently. Luo Sha began to cast her spell. Skill, Spirit Orbs. Sukui cast a spell, creating some blue orbs. Spirit Orbs. Sukui shouted the incantation, pushing the blue orbs forward. We only need to eliminate the monster's main body. Then everyone quickly spread out and watch out for the spikes on the ground, Sukui shouted to the others. The blue orbs flew towards the multi-eyed tree monster at an extremely fast speed. Understood, Miao Guang responded to Sukui, then immediately unleashed her power from a high position. Fire Dance. Miao Guang raised the knife in her hand and shouted the incantation, forming a ring of fire around the spear. Skill, Fire Dance. Fireballs constantly fell from Miao Guang's ring of fire, attacking the monsters below, engulfing them in flames and causing them to howl in pain. Your talent skills are amazing, Luo Sha praised. Watching Sukui and Miao Guang's moves, Xiao Diao, be careful to interrupt, the boss is about to release a skill. Luo Sha turned her head to remind Tang Chao Wei, who was fighting the tree monster. Understood, Tang Chao Wei responded. Then also unleashed her moves to attack the monster. Skill, Gravity Suppression. A huge golden suppression circle appeared behind the tree monster, restraining it. I'll draw aggro. Everyone focus your attacks, Giant God said to the people behind him as he charged forward with his shield. Aggro pull. Giant God cast a spell on the monster. Understood, Moonshadow rushed up from behind and responded. Sukui, tell your teammates to stop attacking at the right time. Let Luo Sha unleash the final blow. He can summon a follower, Moonshadow shouted to Sukui's team. Got it. Sukui understood the meaning of Moonshadow's words and responded, everyone stop attacking. Sukui ordered her team to stop. At this moment, Luo Sha had already drawn his big bow at the monster. The arrow was surrounded by a huge circle of flames. Luo Sha pulled the bow with force, preparing to aim and shoot. Huh? What's going on? Suddenly, Luo Sha sensed something was wrong. Someone's there, Luo Sha said loudly. Drunken Hai Song suddenly appeared from behind the tree monster, a sly smile on his face. It's Drunken Hai Song. The people below saw Drunken Hai Song and looked at him in surprise. Damn it, how did he suddenly appear here? Dragon King looked at Drunken Hai Song and asked in surprise. Streaks of blade light constantly slashed down from above onto the tree monster. Ha ha ha, thank you guys, I'll gladly take this chance to kill the boss. Drunken Hai Song finished cutting the monster, landed on the ground and laughed mockingly at Luo Sha's team. Ha ha ha. Drunken Hai Song stepped on the dead monster, laughing loudly as he looked at Luo Sha's team. Damn it, reaping the benefits, stealing our credit. Drunken Hai Song, you're so despicable, Dragon King cursed angrily. Drunken Hai Song, you've gone too far. Miao Guang couldn't help but curse as well. Hee hee, so what if I'm despicable, what can you do to me? Drunken Hai Song replied with a smug smile. Ha ha ha, after I take the boss's loot we'll meet again if fate allows, Drunken Hai Song said even more provocatively. Drunken, I killed the boss, I won this fight, don't forget our agreement. Drunken then looked at Luo Sha and said, Despicable fellow, I didn't expect you to have prepared a teleportation scroll. Luo Sha looked at Drunken Hai Song, not expecting him to play such dirty tricks. A clump of blue curls fell from the tree heart of the monster tree into Drunken Hai Song's hands. What's this? Is this the reward? Drunken Hai Song looked at the thing in his hand, puzzled. Suddenly, the clump of blue things stretched into many thick ropes, attacking Drunken Hai Song. Ah, what the hell is this? The people in Luo Sha's team asked in surprise. Everyone retreat quickly, Luo Sha shouted to everyone. Ah, the blue ropes tightly entangled Drunken Hai Song, making him unable to move, and he howled in pain. Brother, what's going on? Didn't you say this was the final form of the divine tree? Miao Guang asked Sukui in panic. That expert told me so, how could this happen? Sukui didn't expect this either, she said. Don't think too much, everyone be careful, prepare to fight. Luo Sha interrupted, reminding everyone to prepare for battle. The clump of blue substance gradually devoured Drunken Hai Song, then gathered into a huge pink flower. The flower bloomed, leaving only Drunken Hai Song's head. He had mutated into a monster. It's Drunken Hai Song, Sukui said in horror. He's been devoured by the boss, everyone be careful, Luo Sha said to everyone. The huge flower released many flower vines around it, attacking Luo Sha's team. Everyone retreat quickly. Don't get entangled by the vines, Luo Sha reminded everyone. Don't even think about escaping, you'll all die. Vines stretched out from the tree, entangling several people around them. Run, Luo Sha's team quickly retreated. Run out of the cave, I have a way, Moonshadow said, running at the front. Run, the vines are catching up. The monster tree's vines stretched out of the cave, chasing after everyone. Brother, what should we do? Is your expert reliable? Miao Guang asked, running in a panic. You can't escape. The intruders have angered the world tree. You must face death, the huge tree said, chasing after Luo Sha and others with its blood-red eyes open. Crap, the world tree seems to have revived too. Did it merge with the boss? Everyone said in horror. No matter how powerful it is, it's just a tree, Dark Dragon King, burn it. Luo Sha stopped and summoned his follower to attack the world tree in front of him. Luo Sha's follower, the Dark Dragon King, spewed purple flames at the monster tree. I didn't see that wrong, did I? The Dark Dragon King. Everyone looked back, saying in surprise and joy. Ha ha ha, it really is Luo Sha. The fire skills are too powerful, Dragon King said admiringly. Ah, flames, I hate flames, the monster tree shouted in pain. Can it put out the fire itself? Dragon King asked. Don't worry, the Dragon King's flames can't be extinguished, Tang Chao Wei explained. Everyone seized this opportunity to concentrate their attacks and take it down directly. Luo Sha said to everyone, Yu, fire attribute. Understood. Everyone listened to Luo Sha's order and began to unleash their power. I don't believe this old tree can't be burned to death. All the follower team members rushed up to attack the world tree. Chapter 128 Luo Sha loudly ordered. Everyone seized this opportunity to concentrate their attacks and take it down directly. The witch next to him continued, Yu, fire attribute. Everyone said in unison. Understood. At this time their morale was high and everyone rushed forward together. I don't believe this old tree can't be burned to death. At this moment the old tree shouted in pain. Ah, the surroundings were surrounded by flames. The flames were everywhere, and the damage they brought greatly reduced its power. 85,981. Dark Dragon King -1899, flame damage -1681, flame damage -1957, flame damage. The people below saw this scene and cheered happily. Ah ha ha ha, fantastic. On this side, Luo Sha reached out and ordered Old Black destroy it. Old Black immediately spewed more flames at the old tree, leaving it with no way to retreat. Then Old Black bit its branches, trying to crush them. Observing from below, Dragon King asked loudly, Is that tree dead? Did the Dark Dragon King swallow the vines just now? Will it be parasitized inside its body? Luo Sha replied, It shouldn't be, the temperature of the flames is high enough to melt steel. At this moment, Giant God asked puzzledly, Then why haven't we received the success notification yet? As soon as he finished speaking, the system issued a notification. Congratulations on successfully eliminating the divine tree. Dragon King immediately became excited, ha ha ha. Finally eliminated it. Little Princess felt something was wrong. But why isn't there any loot? Suddenly, Old Black's stomach glowed and someone said loudly, If I'm not mistaken, the seeds and loot of the divine tree were swallowed by the Dragon King. It seems to be laying eggs. Lu Yuying and Little Princess were shocked when they heard this. What? Laying eggs? On the contrary, Light Little Rabbit was very excited. Great, then I can raise a little dragon baby, Miao Guang said with some regret. Although there's no loot, we still cleared the level successfully thanks to Great God Luo Sha for helping us clear the level. Sukui couldn't help but say excitedly, A great God, let's take a photo together. Hearing this, everyone scrambled to say, Me too, I want to take a photo with Great God Luo Sha too. Seeing everyone scrambling to take photos, the red-haired girl said unhappily, Humph, a bunch of blind followers. Chao Wei whispered in Yu Ying's ear, Sister, your husband is amazing. No wonder you dared to go against the whole family for him. Yu Ying immediately reminded her, mentioning family matters less in the demon realm. Sukui said enthusiastically, Sister, Great God Luo Sha's dragon egg will hatch in 24 hours, would you like one? You can ask Great God Luo Sha, maybe he'll agree to give you one. Miao Guang turned away unhappily. Ask him, I don't want to. What dragon baby? Having to feed it and take care of it, how annoying. At this moment, Luo Sha said to everyone, It's getting late. Let's go to the next floor. Everyone accepted the order. Understood. Dragon King ran towards the teleportation gate, excitedly saying, 15th floor, here I come. On the 15th floor of the demon realm, there were ruins everywhere, a scorched earth. Dragon King observed, unable to hide his excitement. Wow, all steel and machines. Luo Sha said, The guide said that everything on this floor is a machine, even the monsters. The final boss, Steel Titan, is also a super huge robot. Giant God said with a smile, Well, mechanical monsters have high magic resistance, so this floor is mainly physical attacks. Dragon King held his iron rod and said happily, Haha, my iron rod finally has a place to be useful. On this side, Yu Ying pointed down and shouted loudly, Everyone look quickly. A group of young people were driving tanks below, rushing up. Dragon King laughed happily. Haha, it looks really fun. We'll get one to play with later. One isn't enough. Your driving is terrible. I don't want to be in the same car as you. Hearing this, Dragon King was so angry he almost vomited blood. At this moment, Luo Sha walked over and said, It's getting late, everyone is tired, let's go home and rest first and gather again tomorrow to continue. Dragon King nodded, Yeah, it's really late, everyone go back and rest. Luo Sha turned around and said in a caring tone, Yu Ying, get some rest early. We'll be able to see each other every day when we go back to school in a few days. Yu Ying gently replied, Okay, I'll wait for you. Night fell, and the surroundings were silent. A voice said arrogantly, Zheng Hao, what did you call us here for? Speak quickly, I don't have time to play with you. Zheng Hao walked forward with a murderous aura. It seems I have to teach you how to talk to me, he sneered. This way it'll be easier for me to command you. The arrogant person rushed forward angrily, throwing a punch. You brat, dare to command us? Zheng Hao raised his head, looking at him with fierce eyes. He immediately unleashed powerful force, knocking the arrogant person to the ground. The white-haired person saw this scene and was terrified. Just one punch. What's with this terrifying power? The fat person was also scared out of his wits and hurriedly persuaded, Hey brother Zheng Hao, calm down, calm down. Zheng Hao warned crazily, From now on I'm your new boss, you have to obey my orders. The two naturally didn't dare to say a word. Yes, leader. Zheng Hao gritted his teeth and said, Zhang Zi, I will make you repay with your life. Inside the Tianjin City Public Security Department building, San Tong's voice came out. Xiao Jin, I know you don't understand why I haven't reported this evidence to the leaders yet. He said seriously to Xiao Jin, the Chen family's power is too strong now, and the Zhao family, one of the 4 major families, is also colluding with them. Even if the leaders want to intervene, I'm afraid it will be difficult to succeed. Xiao Jin replied, then we should eliminate these 2 scourges as soon as possible. Otherwise, the future of our great Xia country will be very worrying. Sandong reminded, wait patiently, the time is about to ripen. By the way, is that student Zhang Zi you mentioned last time in Tianjin City now? Xiao Jin nodded, indicating understanding. Yes, his sister is about to take the exam. So he's here too. I've arranged accommodation for him. At this moment, San Tong said with some admiration, he achieved results in the exchange tournament and dared to fight against the Lu family alone. He's truly a talent. Xiao Jin asked, Minister, do you need me to arrange for him to see you? He thought for a moment and replied, yes, in a few days the Zhou family will hold a birthday banquet. You bring him to attend together. Xiao Jin immediately accepted the order. Understood. In the new home in Tianjin City, Xiao Feng walked out sleepily and asked, brother, why did you get up so early? I haven't woken up yet. Zhang Zi brought out the prepared breakfast and reminded his sister, the exam is coming soon, why aren't you seizing the time to prepare? He announced, I'm going to enter the demon realm earlier today. The dragon egg is about to hatch. Hearing this, Xiao Feng immediately said excitedly, dragon egg brother, is your little dragon about to be born? I want one too. But Zhang Zi still reminded seriously, focus on your exam first. Xiao Feng nodded, okay. At this moment the housekeeper walked over and said, Miss Sao, let's have breakfast together. Xiao Feng refused, no need thank you, Seer is still sleeping, I have to stay by his side to protect him. Zhang Zi thought to himself, okay, what a strange person. On the 14th floor of the demon realm, everyone gathered at the roots of a super huge ancient tree. Luo Sha walked over and asked, Yu Ying, you're here. How's the dragon egg? Yu Ying walked to Luo Sha's side and replied, you're here, the dragon egg is fine. Luo Sha held her hand and asked worriedly, well that's good, you've worked hard, are you tired? Yu Ying shook her head. Not tired. Little Rabbit and Xiao Diao worked hard, they've been taking care of it. At this moment Little Rabbit shouted excitedly, look, the eggshell is cracking, the little dragon is about to be born. Everyone curiously gathered around. Immediately afterwards, a red little dragon hatched from the egg. Little Rabbit couldn't help but like it at first sight. The little dragon is so cute. Then she carefully asked, Brother Luo Sha, can I adopt this flame red dragon? The system also popped up a prompt. Adopt the flame red dragon as a pet. Luo Sha generously replied, of course you can. She would be its master from now on. Big Brother agreed. The little rabbit was overjoyed. Great, thank you Big Brother Ling Ce, from now on we'll call it Azure Dragon. The system immediately displayed the little dragon's information. Hatchling Flame Dragon, Azure Dragon, Level 1, 1/100th Hydrogen Phosphide, 150 Attack, 20 to 50 Defense, 100 Skill, Fireball LV1. On the other side, Chao Wei hugged the little Azure Dragon, excitedly saying, then I'll adopt this blue one. Blue is so cute, it's obviously a hatchling Frost Dragon. Then Chao Wei looked at the remaining little dragon and asked in confusion, Sister, why is your little dragon so dark? It looks so ugly. Yu Ying hugged it and replied, if I'm not mistaken, it's very similar to the Rakshasa's monsters, a black dragon. The little rabbit said in surprise, a black dragon? Will it become the Dark Dragon King in the future? Suddenly, the Dragon King's laughter rang out. Haha, we were fighting the Trent monster and we heard you talking from afar. The Titan asked, did the dragon eggs hatch? Rakshasa turned around and replied, yes. After a while, he announced, all the dragon eggs have hatched. Everyone get ready. We're going to explore the 15th floor. The Titan agreed. Yes, that's right. We have to hurry up and explore the new floor. Everyone will need a lot of magic soul orbs to feed their pets in the future. Hearing this, Chao Wei was very surprised. What? Their food is magic soul orbs? I don't even have enough for myself, Yu Ying said gently. Raising pets is indeed very expensive. Everyone must be tired from guarding the dragon eggs for so long. Or maybe we should all take a break and Titan and I will go check out the 15th floor first. Chao Wei playfully asked Rakshasa for leave. I'm really a bit tired. I'll take a break today. I still need to buy magic soul orbs to feed my little dragon tomorrow. What about you, sister? Yu Ying also chimed in. I'm not tired. I'll go check out the 15th floor with everyone. The Dragon King enthusiastically echoed, good, I'll go too. On the 15th floor of the Demon Realm, the Dragon King felt very lucky, saying, Rakshasa, teaming up with you feels like the difficulty has been reduced by half. Titan also agreed. That's right. Once minion summon appears, it wouldn't be an exaggeration to say you can defeat hundreds of enemies on your own. Rakshasa replied embarrassedly. Haha, you two are praising me to the skies. Suddenly, someone below shouted, Everyone, look quickly, what's that? The people below observed with curiosity and excitement. It was a battle between players and two giant robots. Titan guessed after seeing it. It seems adventurers are driving tanks to fight robots. The innocent Dragon King liked it very much. That tank is so cool. Back in the battle, the white robot punched the tank over, and the power value dropped to -8,796. The players in the tank panicked. Those robots' attacks are too terrifying. Let's go down and take a look, Rakshasa ordered. Old Black, fly a little lower. The players below were very surprised when they saw it. What did I see? It's the Dark Dragon King. I didn't expect it to appear on this floor. The others immediately recognized him as the great god Rakshasa. Of course it was. Only he in this world could summon a boss. Then that person shouted again. Hey, those people with the great god Rakshasa look familiar. Isn't one of them your friend? Another person immediately recognized him. It's Big Brother Titan. No wonder you rejected me. It turns out you have a great god as a backer, over here. The Dragon King shouted in surprise. What are these red beams? Rakshasa frowned and warned. Damn it, this is troublesome. Countless planes appeared in the sky, their targets pointing directly at them, detecting intruders. According to Lord Titan's laws, they will be executed. Without waiting for his explanation, the execution was carried out immediately. Then a series of planes continuously strafed them. Rakshasa and the others couldn't dodge in time and could only take the attacks head-on, suffering a lot of damage. -1,971 drone, -205 drone, -191 drone. Yu Ying shouted in pain while dodging. Ah, Rakshasa reminded loudly, be careful. Then Rakshasa ordered, Old Black, fly a little higher, avoid them. At this time, Titan proposed a solution. We don't have enough manpower to fight. How about we just fly into that steel fortress? Let's see what the boss of this floor looks like. The Dragon King looked down and shouted in horror. Holy crap, could that guy be the Iron Titan? Rakshasa admitted. Maybe. He's very likely the Iron Titan boss of this floor. The Dragon King pointed at it and suggested. Rakshasa, why don't you subdue him? Then we won't have to fear anything in future PK battles and monster fights. Rakshasa could only smile wryly. Haha, but we have to defeat him first, right? Seeing the robot raise its head and look over, the Dragon King was startled. It saw us, he said incredulously. How could it see us from this distance? The robot's eyes flashed red as if it had locked onto its target. The robot's arm pointed at Old Black. Then it transformed into a cannon barrel, ready to fire. Rakshasa said in surprise. It wants to shoot us down with a cannon. Titan gritted his teeth and said, it wants to shoot us down with a cannon. Now everyone was in a dilemma with the cannon's power aimed directly at them. Everyone panicked. It's over, it's over. Rakshasa, run? Unfortunately, the cannon's power hit Old Black's tail, causing it to take -18,822 damage. Iron Titan. The Dragon King's mouth dropped open in surprise. Oh my god, it was just a graze, and the Dark Dragon King lost 20,000 HP. Rakshasa also said in surprise, the damage is too high. He gritted his teeth and Rakshasa turned around and ordered. Old Black, retreat quickly. The Dragon King was also a little scared. We don't have enough manpower today. Let's go back first, Titan said with a solemn expression. The Iron Titan's attack is really terrifying. The robot fired another shot and Rakshasa shouted. Old Black dodged quickly. Fortunately, Old Black dodged in time. Everyone breathed a sigh of relief. Finally, they were safe. Rakshasa instructed, let's call it a day. We've explored a lot and encountered the Iron Titan boss. We'll come back tomorrow when we have enough manpower. Everyone immediately agreed. Okay, the next morning at Xiao Feng's school, the teacher shouted loudly. All candidates, please enter the examination hall as soon as possible. Zhang Zi stood outside encouraging his sister. Xiao Feng, do your best. Xiao Feng seemed to be fully prepared and confidently replied, don't worry, brother. You can go back now. Yi Lu told me last night that I'll get good grades. Zhang Zi sighed. Why does she tell you everything? At this moment, Xiao Jin shouted loudly. Xiao Zi. Zhang Zi turned around in surprise to greet her. Sister Xiao Jin, you're here? Xiao Jin shrugged and said, I'm also a teacher in Xiao Feng's class. Of course I have to come and cheer for the students. Then she took out her iPad and got to the point. Actually, I have something to talk to you about. He asked suspiciously, oh, what is it? After observing the crowd on the screen, Zhang Zi was stunned. This is the Demon Realm? Xiao Jin nodded gently. That's right. This is the video sent back by a spy planted in the Mist Country. Currently, the Mist Country has discovered an unknown Demon Realm lair. In the Demon Realm, a crazed ape was wreaking havoc. The players inside were beaten and had no power to fight back. Ah, the leader was so beaten that he couldn't even cry. It's too terrifying. Not only them, Rakshasa was equally surprised after just glancing at the screen. Too terrifying. Did that ape wipe out the entire team? Xiao Jin's expression turned serious. We don't know the specifics either. We've only received this video so far. Zhang Zi pondered. It seemed the higher the floor, the more terrifying and dangerous it became. After a while, he left, and Xiao Jin asked in confusion, Xiao Zizi, where are you going? He turned around and replied, I'm relieved with you here. Please trouble you to help me send Xiao Feng back. I have to go back early to prepare to enter the Demon Realm. Hearing this, Xiao Jin was speechless. At this moment, Zhang Zi walked while racking his brains. It seemed he had to speed up the progress of exploring the Demon Realm. The higher the floor, the closer he got to the truth. What exactly are the Divine Envoys and Dawn up to? On the 15th floor of the Demon Realm, Rakshasa paced back and forth in the waiting area. Huh? Hasn't everyone arrived yet? That's impossible. Suddenly, the little dragon popped out from nowhere and landed on his shoulder. Rakshasa said in surprise, Oh, this is the little black dragon. Before he finished speaking, the little black dragon ran away playfully, and he had to hurry up and chase after it. Yu Ying stood there, welcoming the little black dragon with open arms along with the Dragon King and Titan. laughing and saying, "Little Black is amazing, he found you right away." Seeing this, Rakshasa also praised, "I didn't expect it to be able to fly at such a young age. I was worried its wings wouldn't be able to support its round body." Over here, the little rabbit hugged its little dragon and said, "Azure Dragon just learned to fly too. It's the nature of the dragon race, so they learn quickly." On the side, Chow Wei stroked her little dragon and said disdainfully, "The name you gave it is so weird. Blue Elf that I gave it sounds much better." At this moment, Rakshasa announced, "Everyone's here, let's not waste any time. Let's get ready to go and try to clear it in one go." Titan agreed. "That's right, let's go quickly," the Dragon King answered with a fierce aura. "Understood." In the excited atmosphere, Rakshasa ordered, "Old Black, let's go." Old Black circled in the sky and the Dragon King shouted, "Look over there, it looks like there are people over there." Rakshasa agreed, "Yes, we scouted there yesterday." Titan raised his vigilance and reminded, "The monsters there have terrifying attacks. Everyone be careful." Explosions continued to occur below, attracting everyone's attention. "Look, there are a lot of people driving tanks down there." The Dragon King was eager to try and urged everyone, "Let's make a quick decision and go straight to challenge the boss." Everyone said in unison, "Okay." Old Black circled in the sky, dodging attacks at the same time. The Dragon King was very happy. Having a flying mount is so convenient, ha ha ha. On the ground, the people driving the cannons observed and were very surprised. "My goodness, who is that, going straight to fight the boss?" Everyone recognized them and shouted loudly, "It's the Dark Dragon King. Since it's here, the great god Rakshasa must be here too." The people driving the tanks immediately became excited. "I saw the great god. He and his friends are all on the back of the Dark Dragon King. Oh my god, that's so cool." Another person was even more excited. "Great god, add me as a friend." The Dragon King searched for a long time and couldn't find it, asking in confusion, Why don't I see the Iron Titan?" Titan guessed. "We don't see any other adventurers. Could someone have beaten the Steel Titan to it?" Rakshasa suggested. "Let's go down and take a look." Subsequently, Old Black successfully landed on a large building. The Dragon King became more and more confused. "Strange, where did that giant robot go?" Moonshadow observed the surroundings and smelled an unusual aura. "Something's off, there aren't even any minor monsters." As they were walking forward, a huge shadow enveloped them. Little Rabbit was the first to notice, stammering, Is that the Steel Titan you were talking about?" At this point she shouted in fear, "Is that him?" Above them was a giant Titan robot in the form of a spaceship. Little Rabbit was increasingly shocked. Oh my," Rakshasa said in surprise. "It can transform into both a humanoid and a spaceship." He paused, confirming, "That's right, that spaceship is the Steel Titan. That's another form of his." Instantly, the Titan fired red lasers to attack. The ground swept by the lasers immediately exploded and shattered. Rakshasa urged everyone, "Quick, dodge." Giant God stayed behind and said to Rakshasa, "Rakshasa, you and everyone else climb onto the Dark Dragon King's back. I'll cover you." The situation became increasingly dangerous, and Giant God became more anxious. "Quick, the ground is unsafe." At this moment, Giant God fought the Titan's attack alone, causing his power to drop significantly. Minus 19,994. Steel Titan, plus 3998, absurd shield. He gritted his teeth and cursed inwardly. "Damn it, the Steel Titan's attacks are too strong. If it weren't for the shield's recovery effect, I might have been knocked out already." Then the spot where Giant God stood exploded instantly. Rakshasa rushed out in time to rescue him, grabbing Giant God's hand tightly. "Let's fly to high altitude and figure something out. We're sitting ducks on the ground." Boom, with a loud bang, the ground shook violently. Zhang Zi and the others were very nervous. "Quick, the ground is unsafe. This firepower is too intense. If it weren't for the Steel Titan's minus 19,994 and the absurd shield's 3,998, that green-haired guy would have a hard time holding on." He gripped the shield tightly, his voice weak. "Damn it, the Steel Titan's attacks are too strong. If it weren't for the shield's recovery effect, I might have been knocked out already." Then he jumped towards Zhang Zi, reaching out his hand and saying, "Grab my hand. Let's fly to high altitude and figure something out. We're sitting ducks on the ground." Zhang Zi didn't think much of it and reached out to grab the green-haired guy's hand. Zhang Zi focused his power, and the power radiating from him was very strong. In the air, the warship, aircraft, and dragon-shaped monster were still attacking fiercely. They seemed to be acting in concert, alternating attacks, making defense very difficult. Seeing the critical situation, Moonshadow said to Zhang Zi, "We can't go on like this. We must find a favorable position to counterattack. How about we fly to the outer perimeter? Hide behind those steel buildings." Zhang Zi strongly agreed with Moonshadow's idea. "Great idea, everyone hold on tight." He immediately commanded Black Dragon, "Old Black, full speed ahead." Upon receiving its master's command, Black Dragon rushed forward with all its might. However, its speed was not much faster than the warship. Seeing the warship behind them quickly catching up, Zhang Zi urged Black Dragon, "Old Black, faster, the lasers are about to hit us." However, flesh and blood could not compare to the power of machines. Black Dragon was hit by the lasers, and it rolled in the air wailing in pain. Its wings were also severely damaged and could no longer fly. Its entire body lost balance and began to freefall. Fortunately, Zhang Zi and the others found a safe hiding place. He said to everyone, "Everyone quickly find a place to hide over there. Old Black is losing too much blood. I need to take it back first." "Understood." Everyone received the order and quickly moved to a safe area. Although they had temporarily escaped the pursuit, the monsters outside were still searching for them relentlessly. Therefore, Zhang Zi, as the team leader, constantly reminded his teammates, "Everyone hide well, don't make a sound," in the sky. Planes and warships circled continuously, searching for traces of humans. In front of these steel monsters, Zhang Zi and the others were like creatures from a microscopic world, tiny and helpless. Even little princess couldn't help but sigh. "How can we fight this? We're like ants under the boss's feet. One stomp and we're all finished." The green-haired guy next to her agreed. "That's right. He was too massive. I tried to suppress him with gravity just now, but it was useless." Though in a predicament, Zhang Zi didn't panic. Instead, he concentrated on analyzing the problem, trying to find a solution as quickly as possible. The leader's damage was very high, and Old Black's health had already dropped by half. The girl in white suddenly thought of the clown and asked, "What about the clown?" The blue-haired man replied, "The clown's defense is even weaker. He would definitely be instantly defeated." After some analysis, Zhang Zi finally decided to use the divine tree in the system. "Brother Titan is right, that leaves only the divine tree." "But why does the divine tree remain in the sapling state?" the little princess asked, looking at the divine tree in front of her, puzzled. "Maybe it needs watering and fertilizing to grow into a towering tree." Just as Zhang Zi was about to activate the divine tree, the system popped up a prompt, "Growth condition requires a host." A bright look appeared on Zhang Zi's face and he said loudly, "A host? I understand. The divine tree was previously parasitic on Brother Gao, so it became a towering tree." "That's right." His voice was as firm as a nail, and he said happily to everyone, "Haha. I've come up with a solution." Everyone looked at him blankly. "What solution?" Zhang Zi calmly explained, "I need to implant the seeds of the divine tree into the steel titan's body." Moonshadow seemed to understand Zhang Zi's intention and said, "Implant the seeds into the steel titan's body?" Zhang Zi confirmed, "That's right." Titan also understood the problem at this time, and he said to Zhang Zi, "I understand, so how can we get close to it?" Zhang Zi's eyes were cold and sharp as he responded decisively, "Attacking aerial targets is easily detected. We'll wait until the leader transitions to ground combat mode." All eyes were fixed on the monster horde before them, their hearts devoid of fear, filled only with the will to fight and win. "To pass through here, we must eliminate these mechanical spiders." "All right, Titan, you draw their aggro, Moonshadow and I will take them out." "Understood." Everyone prepared to exterminate the monsters, who had also sensed the human presence, immediately issuing a warning, "Intruders detected." The battle commenced, with a ferocious spider spirit leading the charge, closing in on Titan and unleashing a barrage of lasers. Fortunately, Titan was prepared. "I'll hold their attention." The spear-wielding soldier charged forward instantly. "Let's see how tough this iron shell really is." Sensing the unfavorable situation, the enemy continuously issued warnings. "Warning, eliminate intruders." Suddenly, a claw reached out from nowhere, seizing the spear of one of our soldiers, followed by 3 more monsters. Our spear-wielding soldier shouted in panic, "Crap, they've called for backup." Seeing the situation turn dire, Zhang Zi didn't hesitate, summoning the clown to assist. "This is bad, there are too many monsters. Clown, give us a hand, showtime again." Moonshadow charged forward without hesitation, her coordination with Little Bird seamless. "Little Bird, suppress it." "Roger." The battle was intense, the air thick with smoke, and the enemy's corpses littered the ground. Pressing their advantage, the spear-wielding soldier said to Moonshadow, "Dragon King, let's attack it together." Understood. The two charged forward, sword and spear in hand, determined to eliminate these evil monsters. Their seamless cooperation secured the team's first victory. Awesome, the power of their combined attack is terrifying. But such a powerful combined attack could easily alert the leader. Realizing this, Titan urged Moonshadow, "Dragon King, we must finish this quickly. The leader could find us at any moment." Speak of the devil, the leader dragged its massive body around, searching, scaring Little Bird and Zhang Zi into covering their heads and scurrying away. "Brother-in-law, your words are prophetic." Facing the leader, Moonshadow was like She-Ra, petite yet incredibly brave. Seeing Moonshadow still there, Zhang Zi shouted worriedly, "Moonshadow, be careful." "Ah!" The tyrant fired a barrage at Moonshadow. At the critical moment, Zhang Zi arrived just in time, pulling her aside. He looked at Moonshadow with concern, asking, "Are you all right?" Though a little frightened, Moonshadow softly replied to Zhang Zi, "I'm fine." Then Zhang Zi summoned the Black Dragon and said to everyone, "We can't let this continue. Brother Titan, you guys distracted on the ground, be careful not to get hit. I'll fly high into the sky and look for an opportunity to defeat it," Moonshadow reminded Zhang Zi. "Xiao Zi, be careful. You're easily targeted in the high sky, don't worry." Zhang Zi summoned the Black Dragon and said to everyone, "We can't let this continue. Brother Titan, you guys distracted on the ground, be careful not to get hit. I'll fly high into the sky and look for an opportunity to defeat it," Moonshadow reminded Zhang Zi. "Rakshasa, be careful. You're easily targeted in the high sky." Zhang Zi reassured Moonshadow, telling her not to worry. This time he placed all his hopes on the Black Dragon. "Old Black, this is it." The Black Dragon's injuries from the previous pursuit had not fully healed, and now facing the leader, its stamina was rapidly declining. Even so, it never retreated, stubbornly protecting its master with its body. Titan couldn't help but feel sorry for Little Black's tenacity. Crap, the black dragon hasn't fully recovered its health and now it's been hit again. Moonshadow was also very anxious, urging Zhang Zi, Rakshasa, you must. Zhang Zi calmly directed Little Black to approach the target, then ordered Old Black, fire. From Little Black's mouth a powerful stream of lava erupted, directly hitting the leader. The lava collided with the leader's laser, forming a beautiful ring of fire. The cavalry beside Moonshadow seemed to see something and shouted, "Look, the black dragon is falling." Titan looked in the direction he was pointing and saw it too, confirming, "No, Rakshasa, he." Zhang Zi, holding the giant seed, swooped down towards the tyrant. He concentrated all his strength on the seed, cursing under his breath. "You overgrown monstrosity, die." Then he and Little White quickly left. At this moment Moonshadow couldn't sit still any longer. She rushed towards Zhang Zi, her face filled with worry. "Rakshasa, you must be safe." Seeing Moonshadow rush forward, Titan was stunned and shouted, "Moonshadow, be careful." With a deafening boom, a massive explosion occurred. Thin white smoke enveloping everything around, and debris flying in all directions, seemingly heralding the end of the leader. Moonshadow plunged into the smoke, standing in front of Zhang Zi, and said firmly, "Rakshasa, nothing can happen to you." Zhang Zi sat on a pile of puppets, calmly replying, "Cough, cough, Moonshadow, I'm fine, I'm alright." Only when she saw Zhang Zi was unharmed did she breathe a sigh of relief. "You scared me to death." Zhang Zi looked at the monster before him and said to Moonshadow, "Moonshadow, we need to leave here quickly." The seeds Zhang Zi implanted in the monster's body had begun to sprout. In an instant it broke through the leader's armor, emerged, and continued to grow. Soon, vines wrapped around the leader, making it impossible to break free. Those watching were stunned by this scene, and someone asked, "Rakshasa, did it work?" Seeing the leader motionless, the reporters began to mock, what's wrong with Titan? Why are vines growing from its energy core? I've never seen this kind of fighting style before. What strange phenomenon is this? I have to take a picture and post it on the forum." Little did they know, their behavior had enraged the leader, causing it to awaken once more. Suddenly the system issued a danger warning. Danger, danger. Although its body was tightly bound, the cannons on both sides were still operational, allowing it to target and knock down opponents at close range. The reporters, only now realizing the danger, scattered in panic. "Run!" Some who couldn't escape in time perished on the spot. Seeing this, the spear-wielding soldier shouted in terror, "Watch out, Titan's gone mad!" It continued to struggle and retaliate. Zhang Zi firmly grasped Moonshadow's wrist, silently reassuring her. Then he jumped onto the rooftop of a nearby tower, looking towards the leader. Zhang Zi drew his bow, aiming a fire arrow at the opponent. "Let me end this." As the firepower approached, the leader stubbornly resisted, arrogantly saying to Zhang Zi, "I represent the will of the gods. You cannot destroy Titan." Seeing the monster about to explode, Moonshadow quickly reminded everyone, "It looks like it's going to explode, everyone be careful." The explosion completely annihilated the Titan demon, ending a major threat to humanity. Colorful balloons fell from the sky as if celebrating Zhang Zi and his team. We did it, now. Titan's corpse was the place where the seed parasitized and grew after completing the mission, the system prompted. "Congratulations on defeating the 15th floor boss, Steel Titan." "My goodness, is this the Divine Tree, Titan?" "No, it should be called the Steel Divine Tree, right?" We cleared it, that's right." "Rakshasa, this is the Divine Tree. So, the Steel Titan that was just destroyed, can you still summon it?" "What, so there will be 2 giants? Awesome." Just as everyone was immersed in the joy of victory, Zhang Zi's expression turned serious. He replied to Titan, "If we could really summon the Steel Titan, that would be incredible. Theoretically, it's possible, but it seems it only retained the state it was in when it was destroyed, only the Titan's head." The little princess asked Chihuoda. "Only a head?" The system screen displayed the growth condition. "Requires parts." Zhang Zi was a little surprised. Parts? Maybe like the Divine Tree, it also needs to meet special conditions to return to its original state. At this moment, everyone seemed to understand that the life and death battle just now was only the beginning, and more challenges awaited them ahead. Chapter 133, Zhang Zi pointed to the screen and said, "It seems it only retained the state it was in when it was destroyed, only the Titan's head." After hearing this, the little princess asked him, "Yihuoda, only a head?" Just as everyone was pondering, the system screen suddenly issued a notification. Growth condition, requires parts. Zhang Zi was a little surprised. Parts. Based on the information provided by the system, he speculated. Maybe like the Divine Tree, it also needs to meet special conditions to return to its original state. Moonshadow pointed in the direction of the factory and said to Zhang Zi, "Could it be that there's a mechanical factory inside?" Zhang Zi thought it made sense. He decided to go in and see if he could find any clues. "It should be. I want to go in and take a look." Moonshadow, upon hearing this, suggested going together. "I'll go with you." Seeing Moonshadow and Zhang Zi walking together, the little princess shouted, "Moonshadow, where are you two going? A romantic getaway?" Moonshadow told her, "Rakshasa and I are going to restore Titan to its original state." Zhang Zi also told her, "The leader has been eliminated. There shouldn't be any danger here. Just wait for us outside." Understood. Moonshadow and Zhang Zi slowly walked into the factory. Thousands of steel titans were working diligently. Seeing someone enter, one titan enthusiastically shouted, "Production workshop number 18. Titan workers at your service. Zhang Zi looked at Moonshadow and said, "This is indeed a factory specializing in producing mechanical parts." Moonshadow agreed, "Yes, it certainly seems so." After speaking, Zhang Zi took out the Titan leader's head and said to Moonshadow, "I'll summon the Steel Titan first." As soon as the Short Titan saw the Iron Head, it issued a notification, "Damaged machine detected." Zhang Zi pointed at the Iron Head and asked the Short Titan, "Can you repair the Steel Titan here?" The Short Titan quickly analyzed the data, and after a moment it gave the analysis result. Estimated repair time is approximately 5 hours 33 minutes and 41 seconds. Moonshadow, upon hearing this, said in surprise, "Oh, it takes that long?" Zhang Zi handed the Iron Head to the Short Titan without hesitation and said to it, "Then start quickly." Then he turned to Moonshadow and said, "Moonshadow, let's go to the next level." Okay, outside the factory, Titan was very happy to see the two of them come out safely. Rakshasa and Moonshadow are out. Rakshasa ran towards Titan, gesturing, "Are all the spoils collected? We can go to the next level." Titan, holding the warhammer in his hand, proudly showed it off to Zhang Zi. "Look at this, an S-grade warhammer. According to the system information, steel warhammer. Grade S, damage 5,500 to 7,150. Effects: 1. Increases attack damage by 50%. 2. Reduces attack speed by 15%. Durability 4,000 4,000ths. Zhang Zi carefully observed the warhammer in Titan's hand and couldn't help but say happily, "Awesome, perfect for a tank, brother Titan, you take it." Titan replied happily, "Haha, I never thought I'd have an S-grade weapon too." The knight beside Zhang Zi, seeing this, also said with a smile, "Haha, follow Rakshasa and we'll all have S-grade weapons eventually." Seeing everyone discussing enthusiastically, the little princess happily ran over. She turned to Titan and asked, "Then let's go to the next level." Little Rabbit, upon hearing this, looked a little scared. Next is level 16. Except for Little Rabbit's slight apprehension, everyone else was looking forward to the next level. Therefore, as soon as the space portal was activated, they ran forward without hesitation. This time, the one leading the way was none other than the little princess. "That's right, let's go, let's set off." Looking at the portal ahead, Little Rabbit's eyes suddenly dimmed, and her longing for her father grew even stronger. Level 16, getting closer and closer to my father's floor. "Dad, please wait for me." Zhang Zi, seeing her so sad, comforted her. "Little Rabbit, don't worry, everything will be fine." The space portal transported the team to the 16th floor of the demon realm. As expected of a place ruled by demons, the moment they stepped in, they felt a chilling cold and darkness. Even Zhang Zi, who had experienced countless battles, couldn't help but exclaim after entering, "The atmosphere on this floor is too eerie." Titan agreed with Zhang Zi, it was indeed terrifying. Moonshadow whispered, "Yes, the monsters on this floor are all undead and zombies, and the final boss is a vampire count." After the battle with Titan, everyone was exhausted. So Zhang Zi said to everyone, "Let's call it a day, everyone go back and rest, we'll explore again tomorrow." Everyone agreed with Zhang Zi's suggestion. The black-haired knight said, "Yeah, I'm feeling a bit sleepy too." The timid little bird member also quickly asked for an early rest. "Okay, then I have to go offline quickly. Otherwise everyone will be gone and I'll be scared." Following Little Bird and the black-haired knight, Titan and Moonshadow also quickly went back to rest. "Well, let's rest for today and continue fighting tomorrow." Zhang Zi replied, "Okay, see you tomorrow night." Just as he was about to go to rest, the system suddenly sent a notification. "Peach Blossom, brother, come and save me." It's Xiao Feng's message. Zhang Zi was a little surprised to receive the message, but judging from the tone, something seemed to have happened. "Peach Blossom, brother, come and save me." Zhang Zi replied, "Rakshasa, Xiao Feng, what's wrong? Are you in danger?" Xiao Feng replied, "The beautiful peach blossoms aren't about me. It was Arrow. We were at the final boss on the 10th floor, and with one arrow he was gone." Zhang Zi, upon learning of Arrow's death, shouted in shock, "What? Arrow is dead?" He told Xiao Feng he would be there immediately. On the 10th floor of the demon realm, the surrounding scenery resembled a vast desert, with golden sand stretching seemingly endlessly. At this moment, Xiao Feng and her companions were trapped. As they were at a loss, Zhang Zi arrived just in time. Seeing him, they cheered as if a deity had descended. "The guild leader is here, guild leader, we're saved." Zhang Zi walked towards Xiao Feng with a tense and serious expression, asking, "Xiao Feng, what happened?" Seeing Zhang Zi, Xiao Feng was overwhelmed with emotion, tears welling up in her eyes. She looked intently at Zhang Zi and shouted, "Brother, you're finally here." Then she quickly explained the situation. They had been progressing smoothly, but unexpectedly encountered the elite boss, the swordsman beast, whose attacks were too powerful. Not only Xiao Feng but the archer accompanying her also said, "That's right, nearly 10 of our archer brothers were cut down by that swordsman beast." Seeing that everyone seemed to have lost their composure, Zhang Zi said, "Don't panic, tell me slowly." After calming down, he continued, "Arrow stayed behind to cover Xiao Feng and the others retreat, facing the beast swordsman alone. The result was the beast swordsman mentioned by the archer was an elite-level swordsman beast, and its strength was formidable. Xiao Feng didn't want Arrow to die for her, so she pleaded with Zhang Zi for help. "Brother, please help me. I want to use resurrection magic to save Arrow. Brother, please take care of that boss quickly." How could Zhang Zi stand idly by when it came to Xiao Feng's matter? Seeing his sister so anxious, Zhang Zi patted her head and reassured her. "Xiao Feng, don't worry, leave it to me." Hearing Zhang Zi's words, Zhao Feng felt relieved and responded softly, "Okay." To ensure the safety of Zhao Feng and everyone else, Zhang Zi said to Zhao Feng, "You and the others leave here and find a safer place." Hearing Zhang Zi ask her to leave, Zhao Feng asked, "Brother, don't you need backup?" Zhang Zi answered decisively, "No, I can handle it alone." Everyone was stunned to hear Zhang Zi say he would take on the beast swordsman alone. They couldn't believe what they had just heard. The guild leader taking on an elite-level swordsman alone. The guild leader is too powerful. Without further hesitation, Zhang Zi immediately cast a spell, and a turquoise vortex appeared in his hand. The vortex grew larger and larger at an alarming rate, with Zhang Zi standing at its center. A moment later, a gigantic black dragon emerged from the light. The appearance of the black dragon left everyone present speechless. Little Black rushed towards the beast swordsman in the air, spewing powerful flames. The beast swordsman, seeing such a scene for the first time, was utterly astonished. He quickly jumped off his spirit beast, leaping high into the air to dodge the black dragon's fire. The people in the team couldn't help but exclaim, "Even though everyone says the guild leader is the great god Rakshasa, this is too powerful. Our guild leader is truly invincible." The black dragon, seeing its prey struggling to resist, let out a joyful roar, displaying its power. Not to be outdone, the beast swordsman retaliated with the skull Silver Moon Slash. This attack, like a sharp blade, could tear apart its prey in an instant. Seeing it about to strike, Zhang Zi quickly and skillfully maneuvered the black dragon to dodge. A new skill? Is this the strength of an elite boss? The beast swordsman's transformation surprised Zhang Zi. "Brother, hurry, in 20 minutes Arrow won't be able to be resurrected." While deep in thought, Zhao Feng's cry came from a distance. "Right, I almost forgot about the time. Alright swordsman RC, you forced my hand." Only then did Zhang Zi remember that Arrow was waiting for him to save him, and he immediately unleashed his next move. The beast swordsman took a fighting stance, gripping his dual swords tightly, ready to battle. Zhang Zi, not wanting to waste time, summoned the Steel Titan directly. What is that? Never seen anything like it." Zhao Feng and the others stared wide-eyed at the Steel Titan, their faces filled with shock and fear, overwhelmed by its power. "Blitz, it's too big. Eliminate him as quickly as possible." Not only were they amazed, but Zhang Zi himself was also surprised by its sheer size. He commanded the Steel Titan. "Command received," the Steel Titan responded. "Those who violate the sacred grounds of OC shall fall by my sword." Giving the enemy no chance, the beast swordsman initiated the attack. Charging towards the Titan with all his might, he leapt high, retaliating with Silver Moon Slash, arrogantly proclaiming a barrage of attacks from the swordsman. This big guy is unscathed. However, despite the relentless onslaught of fierce attacks, the beast swordsman couldn't inflict even a scratch on the Steel Titan. This left those witnessing the scene utterly shocked. How terrifying. "The will of nature and steel, you shall be judged." The Steel Titan responded warmly to the beast swordsman, firing sharp arrows from its floral components, aiming directly at the enemy. Its words served as a warning to those who were ignorant of their own limitations. "Your attacks are futile," the beast swordsman said confidently, thinking that was all it had. "It's not over yet," the Steel Titan responded. Then a series of divine tree seeds were launched, growing on the Steel Titan, and therefore possessing immense destructive power. Faced with the devastating power of the divine tree seeds, the beast swordsman could only wail helplessly. In the end, he was crushed under the foot of the Steel Titan. -879 divine tree seeds, -12,743 divine tree seeds, -9,279 divine tree seeds, -7,894 divine tree seeds, -977 divine tree seeds. Congratulations on defeating Swordsman RC. After eliminating the enemy, the system issued a notification. Guild leader is mighty, defeating the swordsman in an instant. Seeing the beast swordsman defeated, the team members were overjoyed, running towards Zhang Zi and cheering. Guild leader is amazing. Breaking through a difficult challenge, an eye-opener. Guild leader is truly heaven-defying. Where is Arrow's body? Zhang Zi turned and asked Zhao Feng. "Arrow, you must hold on." After receiving the herbs from Zhang Zi, Zhao Feng immediately went to Arrow's side to treat him, her eyes filled with hope, her mouth constantly praying. Skill, resurrection spell. After finishing, a strong light emitted from Arrow's body. Arrow seemed to have died but finally woke up. "Didn't I die?" He looked at his hands blankly, his heart full of questions. "Resurrected, brother Arrow, thankfully you're okay. Otherwise I'd regret it for life." Seeing Arrow return safely, everyone was very happy. Someone said, "Guild leader, I failed your expectations. I couldn't take care of your sister." Then Arrow walked up to Zhang Zi a little embarrassed. "Arrow, don't say that. The strength of this floor is already very powerful." Seeing that Arrow seemed very guilty, Zhang Zi quickly replied, "From the next floor of the demon realm I will personally lead Zhang Feng. Brothers, you've worked hard during this time." Then he turned to thank the team members. "It's no trouble, no trouble." Seeing Zhang Zi being so polite, everyone said in unison, "My sister is very sensible and never causes us any trouble. Everyone likes her very much." "That's right. She's our ray of sunshine. Everything was peaceful today. It's getting late. Everyone is tired. Let's get some rest." Zhang Zi turned to look at Zhao Feng and said, "Okay." Everyone agreed with Zhang Zi's suggestion. "Yeah, I need a good night's sleep tonight. I was almost scared to death." "Okay, guild leader, let's call it a day." "Okay." The next day, at Xiao Jin's house, Sister Xiao Jin, what's going on? Can't you let me sleep a little longer? She woke her brother up early in the morning, and they were arguing. It seemed like something important was happening. The sun is already high in the sky, still sleeping. We have something important to do today, Yu Ying replied. What's so important? Zhang Zi asked her. Stop talking nonsense, look at you, you're too rustic. I'll get you a change of clothes. Seeing her brother's sloppy appearance, his sister shook her head helplessly. I have to change clothes, I haven't even brushed my teeth yet, Zhang Zi replied groggily. You have 5 minutes, I'll wait for you in the car. After Xiao Jin finished speaking, she quickly turned and left. Okay, the Zhu family's birthday banquet. It turned out that the important thing Xiao Jin mentioned was this. Today is the 70th birthday of Zhu Bin, the head of the Zhu family. All the dignitaries of the Great Sha Kingdom will be present. She explained to Zhang Zi, so you must be careful with your words and actions. That's too much trouble, can I not go? Zhang Zi showed a look of disgust as soon as he heard about the birthday banquet. Stop talking nonsense, someone wants to see you. Xiao Jin said someone wants to see me. Zhang Zi was very surprised to hear that someone wanted to see him. Zhang Zi, at this moment a guest also happened to be attending. When he saw Zhang Zi getting out of the car, Chen Feng's expression immediately turned angry. Chen Feng, this guy is still alive? Zhang Zi was very surprised to see that Chen Feng was still alive. HMPH, what do you think you are, daring to come to this birthday banquet? Chen Feng pointed at Zhang Zi's face and scolded loudly. If you can come, why can't I? Zhang Zi was not one to be trifled with and immediately retorted. HMPH, you stole my woman, ruined my face and embarrassed me in front of the whole world. I will settle this score with you sooner or later. Chen Feng was furious with Zhang Zi's words, blaming him for all his misfortunes. Oh, young Master Chen, you really scared me. Zhang Zi couldn't help but laugh at Chen Feng's response. Xiao Feng, today is an important day, don't cause trouble, be polite. Chen Feng was about to settle the score with Zhang Zi when a voice suddenly came from the car, forcing him to obey. Yes, I understand. Zhang Zi, let's go, don't waste time here. Yu Ying urged Zhang Zi. Okay, sure, Zhang Zi replied politely. Stop looking, follow me. Xiao Jin and Zhang Zi walked into the Zhu family together. The room was filled with people from various families and the atmosphere was very lively. Seeing Zhang Zi looking around, Yu Ying pulled his hand. Well, Director Elder Zhu, I've brought him. Yu Ying took Chen Feng to meet the Director and Elder Zhu. You are Zhang Zi? Elder Zhu asked, looking at Zhang Zi. Director of the National Security Bureau, Dongfang Dekong. Head of the Zhu family, Zhu Bin. Junior Zhang Zi pays respects to the two seniors. In front of the two seniors, Zhang Zi bowed politely and introduced himself using honorifics. A promising young man. Brother Zhang Zi, please have a seat. Elder Zhu replied with a smile. We've seen your performance at the exchange meeting very clearly. You've brought honor to the Great Sha Kingdom. Director Dongfang praised Zhang Zi highly. Representing Great Sha in the competition and bringing honor to the country is my duty. Although Zhang Zi was happy to receive recognition from the two seniors, he still answered humbly. Well said. Elder Zhu was very satisfied with his answer. Xiao Jin recommended you to join the National Security Bureau. What do you think? Director Dongfang not only praised him but also made him an offer. If I can serve the country, I'd be very willing. Hearing that he could join the National Security Bureau. Joining the National Security Bureau is naturally to serve the country. Zhang Zi replied confidently. Elder Zhu said seriously, that's not necessarily the case. If someone else were the director, it might not be the same. Xiao Jin's expression changed as soon as she heard this, and her face turned ugly. Xiao Jin, don't talk nonsense. Dongfang Dekong, knowing that Yu Ying was being sarcastic, immediately became angry. Don't worry, Su Yu still wants to take the position of director of the National Security Bureau. And I certainly won't agree. Elder Zhu seemed to understand Yu Ying's meaning as well and spoke up. Elder Zhu, today is your birthday, let's not talk about national affairs, he said to Elder Zhu. It's a pity, someone insists on talking about it. Xiao Jin sighed, then said, Elder Zhu, we've arrived. At this moment the Zhu family and the deputy director happened to walk over, and they greeted them warmly. Elder Zhu, may your happiness be as vast as the eastern sea and your longevity as enduring as the southern mountains. Chen Kaizi, the head of the Chen family. Xu Yuan, the deputy director of the National Security Bureau. Haha, brother Chen, long time no see. Elder Zhu stood up to greet them. Zhang Zi, let's go over there and stay away from these people. Xiao Jin stood up and said to Zhang Zi, Oh sister Xiao Jin, if there's nothing else I'll go back first. I don't like these kinds of banquets. Zhang Zi replied, that figure, why is it so familiar? Suddenly, Zhang Zi saw a very familiar figure in the crowd and said to Xiao Jin, wait a little longer, a big shot will appear in a moment. Xiao Jin didn't explain much, just told Zhang Zi, another big shot, who is it? Hearing this, Zhang Zi was a little curious. The leader is here. Suddenly, the entire hall fell silent, and everyone looked towards the entrance. When the person at the door appeared, everyone shouted in unison. The leader has come in person. Elder Zhu has a lot of face. The leader's arrival surprised Zhang Zi. The Zhu family is a pillar of the Great Sha Kingdom, with very powerful influence. At this time, Xiao Jin explained, Elder Zhu is highly respected, and the leader came to wish Elder Zhu a happy birthday. Oh dear, I'm old, and I've troubled the leader to come in person. Elder Zhu returned the greeting respectfully. Sister Xiao Jin, something's wrong. The leader is in danger. While everyone was surrounding the leader, Zhang Zi suddenly noticed something was wrong. He immediately told Xiao Jin and rushed towards the leader. Protect the leader. Realizing he had been discovered, the assassin immediately made his move. He rushed towards the leader, and Zhang Zi saw his intention and quickly issued a warning. Thanks to his timely warning, the guards protected the leader in time. However, the assassin did not give up. He concentrated all his strength in his fist, preparing to attack the leader. But his plan failed. At this moment, Zhang Zi arrived in time and blocked his attack. Two people of different levels were about to fight, and the atmosphere in the hall became very tense. Zhang Zi showed a hint of disdainful smile. Don't be too smug, Zhang Zi, you'll die by my hand sooner or later. Knowing that he was no match for Zhang Zi, the assassin said some nonsense. Zhang Zi, we'll discuss today's events later. With that, he quickly left the scene, reminding Zhang Zi to have the area cordoned off. I want to see who dared to assassinate the chief at this banquet. The security bureau chief was furious about what had just happened and issued the order. Young man, thank you for saving me. Your name is Zhang Zi? Zhang Zi's heroic actions had impressed the chief, who approached him and asked cordially, You flatter me, sir. It's my duty to protect you. Zhang Zi replied humbly, then asked cautiously, Chief, are you alright? Haha, it's nothing. Compared to the dangers I faced on the battlefield, this is nothing. Seeing everyone's concern, the chief answered casually, Everyone, don't panic. Continue to enjoy the banquet. Zhang Zi, what happened? Who was the assassin? Xiao Jin asked Zhang Zi after everyone had left. If I'm not mistaken, it was Zheng Hao, Zhang Zi said, stating his guess. Zheng Hao, I heard he's now in charge of Pingming, Xiao Jin said upon hearing the name. Young man, you saved the chief today. You're famous now. Contrary to their worries, the chief looked pleased and said to Zhang Zi, famous? I don't like being famous. Unlike the chief's delighted expression, Zhang Zi looked surprised and a little flustered. Damn it, I was so close. Zhang Zi ruined everything. Meanwhile, at a company headquarters, a group of sinister individuals were furious over their failed plan. There's no use being anxious. Now that they've been alerted, you must be careful and conceal your identity at all costs, Chen Kaizi told Zheng Hao. Don't worry, they won't catch me, Zheng Hao replied arrogantly. Don't forget your promise. Once I kill the chief and help you become the director of national security, you must legalize Pingming, he said to Chen Kaizi. Rest assured, I always keep my word, the old man surnamed Chen replied with a smile. Seeing his continued usefulness, that's good, Zheng Hao was satisfied with the response. Brother, look, you're on TV. Soon, news of Zhang Zi saving the chief reached the media, and his image was broadcast on television news, sparking public excitement. Recently, at the Zhou family's birthday banquet, the chief was attacked by members of the terrorist organization Pingming, the news anchor reported. In a critical moment, a young man named Zhang Zi bravely fought off the assassins and saved the chief. Dad, you're famous, Xiao Feng said excitedly to him, seeing him on TV. Sigh, these reporters are so fast. I'm afraid I won't have any peace in the future. Seeing himself on TV, Zhang Zi looked worried, then called Xiao Feng over and said to her, Xiao Feng, stop watching. Let's go into the demon realm together. Dad will help you clear the level today. Okay, Xiao Feng's eyes lit up with excitement at the mention of the demon realm. The 11th level of the demon realm. The scenery here was like a harbor in the real world, vast and expansive. Wow, the ocean, brother. Are we taking a boat to find the boss? Looking at the magnificent view before her, Xiao Feng couldn't help but exclaim, No need, we have faster transportation, Zhang Zi replied lazily. Old Black, come out. Then he summoned the black dragon. Wow, a huge black dragon. The appearance of the black dragon once again amazed Xiao Feng. Chapter 136, Demon Realm 11th level. The scenery here was like a harbor in the real world, vast and expansive. Wow, the ocean, brother. Are we taking a boat to find the boss? Looking at the magnificent view before her, Xiao Feng couldn't help but exclaim, No need, we have faster transportation, Zhang Zi replied lazily. Old Black, come out. Then he summoned the black dragon. Wow, a huge black dragon. The appearance of the black dragon once again amazed Xiao Feng. What's going on? How can there be such a big black dragon here? The black dragon snaked its massive body through the sky, its long broad wings and spiked body accentuating its power and might. People around the harbor, seeing the black dragon, couldn't take their eyes off it. They stared intently, then began to discuss it. Someone must have summoned it. Unbelievable. Wow, brother, you're amazing. Sitting on the black dragon's back, Xiao Feng looked at Zhang Zi and couldn't help but marvel. Hold on tight, we need to clear this level quickly and head straight for the fortress at sea. Zhang Zi ignored her and simply reminded her, he said. Okay, Xiao Feng obediently complied. Haha, who wants to come up here and die? On the other side, a ship sailing the sea was suddenly attacked by pirates. He fired his gun indiscriminately. The crew members on the ship scattered, and then he issued a challenge. What's that? Just then, Zhang Zi's black dragon flew over, astonishing the pirates and their companions. Swordsman, go take care of that trash captain. Without saying much, Zhang Zi immediately sent the swordsman to deal with it. Yes, master. Sword energy like the wind. The swordsman received the order and immediately rushed towards the pirate, teaching him a lesson with a series of slashes. Show yourself. The pirate was no slouch either. Seeing the swordsman approaching, he immediately summoned an octopus from the sea to counterattack. sword energy like the wind, but before he could do anything, the swordsman cut off the octopus's tentacles with his sword. Impossible. Without the help of his spirit beast, the captain was quickly defeated by the swordsman. Haha, you two are so powerful. It's too much fun fighting a boss, Xiao Feng said. After defeating the pirates, Xiao Feng and Zhang Zi continued towards the fortress. Here, the battle between the Titan robots and Old Black was extremely intense. Seeing Zhang Zi's robots so powerful, the Dragon King and the Giant God shouted excitedly, "Old Black, let's go help too." To end the battle quickly, Zhang Zi sent the Black Dragon to help. Congratulations on killing the Iron Titan. Upon receiving the order, the Black Dragon immediately breathed fire and burned the enemy to death. The familiar notification sound rang out again. What's with this golden light? Unlike before, after defeating the boss this time, a strange light suddenly radiated from the surroundings. Zhang Zi stared blankly at the light spots, thinking to himself, "Congratulations, your summoning skill has been upgraded to Z rank." The system prompted again. Haha, my summoning skill finally leveled up. Upon learning that he had leveled up, Zhang Zi couldn't hide the happiness on his face, and he laughed out loud. "Rakshasa, what was that golden light just now?" Seeing him so happy, the giant god asked curiously. "Awesome." Zhang Zi looked at his glowing body and showed off to everyone excitedly. "My summoning skill has been upgraded to level 2, and now I can summon 30 subordinates. Haha. What? Summon 30 subordinates? The Dragon King was shocked to the extreme upon hearing this, unable to believe his ears. Summoning 30 subordinates at once, the later levels will be much easier. Brother-in-law, you're amazing, Little Bird stared at Zhang Zi, her eyes filled with admiration. Haha, clean up the battlefield, let's hurry to the next level, we've been fighting for too long today. Zhang Zi was very anxious at this point, and he said to everyone, "Okay, Demon Realm 16th level," and so the team headed to the Holy Land together. Brother, this level is so scary. As soon as they entered the 16th level, Xiao Feng was frightened by the eerie atmosphere here. She carefully clung to Zhang Zi, not daring to leave him for even half a step. "It's okay, don't be afraid." Looking at his sister's timid appearance, Zhang Zi could only smile helplessly. At this moment, Little Bird suddenly shouted, "It's already 4 a.m. Today is my birthday. I thought something had happened to you." Turns out today is her birthday. You really know how to scare people. Already a birthday? The Dragon King was a little surprised after hearing this. He asked Little Bird in return. "Yes, it's already arranged. Tonight everyone will attend my birthday party." Little Bird replied affirmatively, then didn't forget to invite everyone to her birthday. "Rakshasa, are you coming to Little Bird's birthday party tonight?" Moonshadow asked Zhang Zi. "Rakshasa, you must come tonight. I want to drink with you until we're both wasted," the Dragon King asked again before he could answer. "Yes, I will definitely go." Seeing everyone so enthusiastic, Zhang Zi happily agreed. "Cheers, finally, I can see the real brother Rakshasa." Little Bird was very happy about Zhang Zi's arrival. She was so happy she wanted to jump up. "It's late, everyone should go rest," Zhang Zi reminded everyone. "Okay, I'm sorry. I have to leave for a few days. The Savior Army headquarters just sent a message that the Pingming organization is active again." The next morning, one knight came to Zhang Zi's house and said to Zhang Zi, "Oh, no problem. I will take good care of Yi Lu." Zhang Zi knew that one knight was worried about Yi Lu and offered to help. "Thank you." One knight felt very relieved to have Zhang Zi taking care of Yi Lu, and he thanked Zhang Zi. "You're welcome. Dad, will Mom go to her birthday party today?" Xiao Feng, who was eating breakfast, suddenly grabbed his hand and asked excitedly, "Yes, she will. Do you want to see Mom?" "Of course I want to see Mom too. My memory of Mom stops when I was 3 years old," Zhang Zi replied. Mentioning seeing her mother, Xiao Feng's eyes lit up and she excitedly replied, "I want to go today too. I want to see Mom. Dad, can you take me?" Not only Yi Lu wanted to go, but Xiao Feng also really wanted to see her mother. She asked Zhang Zi, Okay, Dad will take you. In a while, Dad and Auntie will take you to buy clothes and you can see Mom tonight." Zhang Zi couldn't help but laugh at her words, his voice a little helpless. "Cheers, I can finally see Mom." Hearing that she could see Yi Lu soon, she danced with joy and cheered nonstop. "Don't worry, Yi Lu is so cute, Mom will definitely like her," Xiao Feng said, gently stroking Yi Lu's head. The Tang Mansion. Then the three of them went together. "Are you Mr. Zhang Zi? Please come in." Walking into the mansion, the waiter asked him, "Zhang Zi, you're here." Moonshadow had arrived early today. As soon as she saw Zhang Zi, she turned around and greeted him. "Moonshadow, you look beautiful today." Seeing Moonshadow so beautiful, Zhang Zi didn't hesitate to compliment her. "Zhang Zi, who is this lovely child?" Moonshadow looked at the child with Zhang Zi, a little curious. "Mom, I finally see you." Before she could finish asking, Yi Lu ran towards her and shouted loudly, "Her name is Zhang Yi Lu. She is." Zhang Zi didn't know how to introduce her. "Sister-in-law, Yi Lu is your and my brother's daughter." Seeing that Zhang Zi seemed unable to say it, Xiao Feng took the initiative to explain. "Daughter?" Moonshadow was very surprised by Xiao Feng's words. She didn't understand what was happening. "I don't understand. Are you kidding me, Mom? I miss you so much. I finally see you." After seeing her mother, Yi Lu hugged her tightly, acting spoiled. "Sister-in-law, Yi Lu is from the future. She really is your and my brother's daughter." Seeing that Moonshadow still didn't believe it, Xiao Feng had to explain softly from the side. "Moonshadow, this is a bit complicated. I'll explain it to you in detail later, Zhang Zi said to her, not wanting to make Moonshadow feel awkward. Okay, Moonshadow was also very curious about this matter. So she agreed to Zhang Zi. Moonshadow, who are you talking to? Is that Rakshasa? After a while, the Dragon King also arrived at the party. Seeing Zhang Zi, he joked. Not only the Dragon King but the Giant God also came. Dragon King, Giant God, you're here. Let me introduce you. This is Zhang Zi, also known as Rakshasa. Seeing that everyone had arrived, Moonshadow began to introduce them. Hello everyone, we finally meet. Zhang Zi waved hello happily. So it's you, the guy who stole my bounty. After learning that Rakshasa was Zhang Zi, the little princess said angrily, Haha, brother Rakshasa, it's great to finally meet you in person. The Dragon King was very enthusiastic when he saw Zhang Zi. Ha, dream butterfly, you and Rakshasa. The giant god was very curious about the little princess's attitude. So he asked her, it's him. Last time when he arrested the wanted criminal, he not only stole my bounty but also drew a turtle on my face. The little princess began to explain, Haha, little princess, I didn't expect you to be so vindictive. Knowing that the little princess hadn't forgotten the old grudge, Zhang Zi could only manage a smile at this moment. Has everyone arrived? Look who I brought. At this moment, Little Bird happened to walk over. She waved to everyone and greeted them, introducing her two friends by the way. Hello everyone, I'm Little Rabbit and I'm Gloomy. Haha, so everyone's here? Seeing that everyone had arrived, Zhang Zi spoke up. Right everyone, don't just stand there. Go sit over there and have something to eat, Moonshadow echoed. Haha, I didn't expect brother Rakshasa to be our classmate and from class A. After everyone was seated, they chatted happily. And the Dragon King opened the conversation first. Mom, I want to be with you. Since seeing her mother, Yi Lu had been inseparable, always wanting to be with Moonshadow. Ah, Gloomy, are your eyes really blind? Little Rabbit turned to look at Gloomy and asked. Yes, but I can locate things through sound, Gloomy replied, not minding at all. Miss, the people from the Song family want to see you, and have brought gifts, the butler reported as everyone was chatting happily. No, I'm not seeing anyone today. Tell them not to bother us. Upon hearing about the Song family, Little Bird's face changed drastically, and she said angrily to the butler. Yes, the butler, sensing that the young lady's tone was off, didn't ask any more questions and simply obeyed the order and withdrew. It's a pleasure to meet everyone. Today is my birthday. Have fun, everyone. After the butler left, Little Bird regained her cheerful mood. She stood up, raised her glass and said, Haha, I didn't expect Rakshasa to be our classmate and from class A. After everyone was seated, they chatted happily, and the Dragon King opened the conversation first. Mom, I want to sit with you. Yi Lu, who was on this side, had been inseparable from Moonshadow since seeing her mother. Hey Gloomy, are your eyes really completely blind? Little Rabbit turned to Gloomy and asked. Yes, but I can discern locations through sound, Gloomy replied. Miss, the people from the Song family want to see you and have brought gifts, the butler reported as everyone was chatting happily. No, I'm not seeing anyone today. Tell them not to bother us. Upon hearing about the Song family, Little Bird's face changed drastically and she said angrily to the butler. Yes, the butler, sensing that the young lady's tone was off, didn't ask any more questions and simply obeyed the order and withdrew. It's a pleasure to meet everyone. Today is my birthday. Have fun, everyone. After the butler left, Little Bird regained her cheerful mood. She stood up, raised her glass and said, Haha, don't worry, we'll definitely have fun. Seeing this, everyone stood up and raised their glasses in congratulations. Zhang Zi spoke on behalf of everyone. Happy birthday, then everyone said in unison. Happy birthday, it's an honor to be teammates with everyone. If there's anything you need in the demon realm or in reality, just say the word. I'll do my best to help. The giant god, who had been silent all along, finally spoke. Haha, come on. Cheers to Sartre, Dragon King said, clinking glasses with Zhang Zi, clearly pleased. As long as we stick close to Sartre, we'll have smooth sailing through the demon realm, he added jokingly. They were in the 16th level of the demon realm. After the banquet, everyone had returned to their quarters. Dragon King, I don't think you've sobered up yet, little princess said, seeing Dragon King's hazy look. Nonsense, I have an unlimited capacity for alcohol, Dragon King retorted, laughing loudly. Yeah right, I don't believe you, little princess scoffed, waving her hand dismissively. Is Yu Lu asleep? Over there, Moonshadow was asking Zhang Zi about Yu Lu. Not yet, but don't worry, Yu Lu is being very good, Zhang Zi replied, feeling warmth seeing Moonshadow's concern for Yu Lu. Okay, Moonshadow replied softly. Is everyone here? Let's get moving, Dragon King asked, gathering everyone for the next battle. Yes, everyone's here, former god reported. I've checked the Demon Realm guide and confirmed everyone's presence, Zhang Zi began, briefing everyone on the upcoming level. This level is primarily filled with zombies and wraiths. Zombies are easy to deal with. Just watch out for their venom. Wraiths are trickier. They appear suddenly, and you can only see their form when they attack, making them impossible to hit otherwise. As for the final boss, the Vampire Count, he shouldn't be a problem with my summoned minions, so everyone be especially careful of the wraiths. After hearing Zhang Zi's analysis, former god understood the problem. he said to everyone, "Can't we just fly straight to the vampire count on Black Shadow Dragon King? Like in previous levels, those wraiths and zombies are both terrifying and disgusting." Little Bird, hearing this, asked Zhang Zi in confusion. "I'm afraid not. The fog is too thick, we can't tell which way to go." Zhang Zi replied with a hint of disappointment. "But we can ride the Steel Titans and have them take us there." He had already come up with an alternative plan, the Steel Titans. He told everyone, "Good idea, I haven't ridden one yet." This indeed surprised everyone, and they were all curious to try it. "Great idea, that way we only have to watch out for monsters in the air." My goodness, it used to take 500 of us to deal with one Titan, and he's controlling 3 by himself. Zhang Zi bent down and began the summoning ritual. Soon 3 Titans appeared before everyone. The crowd buzzed with excitement. "This is invincible. Any monster would be crushed underfoot. If they're not dead, just stomp them a couple more times." No doubt God Rakshasa is the one who gathered such bosses. Hello fellow warriors. I'm back again. A live streamer seized the opportunity to attract viewers. "See that? That's your most admired God Rakshasa. If you want to see how God Rakshasa deals with monsters, send gifts." He pointed at the screen and said, "The fog is too thick, even at the height of the Steel Titans you can't see the end of it." The battle in the 16th level of the Demon Realm officially began, with Zhang Zi and his group riding the Steel Titans deeper into the Demon Realm. Despite the protection of the Steel Titans, they still encountered many difficulties in the dense fog of the Demon Realm. "What's going on? Where did all the wraiths and zombies go?" Little Princess suddenly noticed the anomaly. "Yeah, last time we were swarmed by wraiths and zombies as soon as we left the altar. What's happening today? Are they all asleep?" Dragon King nodded in agreement with Little Princess. The disappearance of the wraiths made everyone very uneasy. Dragon King gripped his spear tightly, his expression very vigilant. While everyone was intently observing, Zhang Zi sensed something wrong from a distance and immediately warned Dragon King, "Watch out." Hearing Zhang Zi's voice, Dragon King immediately turned around only to find a ghostly hand reaching for him from behind. Reacting too late, Dragon King's arm was grabbed and he cried out in pain, clutching his arm. "Wraiths, everyone be careful." Without saying much, Zhang Zi quickly drew his rocket and shot at the wraith, carefully reminding everyone, "Let me absorb it." Former God stepped forward to cover Zhang Zi, saying, "These wraiths appear and disappear unpredictably and are very fast. Be careful." Just as they dealt with one, several others surged forward, surrounding Zhang Zi in a group, making it difficult for him to evade. He warned everyone, sword-style wind. Then he used the summoning ritual and successfully summoned the beast transformation. "Let me take them down." His transformation obeyed its master's command, charging out to fight the wraiths. Sword-style wind. A wraith approached Moonshadow, startling her and causing her to scream. "Moonshadow, are you all right?" Zhang Zi asked with a face full of concern, having shaken off the wraiths pursuing him. "I'm fine," Moonshadow replied, "but this is going to be an endless drain. We need to find a way." Then Zhang Zi quickly stepped forward to cover her, saying, "These wraiths appear suddenly. We can't lock onto a target," Moonshadow said. "I have an idea." Suddenly, Zhang Zi had a bold idea and asked, "What idea?" Moonshadow asked him. "Moonshadow, you and the others focus on defense, protect yourselves." Zhang Zi didn't give a clear answer, just told her. Chapter 139, our wraith approached Moonshadow, startling her and causing her to scream. "Moonshadow, are you all right?" Zhang Zi asked with a face full of concern, having shaken off the wraiths pursuing him. "I'm fine," Moonshadow replied, "but this is going to be an endless drain. We need to find a way." Then Zhang Zi quickly stepped forward to cover her, saying, "These wraiths appear suddenly. We can't lock onto a target at all," Moonshadow said. "I have an idea." Suddenly, Zhang Zi had a bold idea and asked, "What idea?" Moonshadow asked him. "Moonshadow, you and the others focus on defense, protect yourselves." Zhang Zi didn't give a clear answer, he just said, "Everyone stick together, stay in a tight formation and protect yourselves." Then he quickly moved onto the robot's arm, carefully instructing everyone. "I'll draw them away." "What is Rakshasa trying to do?" Former God looked at Rakshasa with a face full of confusion. "He must have a reason. Let's gather quickly," Moonshadow said to calm everyone down. "Okay, but what exactly is brother-in-law doing attracting so many wraiths?" Little Bird also noticed Zhang Zi's unusual behavior, and she asked anxiously, "-1659 wraiths, -1582 wraiths, -1701 wraiths." Fighting a horde of wraiths at the same time, Zhang Zi's health kept dropping. "Rakshasa's health is dropping too fast," Dragon King said. Seeing Zhang Zi sacrifice so much health for everyone, feeling extremely anxious. "We can't help him even if we go now," Former God said. Although he really wanted to help, he could only watch helplessly. "The time is almost here." Zhang Zi risked his life to lure the wraiths, and there was a reason for it. Personal domain. Time to activate detected. Zhang Zi immediately used the skill. System, activate personal domain. Please choose 1. Increase or decrease 50% magic damage and physical damage. 2. Increase or decrease 50% magic defense and physical defense. 3. Increase or decrease 50% health limit. 4. Increase or decrease 50% movement speed and attack speed. 5. Increase or decrease 50% skill damage. As soon as it was set, a strange light enveloped the Steel Titans, and a notification appeared on the system screen. "I choose the 4th option." Zhang Zi replied to the system without hesitation. "All Steel Titans listen to my command, indiscriminate attack with me as the center." Then he ordered the Steel Titans. This is too terrifying. Is brother-in-law really alright? Upon receiving their master's command, the Steel Titans immediately fired lasers at the wraiths. Wherever the robot's eyes scanned, wraiths were annihilated, creating an extremely brutal scene that shocked everyone. Rakshasa, please don't get hurt. Haha, look, before everyone could recover, Dragon King pointed ahead and said happily. I knew Rakshasa would be fine. Wow, what a great harvest, so many spoils. Zhang Zi walked out of the smoke and dust, having survived a near-death experience, and finally returned safely to his teammates' embrace, causing everyone to rejoice. Rakshasa, that move scared me to death. I thought you were going to sacrifice yourself. Haha, don't worry, I can't die in the personal domain, Zhang Zi replied calmly. Brother-in-law, don't scare us like that again. You almost made my cousin cry, Little Bird teased playfully, seeing Zhang Zi so composed. Don't talk nonsense, that's not true, Moonshadow blushed at Little Bird's words. Ha ha ha. Time is short, let's gather the spoils quickly, Zhang Zi said to everyone. Okay, Dragon King agreed. I'll just check the data. We eliminated 252 zombies and 121 wraiths here, Little Princess announced. Having finished her data check. Hey, did everyone see that? The fog seems to have thinned a bit. Just as they were about to leave, an anomaly stopped them. Magic layer, Moonshadow anxiously reminded everyone. It's true, it does seem to be thinning, Little Bird looked around and confirmed. Everyone be careful, something's not right. It feels like something is approaching us. Zhang Zi pointed to the sky, warning everyone. Something's wrong. Why did the sky suddenly turn dark? Dragon King, standing nearby, also noticed the sky's anomaly. Watch out, it's the boss. At that moment, a swarm of bats suddenly flew in at high speed from a distance. Zhang Zi immediately realized it was the boss and hurriedly gathered everyone. Quick, everyone stay close to me. Before they could even deal with the bats, the team faced another problem. Little Rabbit saw something extremely terrifying behind her and screamed in fear. Who are you? An identical doll of Little Rabbit appeared, walking towards her step by step. Little Rabbit asked, trembling. I am Moonlight Xiao Yu, she replied, looking at Little Rabbit with a strange smile. Damn, it's a monster. Dragon King realized they had encountered a demon and immediately drew his spear ready to strike. However, when the spear hit her, they discovered she had the ability to transform unpredictable. What on earth is this thing? Can it transform into an exact copy of us? Everyone, pay attention to the people around you. If you notice anything strange, shout it out immediately. To ensure everyone's safety, Zhang Zi issued an immediate warning. Youth is truly wonderful. A gust of wind brought potential danger to the team, and everyone waited silently for the challenge. The secret behind the whirlwind gradually revealed itself. The boss they were waiting for was actually a ghost king with vampire blood. Seeing the plump prey before him, the ghost king couldn't suppress his possessiveness and revealed a strange smile. Vampire Count, everyone be careful. The final boss has appeared, Zhang Zi reminded everyone again. Tender skin, a face like a flower. Although everyone was cautious, the Ghost King's speed was extraordinary, and he instantly approached a member of the team. The girl was terrified and screamed, but fortunately, Moonshadow reacted quickly and saved her life. Vibrant life force, overflowing energy. The Ghost King's eyes gradually turned crimson, his possessiveness stronger than ever, and he muttered incessantly. The taste of fresh blood. Having come to my world, you have only two choices. Submit or die, he stood before everyone, arrogantly announcing. Sorry, but I choose a third option. To kill you, Zhang Zi replied fearlessly, pointing directly at the Ghost King's face, his voice ringing out. Chapter 140 Vibrant Life Force, Bursting Energy. The Ghost King's eyes gradually turned crimson, his possessiveness stronger than ever, and he muttered incessantly. The taste of fresh blood. Having come to my world, you have only two choices. Submit or die, he stood before everyone, arrogantly announcing. Sorry, I choose a third option. To kill you, Zhang Zi replied fearlessly, pointing directly at the Ghost King's face, his voice ringing out. Let's get to work, brothers. As soon as he finished speaking, Zhang Zi summoned several spirit creatures to fight. You think controlling these useless things can defeat me? How laughable. The Ghost King sneered at his spirit creatures fighting. Ha ha ha, lowly creatures, face your death. Then he cast a spell and turned into a cloud of black mist, disappearing before everyone's astonished eyes. What happened? Black smoke is coming over here. Dragon King was also frightened by this scene, shouting anxiously. No, that's not black smoke, it's bugs. Zhang Zi observed the situation carefully and said with certainty, Clown, protect us. In the black mist, a swarm of bugs suddenly rushed over frantically. Zhang Zi cleverly hid behind Clown and ordered, Little Dragon Fruit, don't eat those bugs, they're disgusting. Clown and human swordsman joined forces, and Little Rabbit and Little Dragon excitedly emerged upon seeing the prey. Little Rabbit reminded it upon seeing this. It turned out Little Dragon wasn't there to hunt but to help everyone eliminate the bugs. My rage can only be quenched by your blood. Seeing that the bait had failed, the Ghost King withdrew all the bugs and entered the whirlwind, deciding to use his clones. His voice was like a terrifying curse lingering in their minds. Moonshadow, be careful. Seeing that his target was Moonshadow, Zhang Zi immediately warned her. This young lady, your swordsmanship is not bad either. Moonshadow cleverly used her swordsmanship to defend. The Ghost King, watching the slender girl fight back with all her might, expressed his admiration. But compared to my swordsmanship, it's far from enough. Then he arrogantly boasted about himself. This is a blood-stained red rose for you. The Ghost King pointed his sword at Moonshadow, and vibrant red roses flew towards her. He said to her, "Negative 3,988 vampire count." Moonshadow was accidentally hit by a move while defending. She clutched her arm in pain. "Moonshadow, how are you?" Zhang Zi asked with great concern when he saw her injured. "I'm fine, but his damage is too high." Moonshadow landed with difficulty, enduring the pain as she answered Zhang Zi, "I'm going to fight him." Dragon King couldn't hold back any longer and charged forward. Seeing this, former god also rushed forward to cover Dragon King. "Don't run if you have the guts. Let's fight 300 rounds, you vulgar, lowly creatures. I've had enough of playing." The spirit of human unity was worthless in the Ghost King's eyes. He looked at these lowly people before him and mocked them mercilessly. "Now I'll send you to hell. Everyone be careful, don't get hurt." Noticing the Ghost King's unusual behavior, Moonshadow quickly reminded everyone, "Clown, activate skill." Zhang Zi, having successfully connected to Clown, immediately gave the order. The Clown, following his master's command, immediately activated the Deathline skill. "Come here, let's start drawing cards. Who will be the lucky one today?" he said mysteriously, conjuring various cards. Immunity? The 2 special cards prepared for this Demon King were determined, but they shattered in Zhang Zi's surprise. "Haha, you dare use this kind of skill against me?" The Demon King looked at Zhang Zi arrogantly and said, "I will suck your blood dry." Then he revealed his sharp teeth and rushed forward at lightning speed. Sword energy like the wind. At this moment, the human swordsman appeared in time, blocking the Demon King's attack. "Like the wind, your speed is far from enough." The Demon King heard the human swordsman's words, and a contemptuous expression appeared on his face. Taking advantage of everyone's distraction, he grabbed the little princess and frantically sucked her blood, ignoring her painful screams. 3,108 vampire count minus 1,555 blood drain minus 1,394 blood drain. "What's wrong with the little princess?" The Dragon King heard the little princess's voice and turned back to ask. "So delicious, this is a virgin's blood, wonderful." But it was too late. The Demon King finished sucking the blood with satisfaction and left quickly with an incomparably happy expression on his face. The little princess is still?" The Dragon King heard the Demon King's words and couldn't help being surprised, forgetting the matter at hand for a moment. "Shut up, less nonsense." The little princess was almost drained of her strength, but she still tried her best to answer. She looked at the Dragon King angrily and said, "Bloodlord level 1 effect, a curse from the vampire count. Currently dormant, it will mutate once activated by the count." At this moment, the system suddenly issued an urgent notification. Bloodlord." Zhang Zi's expression gradually became tense when he heard Bloodlord. "Whatever it is, I'll kill it first." The Dragon King didn't care what the terrible thing was and replied aggressively, "Awaken, my most loyal slave, dedicate your life to me." At this moment, the Demon King suddenly stretched out his hand and recited the spell loudly. "As you command, my master." After hearing the spell, the little princess's eyes immediately turned red. Her face also became strange. She respectfully replied to the Demon King, "As you command, my master." As she spoke, she rushed towards the Dragon King frantically. The Dragon King was stunned by this scene. What happened to the little princess? Even Moonshadow was frightened by the little princess's appearance, and she asked Zhang Zi, "She has been mind-controlled by the vampire count." Zhang Zi explained what happened to the little princess. The Dragon King still didn't understand what happened, and he looked at the little princess worriedly and asked, "I obey your call, my master." The little princess was controlled by dark energy. Her whole body was shrouded in the flames of hatred, and she kept muttering, "Enough playing, you all die." Seeing that the puppet was completely controlled by him, the Demon King showed a cunning smile and he announced, "Explode, let the proud flower of blood bloom." Then he ordered the little princess. After receiving the order, the little princess immediately released the energy in her body. Chapter 141, I obey your call, my master. The little princess was controlled by dark energy. Her whole body was shrouded in the flames of hatred, and she kept muttering, "Not enough, you all die." Seeing that the puppet was completely controlled by him, the Demon King showed a cunning smile and he announced, "Explode, let the proud flower of blood bloom magnificently." Then he ordered the little princess. After receiving the order, the little princess immediately released the energy in her body. Not good, everyone get away quickly. Realizing that the situation was not good, Zhang Zi quickly told everyone to evacuate. Explode, the Demon King continued to order. Ha ha ha, 50,612 blood explosion. The destructive power of this explosion was truly terrifying. Zhang Zi was injured because he failed to dodge in time. He cried out in pain. Little princess, the Dragon King watched the little princess being swallowed by the explosion. His heart ached. He shouted her name weakly, Rakshasa, Moon Shadow. At this moment they also found Zhang Zi and hurriedly called out, "Little princess." After the explosion, everyone hurried to the little princess. Looking at the little girl lying motionless on the ground, everyone called her name anxiously. "Wake up quickly. Little princess, little princess. Little princess, don't die, I still want to argue with you in the future. I have a way to save the little princess." Zhang Zi looked at the little princess's injuries and said to everyone, "Xiao Feng." He turned to look at Zhang Feng and said, "Okay." Zhang Feng immediately understood and agreed without hesitation. That's right, Xiao Feng's talent is resurrection. The Dragon King turned his gaze to Xiao Feng. A sense of finding a savior surged into his heart. "Sister, we're counting on you." Moonshadow looked at her gently and said, "Resurrection technique." Xiao Feng came to the little princess and began the ritual. Cough. After a moment, the little princess spat out a large mouthful of blood. "She's awake, she's awake." Seeing her wake up, everyone cheered. "Why is everyone surrounding me? What happened just now?" After the little princess woke up, she found everyone surrounding her. There were many people. She felt a little strange, so she asked, "You were dead just now." Seeing the princess wake up, the Dragon King casually teased her. "Ha, I was dead, Dragon King, you cursed me, right?" The little princess heard the Dragon King's words and put on a sullen look. "That's not true, you were able to wake up thanks to your sister." Seeing her angry, the Dragon King quickly explained, "Crap, everyone be careful. The leader is gone." Just as everyone was happy for the little princess's awakening, Zhang Zi suddenly announced the bad news. "What does it want to do again? Everyone be careful." It disappeared mysteriously again. Zhang Zi reminded everyone worriedly, "I didn't expect there to be a mage proficient in resurrection. However, as long as I kill you all, you won't be able to resurrect, right?" The Demon King actually returned to his true form. He rushed over and threatened, "Not good, it wants to self-destruct, it wants to blow us up. Everyone run." The Dragon King saw its intention and immediately told everyone, "Quick, take the little princess and leave quickly." The Titan God, with its steel armor, shielded Zhang Zi and then said, "Rakshasa, what are you doing?" Moonshadow saw Zhang Zi standing there blankly and asked in confusion, "The cub is growing too fast, you go first, I'll deal with it." The Dragon King turned back and instructed Zhang Zi, "Rakshasa, hurry up, I have a way." Zhang Zi's eyes were extremely firm at this moment, and he replied coldly, "You dare to besiege me with just your strength." He stretched out his hand and used his power to attack the Demon King. Seeing him alone, the Demon King mocked, "You're wrong, I'm not trying to besiege you, I'm trying to kill you." Zhang Zi immediately counterattacked him. "You're not the only one who can self-destruct. Steel Titan, activate self-destruct system." After speaking, he ordered the Steel Titan. Order received. Self-destruct program activated. An alarm sounded, and the Steel Titan's cold voice rang out. Self-destruct program activated. Countdown started. 10, 9, 8, 7. The control panel started the countdown. "Let you also taste the feeling of being blown to pieces." Zhang Zi looked at the Demon King with resentment. "Will Rakshasa be okay?" When the countdown ended, this explosion completely erased the evil Demon King from the demon realm. The Dragon King looked at the power of the explosion and worried about Zhang Zi. "He will definitely be fine," Moonshadow replied based on her understanding of Zhang Zi. 932,101. The Steel Titan, looking at the ruins in front of him, realized how terrifying the destructive power of the robot was. "Look, it's Rakshasa, he's fine." As soon as Moonshadow saw Zhang Zi, she rushed over. "Rakshasa, congratulations on eliminating the vampire count. Mission accomplished as usual." The system displayed a notification. "I'm fine, although I lost a Titan. I finally defeated and subdued the vampire count." Zhang Zi walked out of the explosion. Tall and awe-inspiring, he looked at Moonshadow calmly and said, "Next time, can you not do such dangerous things?" Moonshadow looked at Zhang Zi, her heart aching like a knife. She instructed him. "Okay," Zhang Zi wanted to reassure her, so he agreed. "Everyone look, the stone gate to the next level has appeared, over here." Little Rabbit saw that the next door had opened, so she called everyone over. "Thanks to Rakshasa, we can enter the next level." The Titan God happily chimed in. "The fog over there seems to be coming again. Let's quickly go through the stone gate to the next level." Because the terrain on this level was very foggy, Zhang Zi said to everyone, "Okay, everyone hurry through the level, the fog is coming again." He kept urging everyone. Level 17 of the Demon Realm. Smoke and artillery fire shrouded the ancient castle. This level seemed to be different from the previous Demon Realm levels, as if a fierce battle had just taken place. Seeing the scene in front of them, everyone in the team had a common understanding. That's right, the task of this level is not to kill the leader, but to defend this fortress. With the experience of countless levels, they quickly grasped the task of this level. What is this? Are we defending the city?" Someone in the team asked. "What? Defend the city? How can a few of us defend such a big fortress?" The little princess was startled when she heard about defending the city. "That's right, it's impossible to defend it without hundreds or thousands of people." The Dragon King also agreed after hearing this. "Well, the guide also said that it is recommended that more than 200 people defend the city together. You see, some people have already entered the fortress. The gate is closed, we can only wait for their defense to end," Moonshadow said, looking at the city gate. "But where are the enemies attacking the city? Why don't we see them? Kill!" Just as everyone was arguing, a sharp cry came from the distance, interrupting everyone's thoughts. "That's cavalry!" Moonshadow reacted quickly and recognized it instantly. Thousands of armored spirit beasts rushed towards them frantically, their footsteps pounding on the ground. The scene was very chaotic. Just as everyone was arguing, a sharp cry came from the distance, interrupting everyone's thoughts. "Kill, kill!" Little Bird looked at the approaching army and shouted in horror, "There are too many people." The army poured out of the city like a tide. The screams were deafening, and the dust on the ground rose into the air, covering the sky and the sun. Leading the army were all kinds of iron-clad zombies. The Dragon King looked at the zombie army. Cold sweat broke out on his forehead. Were there tens of thousands of soldiers? It's too terrible. It seems that this adventure team's city defense battle is going to fail. Hearing that Zhang Zi was someone who had experienced countless levels, but faced with this situation, he had to be cautious. He didn't expect there to be so many enemies. It seemed this level was quite difficult. He turned around and discussed with everyone. Well, it seems this level is not easy, and it's late. Let's call it a day and get some rest. Titan God agreed very much when he heard Zhang Zi say this. I agree. After we go home, let's study the strategy for this level together. The Dragon King also agreed with the team's plan. Okay, it seems there's no hope for today. This level is really terrifying. In this way, everyone unanimously agreed to see each other tomorrow. In the real world, that night at Zhang Zi's house, Gao Ying suddenly came to him. Seeing this situation, he asked her anxiously, Gao Ying, what happened to you? Xiao Feng looked at Gao Ying, then turned to look at Zhang Zi and said, Brother, look. Zhang Zi looked at the wounds on her body and hurriedly said, She's seriously injured and needs to be bandaged immediately. Gao Ying endured the pain and replied, No, there's no need to go to the hospital, they'll find out. Helpless, Zhang Zi had to pick her up. He turned to Xiao Feng and said, Take her to my room. Xiao Feng, get the first aid kit, don't wake Yi Lu. Zhang Zi treated the wound while asking who exactly injured her. Xiao Feng said it was Zheng Hao. Zhang Zi was not surprised when he heard the name. Zheng Hao again. Zhang Zi turned to Xiao Feng and said, Xiao Feng, I'm going out. You help her take off her clothes and bandage the wound. Xiao Feng's face was a little scared when she heard this and said, Brother, I can't and I'm afraid of blood. Zhang Zi could only sigh helplessly when he heard her say this. Zhang Zi looked at Gao Ying, feeling a little embarrassed. His heart couldn't bear to see her die without help. Seeing the urgency of the situation, Xiao Feng said to him, Don't hesitate, brother. Saving people is the priority. I won't tell Sister Moonshadow. Hearing Xiao Feng's words, Zhang Zi felt that it made sense. He decided to save Gao Ying. Okay, saving people is the priority. The next morning at the security bureau, Xiao Jin rushed over as soon as she heard the news. As soon as she saw Zhang Zi, she asked, What happened? You said on the phone that Zheng Hao hurt someone. Zhang Zi answered simply, It's the person from the Savior Army responsible for protecting your daughter. Hearing Zheng Hao's name, Xiao Jin immediately became furious. It's Zheng Hao again. We must catch him as soon as possible. She looked at Zhang Zi, wanting him to help. Xiao Zi, can you arrange for me to meet the leader of the Savior Army? Zhang Zi looked at Yi Lu dotingly. Yi Lu, can you help? Yi Lu's eyes sparkled. She pointed at Zhang Zi and said, Dad, you are the leader of the Savior Army. Son is just temporarily acting as the leader, handling the internal affairs of the organization. Hearing Yi Lu say that he was the leader, a trace of panic appeared on Zhang Zi's face. What? I'm the leader, he said to his daughter. How can Dad have the ability to be the leader? Can you help me contact Son? Yi Lu happily replied, Okay, no problem. Finally, he turned to Xiao Jin and said, By the way, Sister Xiao Jin, I have another matter to ask you. I'm about to go back to school to register. I hope you can arrange someone to protect Xiao Feng and Yi Lu. Xiao Jin said, No problem, I will arrange it. Before leaving, Yi Lu did not forget to say to him, Well, I need to speed up and pass the levels of the demon realm and uncover the truth as soon as possible. After the events in the real world, Zhang Zi and his teammates entered level 17 of the demon realm. Here, a fierce battle was taking place, with people on the castle walls constantly shouting, Kill, hold the line, don't let them rush up. They had set up a formation to fight against the army outside, continuously shouting slogans like Kill, add oil. Zhang Zi's team watched this scene and discussed it with interest. Hey, this team is still the same team as yesterday. They've been holding out for 3 days. I heard there are many consortiums sponsoring them behind the scenes. The startup capital alone is in the millions. No wonder those expensive potions and talismans are like they're free. They don't lack money. Zhang Zi pondered for a moment, then said, However, each wave of enemies is getting stronger and stronger. It's still very difficult to pass this level with money alone, Little Rabbit said confidently. We're not afraid. As long as we have Brother Rakshasa, we will definitely pass. Little Bird also agreed with Little Rabbit. That's right, brother-in-law. When will we take action? School starts tomorrow. We can't play too late today. Zhang Zi replied, Well, we'll enter the fortress after this wave fails. Suddenly, a voice came from behind. Great God, what a coincidence. We meet again. Zhang Zi looked back and saw that it was Su Zi. He returned the greeting politely. It's you, what a coincidence. Su Zi stepped forward to greet him and took the opportunity to express to Zhang Zi, Great God Rakshasa, I watched the videos of you fighting the Steel Titan and the Vampire Count online. They were so exciting, they still make my blood boil. Zhang Zi replied politely, Thank you. After greeting him, Su Zi pointed to the person behind him and said, By the way, Great God Rakshasa, let me introduce you to a master. His nickname is very strange. He surveyed the world with a cold gaze. He extended his hand to greet Zhang Zi. Hello Rakshasa, I've heard so much about you. I hope we can become friends in the future. Zhang Zi, not wanting to waste words, simply replied, Hello. Feeling Zhang Zi's strength, the man suggested, Why don't we team up? There's strength in numbers. The man glanced at Zhang Zi's team members, his eyes filled with disdain. Oh Rakshasa, these are your teammates? They don't look very strong. Hearing this, Zhang Zi's expression immediately turned sour. He bluntly replied, yes, we're all newbies, not very strong, we'd probably just be a burden if we joined you. We'll manage on our own. Seeing Zhang Zi's eagerness to decline, the man felt a bit regretful. Oh come on, I thought it was a good idea. Having their own mission, the man and his team quickly departed. Thinking Zhang Zi's team was bound to fail, the man offered help, saying, time is tight. If all goes well, we can come back and help them defend the city after we've overcome our own challenges. The man forced a smile as he bid Zhang Zi farewell. Alright, we'll head up first, Rakshasa. Zhang Zi bluntly said, no need to trouble yourselves, we can handle it, good luck. Moonshadow, irritated by the man's arrogance, scoffed, humph. Suddenly, the fog within the city thickened. Sensing something amiss, Moonshadow asked, why is there fog? After careful observation, Zhang Zi replied, looks like the second wave of enemies is coming. Everyone prepare for battle. Everyone responded in unison, okay. At that moment, those on the fortress also sensed the enemy's approach, nervously warning each other. Be careful, the second wave of enemies must be coming. Damn it, we can't see anything. How are we supposed to defend the city? Listen, there's a sound, something seems to be roaring. What kind of monsters are these? There seem to be a lot of them. Stop standing around, get ready to fight, attack those short blurry shadows in the fog. Ranged archers and mages attack. A barrage of fire was launched from the fortress. All woohoo! The enemy troops made terrifying sounds as the crazed undead soldiers charged towards the city walls. They ignored the firepower, climbing into the city at all costs, making them extremely difficult to control. The soldiers on the wall cried out helplessly, quick, stop them, damn, there are too many undead, we can't hold them back, I've cut off its head. Why isn't it dead yet? Ah, help, I've been bitten by an undead. Everyone don't panic. Ah, I don't want to die, run. After the undead army's attack, no one on the fortress survived. It was a massacre. Yes, those adventurers are all dead, quick, stop them. Terrified by the sight of the swarming undead army, the people on the city wall cried out in panic and helplessness. There are too many, we can't stop them. I've cut off its head, why isn't this thing dead yet? Ah, help, I've been bitten. Everyone don't panic, I don't want to die, run, it's too horrible. Despite their efforts, the enemy troops continued to pour into the city, slaughtering and occupying their homes, leaving no one alive in their brutal assault. Those adventurers are all dead, oh my god. The Black Dragon King. After the previous group failed to defend the city, Zhang Zi and his team officially started their mission in the Demon Realm lair. He and his teammates then rode the Black Dragon to the fortress. The appearance of Zhang Zi and the Black Dragon caused a huge stir among those on the city wall. Rakshasa is here too, we're so lucky today. Where's Brother A? Don't stop me, I'm going live. He just summons them. Is that really worth all the hype? Going live too, Rakshasa, you guys are here as well. The man looked up at the Black Dragon and said with a smile, Rakshasa, although we entered at the same time, regardless of who arrived first, there are only a few of you. It's simply impossible to defend such a large fortress, right? The man's companion put on an imposing air as soon as he saw Zhang Zi. Are you suggesting we retreat? Sorry, we don't have time. Zhang Zi saw his intention and replied coldly, Boss Rakshasa, we're all friends, calm down. Seeing the tense atmosphere between the two sides, the man stepped forward to mediate. How about this? Seeing that Zhang Zi had no intention of retreating, the man made a suggestion. I also signed a contract today. I must take my boss through the 17th layer of the Demon Realm. If Rakshasa agrees, let's join forces. You and your team defend the second inner city. Okay, everyone's happy. That works for me. I don't want to make things difficult for anyone either. Zhang Zi just wanted to clear the level and didn't want to fight. Seeing the other team's sincerity, he reluctantly agreed. He gave us the second layer. He's totally looking down on us. Upon learning that his team was assigned to the second layer, Juggernaut immediately turned to Zhang Zi to express his dissatisfaction. He doesn't trust us. He thinks we can't defend the first layer at all, but it's okay, just wait and see. Zhang Zi observed the others carefully, and then replied, everyone, take your positions according to my deployment. At this time, the man's team began to discuss their strategy. His companion spoke on behalf of the team. Enemy siege attacks usually come in 4 random types. First, the skeleton soldiers and zombies we saw earlier. Second, beasts like werewolves, minotaurs, and orcs. Third, insect monsters. And fourth, god and demon monsters. Devils and angels have both appeared and they're all terrifying creatures. Let's hope we don't encounter god and demon monsters. Also, Captain, what about those people? One of the team members asked suspiciously. Ignore them. We're unlucky to have a bunch of freeloaders. Let's just hope they don't bother us. The man expressed his contempt for Zhang Zi and his team, arrogantly speaking to his subordinates. Okay, the subordinates replied and asked no further questions. The city gates are about to close. Subsequently, the man shouted loudly, everyone take your positions. The siege is about to begin, he ordered his team members. Ranged soldiers, follow me to the city wall. Ah, the undead army is attacking again. Their momentum is the same as before, charging up fiercely. This is terrible. I wonder how many people will be injured or killed in this battle. Looking at the undead up close, Moonshadow felt an indescribable sadness. Don't worry, I'll protect you. Zhang Zi, noticing her sadness, comforted her softly. Fireball. In the first layer, the man's group had already begun their attack. Keep attacking, don't let them climb up. Faced with the fierce attack of the undead army, the leader kept urging. Go, be careful, there are catapults. But this time the undead army had prepared very powerful weapons which they had not anticipated. They shouted in panic when they appeared. Sister, be careful, the catapults were very powerful, sending 2 people flying. We must destroy those catapults first. Realizing the critical situation, one person immediately notified his companions. Behind the thick dust, rows of catapults appeared, shocking the defenders. Oh no, they're about to fire again, it's Rakshasa. Another round of fire came, and just as it was about to reach the city wall, something suddenly blocked it, causing a huge explosion in the air. Everyone looked closely to see who that powerful person was. Unsurprisingly, it was Zhang Zi who blocked the fire and saved everyone. Seeing him, everyone breathed a sigh of relief. You defend against the enemies on the ground, I'll take care of the air, he said to everyone. Okay. The man, upon hearing this, immediately ran down. Prepare fireballs. The leader ordered his team. Fire, where are the shield bearers? Where did they all go? Despite their best efforts, they still couldn't stop the powerful attacks of the undead army. The man looked at the tragic scene and shouted helplessly. Why can't we stop the humanoid monsters? Help. There are too many zombies. We can't hold them back, a team member explained. And so they could only watch helplessly as the undead army slaughtered the innocent and occupied their city. It's too horrible. It seems those warriors are doomed. Looking down from above, Moonshadow's heart was filled with sadness as she watched the innocent people being slaughtered by zombies. There's nothing we can do. There are too many zombies, I can't save them all. Zhang Zi replied helplessly. Boss, the casualties are too high. The man reported the current situation to the leader. Damn it, this is just the first wave. Can anyone hold on? He asked in fear after hearing the man's report. There's no way. For survival for our families, we can only persevere and not retreat. Then he muttered to himself helplessly. Otherwise, let Rakshasa and his team go out and support us. The man was worried that they wouldn't be able to hold on if this continued, so he discussed it with the leader. Forget it. They have no experience and no strength. They'll only make things worse. The leader immediately objected. He put on a noble face. Everyone, look, what's that? Just as things were at a critical juncture, a team member suddenly noticed something and shouted loudly, "It's a demon!" A series of mysterious spheres suddenly appeared in the sky, and everyone panicked until they were about to land. Demons are attacking the city. It's a demon. Everyone take your positions. Prepare to fight. Although very scared, the leader tried to suppress his emotions and calmly commanded, "This time it's demons. Everyone be careful." On the fortress, the man turned to the green-robed man standing next to him and suggested, "Why don't we ask Rakshasa to support us from the outside?" The green-robed man immediately refused without thinking. Forget it. They have no experience and poor strength. They'll only cause trouble. Just as they were speaking, a shout from a blond man suddenly rang out. Everyone, look, what's that? Everyone standing on the city wall looked up. Following the direction of the blond man's finger, they saw some blue portals appearing in midair from nowhere. From these portals, a group of demons rushed out one after another, their eyes blood red and their faces ferocious. Terrifying, the people standing on the city wall shouted in panic, It's demons. Demons are attacking the city. It's demons." Seeing the demons appear, the green-robed man immediately shouted seriously, "Everyone take your positions. Prepare to fight. This time it's demons. Everyone be careful." A demon rushed over to attack a man in armor, who immediately blocked the attack with his shield. The system immediately issued a prompt. Block -5944 demon. Not far away, the man was also fighting a demon, casting a spell to create a blue energy ball. The man attacked the demon, causing it to scream in pain. Its body swayed, losing its balance. The system then displayed the demon's attribute panel. System Demon Level 1 HP, 25,000, Attack, 3,600 -5,200, Defense, 4,000, Skill. Teleportation. This caused others to exclaim in surprise. These demons, they can teleport. These stats are terrifying. They're like mini-bosses. Although the man and his teammates had eliminated many demons, dozens more were behind them. For every group they killed, another group would emerge from the portals, seemingly endless. The appearance of the demons filled the people on the city wall with despair. One person cried out, "We're doomed. We can't hold this time." Just as he finished speaking, a demon with a spear charged down. The young man standing nearby immediately rushed forward with his sword to fight it, but he was no match for the demon's strength, and was quickly defeated. Seeing the situation was dire, the man immediately shouted, "Retreat, everyone retreat." Just then, Yaoguang suddenly pointed to the sky and shouted loudly, as if she had seen something, "Everyone look, what's that?" The others immediately followed the direction Yaoguang was pointing. They saw a giant stone golem emerge from nowhere, appearing among the skeleton soldiers and zombies. The appearance of the golem gave the people on the city wall a glimmer of hope. Someone said, "A huge stone golem, it's attracting the demons." Suddenly, 2 more stone golems appeared, and they began attacking the monsters as soon as they emerged. Seeing this, the people on the city wall began to discuss, Look, another stone golem appeared. There's hope this time. They're summons. Rakshasa must have summoned them. Yeogwing observed the stone golems, and then she guessed, something's not right. These two stone golems aren't bosses, could they be? At this moment someone shouted, revealing the appearance of the stone golems. It's Big Brother, he summoned the stone golems. While summoning the stone golems, the green-robed man loudly said to the others, quick! While the stone golems are attracting the demons, the ranged units attack with all their might. I spent a fortune on these two stone golems summoning scrolls. Rakshasa and Moonshadow, who were assigned to the second layer, were also observing the battle on the first layer. Rakshasa looked at the summoned stone golems and marveled at the green-robed man's generosity. This boss is really rich. These two summoning scrolls must have cost millions of gold coins. Suddenly, Moonshadow shouted from the side, look, there's a new situation. Rakshasa was startled and looked in the direction Moonshadow was pointing. A demon appeared there, but unlike the other ordinary demons, this demon was wearing a set of iron armor, and its aura and killing intent were much stronger than ordinary demons. Someone on the city wall shouted, warning the others, another terrifying demon has appeared. As soon as the armored demon appeared, it was immediately surrounded by stone golems. But the demon not only wasn't afraid of them, but also showed an excited smile. He punched a stone golem, and the stone golem was immediately shattered. The demon was even more excited and laughed triumphantly. The man and his team stood on the first layer observing the battle. Seeing how powerful the demon was as soon as it appeared, they began to feel scared. They said, we're finished. This is impossible. The stone golem was shattered with one punch. We're really doomed this time. Back to the battle below. The armored demon was still excitedly punching and kicking, teaching the stone golems a harsh lesson, sending them to their demise one by one. Every punch from the demon shattered a stone golem. The shattered stone golem fragments even flew up to the first layer, hitting the people standing there. While raising his hand to block the flying fragments, the green-robed man secretly lamented the money he had lost. It's all over, all over. My millions have gone down the drain. But before he could complain for long, the armored demon defeated all the stone golems and arrived at the city wall. It was so huge that the people on the first layer could see its head. When the people saw the demon coming, they immediately scattered like a disturbed hornet's nest, shouting, run! The green-robed man no longer had any hope of clearing the level. He shouted in despair, it's over. This demon realm layer doesn't want us to pass at all. He stood blankly among the fleeing crowd, his voice lifeless. It's impossible to have a rational conversation with the boss anymore. Amidst this chaotic scene, 3 blue glowing circles suddenly appeared on the ground. From these circles emerged Rakshasa's 3 henchmen, Vampire Count, Swordmaster RC and the Clown. Rakshasa, having summoned them, commanded, your turn to fight. Go. Following that, Rakshasa summoned his most trusted minion, the Iron Titan, which materialized in the air above the castle. The Iron Titan extended its vines, wrapping them around the castle for balance. Simultaneously, the giant and Little Black were summoned to combat the armored demon. Though outnumbered, the armored demon showed no fear, immediately striking the Iron Titan with a powerful knee. Seeing Rakshasa's move, Suji cheered excitedly, yes, yes, haha, Lord Rakshasa has made his move. Look, it's the Iron Titan, a boss-level monster 100 times stronger than the current stone golem. Miao Guang, witnessing Rakshasa's new followers, couldn't help but marvel. I didn't expect him to gain so many powerful summoned minions in just a few days. The people on the first floor, seeing Rakshasa's summons, were equally thrilled, laughing and shouting, the Iron Titan is even larger than the giant demon, and there are 2 of them, we're sure to win this time, they cheered. Kill all these demons, leave none alive, that's our Lord Rakshasa for you. His summoned minions will surely defeat these demons. In the distance, a curly-haired man. He eagerly observed the battle between Rakshasa and the demons. The people around him were also overjoyed at their salvation. However, a blue-haired man, still puzzled, turned to the girl beside him and said, I just don't understand. Why didn't Rakshasa summon his minions sooner? So many of us wouldn't have died. The brown-haired girl frowned and retorted, I heard the captain look down on Lord Rakshasa's team thinking they were weak. That's why he kept him confined to the inner city on the second floor. Of course, he wouldn't offer to help. The blue-haired man gasped in disbelief. What? That's ridiculous. If Lord Rakshasa's strength is considered weak, then there are no strong people in this world. The green-robed man, witnessing the immense power of Rakshasa's summoned minions, was also stunned. He couldn't believe they were so formidable. The green-robed man silently berated himself. These are Rakshasa's summoned minions. Turns out I was the fool. Rakshasa, indifferent to their reactions, pointed at the demon horde and commanded his minions, attack with all your might, annihilate these demons. The Iron Titan immediately launched a barrage of leaf-shaped darts at the demons. Each dart, upon impact, exploded, obliterating the demons below. The cheers from the people on the city walls echoed, kill them, that's awesome, crush those demons to dust. The giant and Little Black, soaring through the air, were equally relentless, unleashing torrents of flames from their mouths. Roast those demons to a crisp. The Vampire Count also summoned his swarm of bats, commanding them to attack the demon horde. Swish swish, the giant stone golem launched a barrage of darts, a mix of various attacks, straight at the demons. Boom boom, kill them, that's awesome, smash those demons to pieces. The clamor mingled with the surrounding sounds of battle. Whoosh, the giant dragon soaring in the sky unleashed a torrent of flames incinerating all the demons below, leaving none to escape. The vampire count smirked, conjuring a cloud of bats to hinder the demons. Massive green vines lashed out, blocking and swatting them away. The people hiding behind cover couldn't help but admire. Lord Rakshasa is truly defying the heavens. It's unbelievable that he's holding the entire fortress alone, the giant exclaimed excitedly. Brother Rakshasa, leave me a demon. Let me test my strength against these monsters. Brother Dragon King, your fighting spirit is impeccable. Bang, that's awesome. My sacrificed brothers can finally rest in peace. Keep going, annihilate them all. We owe it all to Lord Rakshasa this time. Without him and his summoned army, we would have been utterly defeated. The sheltered people cheered outside, showering Rakshasa with praise. On the demon side, there's still a giant demon left. Eliminate it and this siege will be over. Haha, look, the giant demon is too scared to move. Suddenly, 4 massive vortexes appeared in the sky, sending shivers down everyone's spines. 4 fearsome giant demons emerged simultaneously, someone said. The final assault arrived. This time, with 4 giant demons, it would be a difficult battle. The giant stone golem stepped forward, positioning himself in front of them. He knelt on one knee, pressing his palm to the ground, infusing spirit energy into the magic circle, and declared, I will fight to the end. No matter how many come, I will slay them all. The powerful magic circle, divided into 3 sections, vibrated intensely. Someone observing commented, Look, Lord Rakshasa has summoned the giant demons that were just defeated to fight. On one side there's the stone golem and a giant demon, and on the other 4 giant demons, Suji exclaimed. Haha, Lord Rakshasa's summoning magic is truly heaven-defying, the man beside him couldn't help but add. Incredible, Rakshasa is truly a god, I can't even compare. Lord Rakshasa, I was blind, I didn't recognize a divine being. I underestimated you and your team. I was foolish, I was blind and almost caused the deaths of my brothers. It's all my fault. I caused so much loss to our brothers. If I had allowed you to fight sooner, none of this would have happened. I'm such an idiot. He clasped his hands together. Thank you, Lord Rakshasa, for your forgiveness, Rakshasa replied. Everyone makes mistakes. Don't blame yourself too much. Let's finish this battle quickly. We need to move to the next level, he replied. Yes, look, the 4 giant demons have fallen. The man pointed to the demons' direction. The gate of the barrier appeared and people cheered. Haha, we passed this level and the portal appeared, the giant said, puzzled. But this level suffered such heavy losses there are no spoils. The captain replied, that's how it is. Since there's no boss guarding this level, there are no spoils. He raised his hand, summoning the dragon, and instructed, Alright, let's head to the next level quickly. Little Black, take our team to the next floor. As they flew through the sky, they heard voices from below. Lord Rakshasa, thank you. See you on the next floor, Zhangzi responded. Okay, see you on the next floor. He couldn't help but exclaim. With someone like Rakshasa, our conquest of the demon realm is not far off, everyone shouted excitedly. Level 18 of the demon realm, here we come. Charge. Arriving at the area, level 18 of the demon realm, teams gathered on the training ground. Someone said, this place feels familiar. Are we back on level 14? Dragon King asked. No, this place is just similar to level 14 because of all the trees, Giant replied. Rakshasa is right. According to the information I gathered, the monsters on this level are elves. They have pointed ears, faces similar to humans, and come in both male and female forms, he continued. Moreover, male elves are melee fighters, balanced in offense and defense, while female elves are more diverse, including mages, archers, and support types. Elves strong males and fierce females, Giant analyzed. What's even more terrifying is that these elves understand teamwork just like us, he paused. Understand teamwork? Isn't that like fighting another expedition team? That's terrifying, Giant went on. Exactly, moreover the boss of this level, the Elf King, is extremely dangerous. He excels at both melee and ranged attacks and can use various types of magic. Dragon King reassured, everyone don't worry. No matter how difficult the boss is, we'll find a way, right? Light Little Rabbit happily said. That's right, we've reached level 18 following Rakshasa, what's there to fear? He looked at her and replied, haha, but it's too late today. Let's rest first, he smiled and said. I didn't realize it was so late. I'm a bit tired too. I have school tomorrow, so let's get some sleep. Zhang Zi replied, okay, that's it for today. I have important matters to attend to tomorrow. Yuan Ying, hearing this, asked, what is it? Is it dangerous? He placed his hand on her shoulder and said, don't worry, it's not dangerous. I'm just meeting 2 important people to discuss some things. Okay, that's good. But if it's dangerous, remember to tell me. Yes, I will, he said helplessly. Let's go to sleep, let's go to sleep. More dog food. In a dark corner of the city late at night. Move quickly, everyone, hurry up. A man's urging voice echoed in a warehouse as several figures dragged a large bag. The man had stumbled upon a shocking discovery. A demon cave was located beneath a shelter in a major city. He approached it and kicked a strange red object. It suddenly transformed into a gaping maw. He stepped forward and commanded, throw it in. 2 figures tossed the bag onto the ground, revealing a gagged girl. Her eyes were wide, her face flushed, and she trembled. The girl cried out, injuring herself. Aha, aha, the man grinned. Good, hold it in. Once I've activated the demon cave for 10 years worth of energy. At that moment, the monster army from the demon cave will devour the entire world, ha ha ha. The next morning, the next day, at home, everyone had gathered. Let's discuss what's going on, she began. Hello everyone. I am Shang Xiaojin. You should all know my identity, he replied. Greetings, I am SL, the current representative leader of the Savior Army, he said to her. Ms. Xiaojin, let's sit down and talk. She went straight to the point. Mr. SL, to be blunt, how many people are in the Savior Army in Great Sha? Where are they located? Do you possess light and heavy weapons? He replied seriously. Ms. Shang, I don't believe I am your prisoner, nor are we terrorists, he gently advised. Ms. Xiaojin, your tone is really like interrogating a criminal. She smiled slightly, raised her hand to signal a pause and said, I apologize, my tone may be a bit too professional, however the main reason I invited Mr. SL here is to confirm that the Savior Army does not pose a threat to Great Sha. He also raised his hand to reply, that is also our hope. We have always wanted to obtain a legitimate identity to move freely within Great Sha, Xiaojin said seriously. That can be arranged, but before granting a legitimate identity, I need to investigate the information of your organization's members. He crossed his arms and said, I'm sorry, that's impossible. There are Dawn spies within the higher levels of Great Sha's contracts. We cannot take that risk. She propped her hand on her chin and said, if we can't understand the actual situation of the Savior Army, I'm afraid we can't cooperate with you. Don't argue. Aunt Xiaojin, please rest assured about the Savior Army. You'll be a part of it in the future, Yu Lu said, clenching her fist. What do you mean really? I'm not lying, the little girl said seriously. Zhang Zi asked in surprise. In the future, Aunt Xiaojin will join the Savior Army? Xiaojin said in disbelief. How is that possible? It's impossible. I'm a senior national official. How could I join an illegal underground organization? Xiaojin, finding it hard to accept, said, No, this is too much information for today. Let's stop here for now. She stood up to leave. He replied, all right, as long as the Prophet agrees, I'm ready to accept your invitation at any time. Okay, let's leave it at that for now. Saul, take care of Yu Lu. I need to go back to Dawu Academy. She turned to leave, waving and saying, Yu Lu, be good at home. Since I'm heading that way, I'll drop you off at school. Zhang Zi stood up and said, got it. Tell Mom I miss her and ask her to visit me when she has time. The little girl replied, okay. At the school gate, she waited until he reached the entrance, standing outside the car. Zhang Zi said seriously, thank you for your trouble, Aunt Xiaojin. Also, I'd like to request some equipment. She raised her hand and replied, okay, send me the list later and I'll arrange it. He ran into the school, turning back to wave at her. Thank you, Aunt Xiaojin. She waved back, thinking, how many secrets is this kid hiding? A boy walked over, putting his arm around his shoulder, jokingly asking, getting the minister to drop you off at school? Old Zhang, what's your relationship with her? Zhang Zi turned around. Without answering his question, Zhang Zi said, hey, long time no see, how are you? He replied, same old, life's peaceful. How about you? He said dejectedly. It's a long story. I really envy your peaceful life right now. Let's head back to the dorm. We have a lot to do today. I'm going into the demon realm again tonight. He sighed, lamenting for him. Ah, that old Zhang, always busy, never a moment's rest. He quickened his pace to catch up with Zhang Zi, now in level 18 of the demon realm. Giant frowned, saying, this feeling is really oppressive. Moonshadow asked, puzzled. Why is that? Is the boss about to appear? He replied. Hard to say, let's wait and see what happens. At this moment, a group of people suddenly appeared on the training ground. She looked at them in surprise and said, ha, third uncle. Zhang Zi thought to himself, why would high-ranking officials from the Demon Realm Management Bureau appear in an ordinary demon realm? Has a death zone appeared? He immediately ordered. Seal off the altar immediately, no one is allowed to leave. The person replied, yes sir. Everyone ran around in a panic, shouting, quick, no one is allowed to leave the altar. What's going on? Has a death zone appeared on this level? If the Demon Realm Management Bureau said so, it must be true. But why would a death zone appear on this level? If sulfur monosulfide grade equipment drops, the rewards will be even greater. Great. I've been waiting for a death zone to appear. Brother, do you know what a death zone is? You still dare to think about getting equipment there? But to be honest, although death zones are dangerous, the rewards are great. Look at this S-grade armor I'm wearing. The small monsters in the death zone drop them. If you can defeat the boss, the rewards will be even greater, she greeted him. Third uncle. New Sha Zui Feng smiled and looked at her, saying, Moonshadow, I didn't expect to meet you here. How has everyone been lately? We're all fine, just started school. He crossed his arms and replied, that's good. She asked him, third uncle, what happened here? Did a death zone appear? He replied, that's right. Ah, help! A sinister aura enveloped them. A boy stood in front of them, shielding them, and said, you idiots, didn't I tell you not to go out? He seriously instructed everyone, running towards them. Moonshadow, I'll go save people first, be careful. She replied, okay, third uncle, we won't go out. He muttered to himself, death zone. Hearing this, she turned to ask, Rakshasa, you wouldn't be thinking? Zhang Zi smiled and said, haha, you guessed it. He held up several invitation cards and said, since we've encountered it, how can we not go? Anyone want to go with me? She replied without hesitation. Rakshasa is right, I'll go with you. Light Little Rabbit excitedly replied, me too. The little princess volunteered to join. Brother, I'll go with you too. Don't leave me behind. And Giant, needless to say, we're a team. We move together. He replied, okay, let's go to the death zone together. Zhang Zi pressed the selection with his hand. Death Zone has been activated. Use invitation card to enter. Yes, no, ding. Death Zone invitation card used successfully. Entering Death Zone countdown 3 seconds. Please prepare. 3, 2, 1 at the Death Zone altar. Yuan Ying said in a panic, why can't I see anything around me? He looked around and said, everyone be careful. Someone pointed ahead and said, look there, a floating stone staircase has appeared ahead with light shining on both sides. Everyone discussed, where does that lead? Look, there's only one path, let's follow it. Alright, it seems we've entered the realm of death this time. There are quite a few explorers worldwide, and the more people, the more dangerous it is. Everyone be careful and beware of those explorers with ulterior motives, the Dragon King said happily. Well, don't worry, I'll protect you, the little princess said disdainfully. You protect us, forget it, I can protect myself, the giant god laughed and said, haha, Dragon King. The little princess looks down on you, he muttered to himself. Zhang Zi pointed ahead and said, everyone look quickly. What is that? Everyone responded. It looks like we've arrived. Everyone be careful. Let's go up and take a look together, okay? Someone said. You, the one in red, what are you? That person interjected and asked. Yes, where is the leader of the realm of death? That person raised his hand and introduced himself. I am Mike. Welcome to my world. Please allow me to introduce the rules of this world. Someone couldn't wait and jumped up holding a sword and pointing it at Mike, saying, what rules? Die, the reward is mine. He grinned, he slashed down, but just as the sword was about to touch Mike disappeared. He said in surprise, what happened? Mike said mockingly, can't you let me finish speaking? How rude. You think ordinary attacks can defeat me? You're mistaken. He swung his sword again, but Mike remained calm and said, this world is a card world. Your skills, potions, and items will all be turned into cards. If you want to defeat me, use the cards in your hands. If you fail, I'm sorry, but I'll take your lives. His face darkened and he snapped his fingers. All the players' skills shone brightly, turning into cards. The players cried out in panic. Ah, my innate skills are useless. Oh my god, everything in my backpack is gone. Don't panic. My skills and items are all in the card deck, and so are yours. He looked at the cards in his hand. Basic health potion, quality none. Effect, restores 10% of the target's health. Uses 1/1 summoning spell, quality 555. Effect 1, summons a combat soldier for you. Effect 2, resummons a lost soldier. He looked at her and said, only 2 innate skill cards. The rest are all potions and scrolls. It's a turn-based battle. Once you use up 10 summoning spells, the battle will be almost over. Tang Chaowei frowned. What should we do? We can't use our skills. Yu Ying put her hands together and said, it seems that as he said, all skills are ineffective, and we can only use cards to defeat him. He grinned and said, don't worry, to ensure fairness, I allow you to exchange cards with each other. He laughed loudly. Aren't you partners who share life and death? Give all the strongest cards to one person and let him fight me. I look forward to the appearance of such a strong person, ha ha ha. The blonde man rushed forward and pointed at him saying, what fairness? Our biggest advantage is teamwork. How can we possibly win against him now? The giant god looked at him and said, that person is right. Even if we can exchange cards without the help of teammates, one person can easily fall into a predicament, or even a dead end. One night, Autumn continued. The team's representative must be intelligent, calm, and most importantly, have extraordinary courage. Otherwise, they can easily fall into a state of mental breakdown. He calmly replied, everyone don't argue this time. I'll do it. You guys watch. Zhang Zi, Rakshasa, Yuan Ying, don't come over. Hold his hand, Rakshasa, it's too dangerous to go alone, Zhang Zi analyzed. I'm the person with the highest talent in the team, and I also understand everyone's skills very well. Using them won't be a problem. If everyone trusts me, give me all the cards. Xiao Feng put a card in his hand. Healing spell. He said, I believe in you. Little Rabbit said so too. I also believe in Brother Rakshasa. Everyone, give all the item cards and potion cards to Rakshasa. We don't know how much it will help, but it's always better to be prepared than not. Everyone handed him the cards, and Zhang Zi sincerely said, thank you for your trust. The giant god smiled and said, you should thank us. You're risking your life to fight the leader while my brother can only stand aside and watch powerless. This feeling is really uncomfortable, she replied worriedly. Yes, Rakshasa, you must be careful. He calmly comforted. Don't worry everyone, I'll be careful. Zhang Zi looked at the pile of cards and thought, there must be stronger cards. I wonder if these cards have a chance to win. Summoning spell, exclusive domain, protective aura, gravity suppression, light slash. Bobai rushed forward. I'm ready, let me fight you. I don't believe 50 skill cards collected can't defeat you, Mike said happily. Very good, you're the first to stand up and challenge me. You're very brave, then let's not waste time and start the match. He created a barrier for the two of them. Seeing this, he thought, so it's a barrier. It seems those outside can't interfere. Mike smiled and spread his hands. The guest has arrived. I'll let you play first. He snorted and cupped his fist in his other hand. Then I won't be polite. Bobai held up a card and said, taste the power of my S-rank skill. Blade of Judgment, quality 5, effect. Deals 10,000 damage to the target. Damage of the next attack is doubled, stackable 5 times, maximum damage 320,000, uses 10 out of 10. The move descended from the sky like a giant bullet, hitting Mike's head directly, but he still stood there calmly. On the arena, Mike stood in front of his opponent, looking at the first opponent who volunteered to stand up. He said happily, Very good, you're the first to dare to stand up and challenge me. You're really brave. Then let's not waste time and start the match. Looking at the barrier surrounding the two, Rakshasa thought, unexpectedly, it's a barrier. It seems those outside can't interfere. Mike reached out to his opponent, making a polite gesture. Guests should be given priority, I'll let you play first. Bobai on the opposite side moved his fingers, looked at him and replied, then I won't be polite. He held the card in his hand and calmly announced, taste the power of this level 5 skill. The system displayed the card's information. Divine Judgment quality, 5 effect. Deals 10,000 damage to the target. The next attack deals double damage, stackable 5 times, maximum damage 320,000, uses 10 out of 10. After the system introduction, a huge beam of light fell from the sky, hitting Mike at the edge of the boundary. Looking at the card floating in the air, the onlookers exclaimed, my god, it's an S-rank skill card. The effect is terrifying. After stacking the damage 5 times, it will reach 320,000. It's terrifying. Mike really asked for trouble this time, actually letting Bobai gain the upper hand. But this leader is also very cunning. Don't rush to conclusions. The outcome is not yet decided. The power of the card was too great, instantly taking away 10,000 health points from Mike. He covered his eyes with his hand and frowned, saying, it hurts. Bobai looked at his painful opponent and laughed triumphantly. Haha, within 5 rounds I will kill you. Mike didn't worry at all. A smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. And then he drew a card and held it between his fingers. A scorpion was summoned, and the system immediately displayed its information. Desert Poison Scorpion. Quality A, health points 18,000, attack power 3,000, defense power 12,000. Effect, none, uses 1/1. It quickly sprayed venom, attacking Bobai. He blocked the attack with his hand, a mocking smile appearing on the corner of his mouth. This scorpion's attack power is only 3,000 and my defense power is 18,540. It's far from breaking my defense. Bobai continued to use the Divine Judgment card. Mike's health points were reduced again. Looking at his opponent's constantly decreasing health points, Pop said triumphantly, 4 more rounds and you're dead. Mike over there cried out in pain. Ouch, it hurts. His eyes became dangerous. He clenched the cards in his hand and looked at Pop. I have to say, you're really too weak. Continuing to fight is just a waste of my time. I've decided to send you to death now and change to another opponent. The cards quickly flipped open and the information was displayed. Tribal Evolution quality, 5 effect. Duplicates 5 targets to fight together. While upgrading the quality of each target by 1 level, uses 10 out of 10. The system immediately displayed Desert Poison Scorpion Evolution quality. D, health points 28,000, attack power 10,000, defense power 185,000. Effect, Thunderstrike, uses 1/1. The evolved scorpion quickly rushed towards Pop. Looking at its changing attributes, he said in surprise, too terrifying. Mike's cards kept changing, and one card could be divided into multiple different cards with the same skill. Looking at this number, the people off the court exclaimed, 1 turned into 6 and they're all evolved scorpions. It's over, it's really over, too terrifying. Rakshasa stroked his chin in the crowd, thinking about the use of the cards. The Desert Poison Scorpion card was not strong, but what's terrifying is that it combined with the S-rank card Tribal Evolution, and actually produced an S-rank skill. The scorpions quickly launched a critical strike against Pop. He quickly lost health points and shouted in pain and unwillingness, "Oh no, I don't want to die." Looking at the cards in his hand, Mike shouted angrily, "What, you actually duplicated a blank card? What a waste." Rakshasa, holding the cards opposite him, frowned and explained, "The quality of the cards is not the deciding factor, it's the person." He crushed the cards, his face twisted as he looked at him. "Alright, I'd like to see how you defeat me with this lousy hand." Releasing his palm and letting the cards fly out, Rakshasa answered calmly, "I'll show you now." Mike, not to be outdone, threw out another card directly, declaring war on him. "You despicable fellow, actually disrupting my rhythm. Don't blame me for being impolite, I'll end this quickly." As Mike's cards appeared, a long line of soldiers in sturdy armor also appeared. Their appearance quickly led Rakshasa to analyze. So many soldiers have appeared again. The next card must be a group evolution. If a B-grade soldier evolves into an A-grade soldier, I may not be able to resist. He looked down at the cards in his hand and made a decisive decision. Alright, it's time to get serious. A card appeared with the quality of SSS grade. Looking at the card, Mike was shocked beyond belief. "What, you actually have an SSS grade innate skill?" Looking at the card just thrown out, the people below also discussed, Rakshasa is going to use a summoning spell. Rakshasa is going to unleash a big move. Another group of people under the arena shouted excitedly, "Great God, Rakshasa is angry. This match is about to end, don't be too optimistic. Did you forget that Mike likes to use group evolution?" Rakshasa touched the system screen, making selections on the screen as he spoke. Effect doubled, summoning 2 units at once. Number safer, choose 1. With Rakshasa's summoning, please appear, Giant Demon. A demon with sharp long horns appeared and the system displayed its attributes. Quality S, health points 25,000, attack power 4,800, defense power 6,000, uses once. After the demon appeared, a terrifying green aura permeated the arena, enveloping the soldiers below. Mike leaned back, looking at the foul-smelling green gas. He cursed loudly. "Ah, damn it, demon aura, I didn't expect one person to have such a powerful summoning spell. Do you have a special relationship with the goddess of luck?" He firmly gripped the cards in his hand, saying, "No, if I want to win, I have to take a gamble." The system issued another notification. Quality A, health points 2,500, attack power 900, defense power 2,100, uses 1/1. After the card was issued, a layer of golden light shone around the soldiers. Mike laughed loudly as he looked at him. "Your turn, Rakshasa." Rakshasa drew cards while pondering and evaluating. The soldier's quality has been upgraded to A grade. It seems you want to use a sea of people tactics to fight the giant demon. What will he likely do next? Use a resurrection card. What should I do? Continue to use summoning spells. No, if I want to win, I have to take a gamble. The cards were quickly drawn. Looking at the cards that gradually disappeared after use, Mike questioned, "You despicable fellow, you actually stole 2 of my cards in one turn." But unexpectedly, the situation reversed and Rakshasa frowned as he looked at the 2 cards just drawn. "It's over, I was too confident, thinking I was the god of luck, but I'm just a jinx. The 2 cards are of A and B quality respectively." Mike laughed triumphantly. "Haha, your luck is really bad. I'll give you as many of these trash cards as you want." He looked at the cards floating in front of him and continued, "Unfortunately, you don't have a chance. Let's end this." The cards were thrown out, summoning another group of soldiers. They were skeletons with red eyes, howling and rushing towards their opponents. The AD men glanced back. The 2 demons were caught off guard by the sudden attack. Seeing the demons at a disadvantage, the audience cheered for him desperately. "It's bad. The giant demons can't hold on anymore. Damn it, did great god Rakshasa use the wrong cards? There's no hope. Mike will definitely win this time. Rakshasa, don't let anything happen." Ying looked worriedly at the critical situation, and the Dragon King next to her gritted his teeth and comforted. "Don't worry, Rakshasa will definitely not lose." Rakshasa was not to be outdone. He frowned and drew another card. "To win against him, I have to take a gamble. But this time, I'm going to change my choice." The card appeared. Looking at the card in front of him, Rakshasa couldn't help but be surprised. Looking at the attributes and skills above, he whispered worriedly, "It doesn't seem to help me much. My 2 demons definitely won't last until the next round. What should I do?" Mike on the opposite side didn't give him a chance to breathe. He continued to play cards, looking at him dissatisfied, and said loudly, "You annoying fellow, are you addicted to stealing cards? Alright, I'll send you to see the god of death now." Summoning card, a group of mermen immediately appeared. They used tridents to constantly attack Rakshasa's 2 demons. Mike watched the battle situation tilt in his favor with great interest. "Haha, let's see how you deal with this. Go to hell." A group of strange-looking mermen rushed towards Rakshasa at lightning speed, his excited voice ringing out, "Haha, 4 mermen are enough to take care of you." Rakshasa held 2 cards in his hand, thinking, "There are too many monsters and there are no effective area damage skills. It seems I still have to rely on summoning spells." As the cards were issued, 2 swordsmen quickly appeared, brandishing their swords. "Like the wind, we await your call." The mermen who had just appeared quickly rushed forward. They held tridents, constantly piercing the demons' bodies. Mike saw this scene and laughed triumphantly. "Haha, let's see how you resist this time." Rakshasa stood there, calmly watching the mermen rushing over. Mike's cunning voice continuing to ring out, "Just wait to die, haha. 4 mermen are enough to take care of you." Looking at the number of monsters, Rakshasa quickly drew cards to counterattack. There were too many monsters, and there were no effective area damage skills. It seemed he still had to rely on summoning spells. 2 swordsmen were then summoned, brandishing their swords. "Like the wind, we respond to your call." The figures of the 2 were like 2 gusts of wind, frantically repelling their opponents. The swordsman's area skills were very suitable for dealing with these mermen and undead. The sudden change in the situation made Mike very angry. Damn it, I didn't expect him to be able to summon such elite subordinates. Without hesitation, he waved his hand, summoning a red card. As he threw the card, he said, "Alright, let's see which of your 2 orcish swordmasters is stronger." The card, upon being thrown, displayed the information. Civil War Grade A, effect. Forces 2 enemy minions to attack each other until one is eliminated. Uses 1/1. It radiated light in the air, enveloping the 2 swordsmen. Rakshasa watched in disbelief as the 2 swordsmen he had just summoned now fought each other. The crowd below the arena gasped, "Oh no, that card!" The 2 swordsmen now saw each other as mortal enemies, fighting to the death. Observing the sudden change in their summoned generals, the man and woman secretly exclaimed, "This civil war is terrible. To have an Orcish swordmaster die at the hands of their comrade is a pointless sacrifice. The situation is dire. Rakshasa must find a way to turn the tide." One of them was quickly defeated, and the remaining swordsman uttered a hollow sound. "Your way of the sword ends here." Mark looked at him with a hint of a sneer. "Your swordmasters are indeed tenacious, but with only one left, how can they stand against so many of my monsters? Give up." "Haha." Ignoring his taunts, Rakshasa calmly retorted, "Have you ever heard of fight to the death and find life?" Watching Rakshasa spread his palm and throw out a card, Mark suddenly burst into laughter. You dare steal my cards? Is this desperation? Ha ha ha. The members of the Moonshadow team below couldn't help but whisper among themselves, confused. Did Rakshasa make a mistake? How could one sword master withstand so many of Mark's summons? If that's the case, why not summon more subordinates? Even with more summons, Mark's area of effect attacks would be futile. What to do? Rakshasa held the cards in his hand, solemnly declaring the outcome rests on this move. But as he looked down at the cards, he hesitated. What? These cards? Aren't they the ones Mark already used? Does he plan to turn the tide with these? The two cards displayed different skill information. Looking at them, Rakshasa fell into thought. The murmurs of the crowd continued, using recruit soldiers, buy horses combined with equivalent exchange. Can that end the battle immediately? The system screen displayed the information of the two cards in turn. Recruit soldiers, buy horses, grade SS effect. Summons an army of 100 soldiers to fight for you. Uses 1/1, equivalent exchange, grade SS effect. Destroys all your minions on the field, exchanging them for a corresponding number of plays. Uses 1/1. Suddenly, Mark used the card Fireworks, and the dim sky was quickly illuminated by dazzling fireworks. The system prompted, Fireworks grade E effect. Launches 3 fireworks into the sky, creating a lively atmosphere. Uses 1/1. Seeing Rakshasa still standing firm, he asked, still not giving up, these brilliant fireworks will be your final farewell to your companions. Rakshasa waved his cards, interrupting him. Mark, as you wish, I will show you the most spectacular performance. The cards were summoned, and a light enveloped the soldiers. Mark still smiled smugly. Ha ha ha, you think you can turn the tide just by stealing my cards? How naive. He turned serious, throwing out cards and declaring, I've had enough. If you have any last words, say them now. The mermen seemed to have doubled in strength, wielding their tridents as they charged forward. Watching the 4 mermen relentlessly closing in on Rakshasa, the Moonshadow team members exclaimed in worry. It's over. Mark used full evolution. Rakshasa is doomed this time. What cards did sister-in-law steal? Is there still a chance? Guang Zhaotu also clenched his fist tightly, silently encouraging Big Brother Rakshasa, you still have to take me to find Dad. Moonshadow also watched him with concern, silently praying, Rakshasa, don't give up until the last moment, you promised. On Rakshasa's side, his eyes were firm as he announced loudly, Mark, you ultimately lost to your own arrogance. The card thrown out was Equivalent Exchange. It circled twice in the air and then appeared before Mark. Equivalent Exchange activated. For each of my minions destroyed, I gain a play. Equivalent Exchange activated. For each of my minions destroyed, I gain a play. Looking at the card information, he stammered, unable to speak. What is this? As the card was summoned, the soldiers gradually dissipated. Mark frowned, looking at the scene before him in confusion. 100 soldiers, that's 100 plays, plus Destiny's Choice could it be? Before he could finish speaking, Rakshasa waved his hand, throwing out a barrage of cards. Next, it's time to end this, the hunting hour. The light from the cards enveloped Mark. They were Frozen Snowfield, Blade of Light, and Kun's Frost.